don't see it. DSP high tier characters. Oh god. I've been enjoying watching him play Street Fighter though. He doesn't get how. Honestly, detractors are playing 5D hyper chess with him without even really trying.
Yeah, it's funny, dude. It really is. Like, they just play the game, and it ruins his mind. And he's really going to try for this.
Yeah,
shit
and
right now. He's really good.
We don't care that he reached master because I'm just having fun that he sticks around with the game. Because I thought for sure he would have dropped it by now.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I think it's cash cow.
That's
right
true.
Now, so he's definitely going to keep it up. All right. I'm
All right,
ready.
you go for it.
I'm going to hit play. We're going to go for it.
Let's see it. Howdy everyone. I'm doing a restream and a pre-stream and a cope stream with the man, the myth, the legend, Agent Proper. So give him a proper introduction, you see. Welcome to the stream, everyone. We're going to be watching some DSP tries at Mimology. He's getting cranky about high tier characters. I don't know why he would, because he's a master. Let's enjoy. And Agent Proper is muted at the moment. I'm sure he's doing his intro. He's saying, all right, well, I'm with this weird dude. He talks about Gundam and ninjas all day. Just try not to engage with him if you can. He has a lot of mental problems, and he's a negative detractor. And we think he might be a spy for DSP, which I am. But I'm a triple agent, so it's okay. I'm like Revolver Ocelot. I'm going to eventually betray DSP after I'm done betraying all of you guys. So please understand that this is all a plan here. Trust the system. Total DSP style meltdown. That's funny. Oh, review tech goes nuclear. That's not good. He didn't do anything wrong either. I have a new background. This is for collaboration events because this is the upper decks of the clone lab here, and I usually am not allowed up here, and just for today I am. Let's throw a like on here. Oh wow, I'm naked from the eyebrows down. Watching Give More Blood. I haven't been watching that. I'm not even familiar with it. I don't really watch a lot of TV. It makes me very incapable of talking with people sometimes. People will say stuff like, "Have you seen Boardwalk Empire?" I'm like,
A new detractor.
Hey, I'm
to
newer.
the game, trying to get some entry in there. It's Lynn the Deranged.
Nice to meet you, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm
How are you?
groovy. I'm far out. I'm having a good time.
That's a good start. That's a good start. It's like just talking to a mirror. People say that we have similar mannerisms. We sound a lot alike.
I don't hear it at all. This dude does not sound like a total spaz. So I don't.
No, never. welcome to the Hangover. It's a Saturday morning
Thank you for
stream.
having
You
me.
know, right after I just get annihilated. No, thank you for being here. I'm trying to start doing guests more on the Saturday. Kind of fill them in and talk to them for a bit. And I really really enjoy bringing on newer
Oh,
detractors.
thanks.
I think that's one of those things. It's been one of my favorite things to always do because people before have helped me out. You know, GTG grabbed a hold of me and said, "Hey, man, you showed me the video. You're getting in the
Yes.
game," and he's just like, "Just do it," and he pulled the ripcord. So so what got you started into the vortex?
Okay, it's a very roundabout path, but what happened with me is my friend got me into LTG videos, and LTG was screaming and yelling and whatnot, and I really didn't have an understanding that he was a lolcow in general. I assumed he was just a salt lord. But then I also saw videos recommended or comparisons made to a guy named DSP, which I didn't really know who he was. But eventually I ran out of LTG content because he deletes everything. So I said, okay, I'm going to look up this DSP dude. And I started watching his stuff. And again, I thought it was just a Salt Lord thing. I thought, okay, he just yells at Street Fighter all day. That's pretty funny. But then I started seeing stuff in the recommended videos, stuff like DSP scams fans and stuff. And I thought that's probably nothing that big. It's probably something like, he promised to play this dude to a set of 5, but he only quit after the first 2 games. Okay, that's not really that bad, but I guess it's a scam. And so I clicked on him, and that's where it all fell into place, where I was like, holy shit, this dude isn't a Salt Lord. He's just a bad person. He's terrible to people. And I don't really watch a lot of TV shows and movies because I just get really bored with the writing. But DSP is a show that keeps on giving. I've never seen anything like it, where this dude who is such a nobody has more drama associated with him than any 10 people. And so that's what really fixated me on him.
Okay, so the drama hooked you, and you said you originally found his channel.
No, I originally found LTG's video first. LTG's video stuff, and then it referenced
Okay.
DSP, and that's when I got into DSP.
But you went directly to the source to
No,
DSP.
no, I never went directly
Or,
to the
or,
source because the quality was bad.
okay.
So I also didn't realize that the clip channels and DSP had such animosity towards each other, or rather, DSP had such animosity towards him. So I thought, okay, these are probably just fans of his compiling his hilarious moments. And again, going into the snort text dispelled all that. No, he hates everybody. So that was a shock. Because I would think that wouldn't be a big deal if
So
people made compilations of you being kind of crap at games. So what? But I didn't realize it was super toxic.
oh, it's real bad. Like this is how you don't play. Really started to
No,
tilt
yeah.
Phil back in the day with Evil AJ's entry to that whole
No.
genre. I mean, it still runs to this day. I'm still waiting to see like a good
Hmm.
Zelda one.
They just released one, but I haven't
'Cause
watched it.
I love that game so much. I'm still playing it. I'm still slowly just plugging away because it's like I want to pick it up for more than just like an
Hmm.
hour here or there. I want to just dive in for like half a day and play the
Right.
shit out of it. But that's not how life works
No.
all the time. I'm not a professional
Yeah,
streamer.
you have got
gamer.
job and
I'm just
responsibilities.
you right. I run a household. Okay. Uh,
I gotta go check on my
but
cat. That could take an hour and a half.
so did you get entry with DSP watching like just clip channels of whatever game he was
So
playing, or was it like did you look for the fighting games? Because you watch LTG,
it
like you might like fighting games in some way.
it
I
initiated
assume.
with the fighting games, and honestly, I hadn't really been into fighting games for a long time. They'd always seemed like a thing that was pretty inapproachable to me. But then, as I was watching DSP play, that's kind of where I got into it. I thought, oh, I got to be better than this guy. But it really started off with the fighting games because that's what LTG always played. So I only really sought out, DSP rages at Street Fighter and stuff like that. And then as I watched more and more, or I ran out of content, I watched, DSP plays Call of Duty and flips out, and it just spiraled from there. But really, what got me into the story was a lot of the clip channels, for the sake of brevity, don't put a lot of background information on DSP. And I was naturally curious as to why is he so upset about this particular thing? Why does he flip out so much about this? And eventually I found Tevin, and Tevin did a really good job of bringing me up to speed with the DSP lore. And I feel like that's what really surged me into it, was learning how much backstory this dude has. Like, why is Subaru banned? That always seemed really confusing to me. It's like, did someone named Subaru beat the shit out of him and he's tormented by it? And so that's why it was such an amazing journey finding his path to toxicity.
Oh yeah, he's been toxic forever. But yeah, Tevin's a great lore keeper. He knows
Hmm.
stuff like that I've forgotten.
He's
The stuff that's like he just has it locked tight in his brain and he just pulls it out whenever. But you know, he's stepped away. He's moved on. Yeah, he still does DSP stuff,
mm-hmm.
but to be honest, he's just
And I also really appreciated
there.
how
He's
calm he
Tevin.
was. Like I get annoyed by A logs as much as anybody. So him patiently breaking down how DSP was a dumbass was very refreshing. I appreciated that. And his memory was wild to me. He would remember what shirt DSP wore on his Christmas begathon in 2007 or whatever, and it was compelling. And that's where I got interested in doing this myself because I had my own thoughts about what DSP was doing at any given time. So I always thought for honestly years, oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, and then I said, well, nothing's really stopping me.
Yeah, I feel that same way. That's kind of how I started. I was like, nobody's saying the stuff I want to say, so why don't I just
Mm-hmm.
do it? And it took me a while to get in there and start a project. And the first project was for me the Pig Roach files. That was kind of
Yeah,
it's
those are
a passion
amazing.
project. It's the one I want to
Those
bring
are
back.
amazing. I absolutely love them.
You know, it's the one thing that I keep going. I'm like, I need to bring it back and I need to make it better and figure it out. You know, I just don't know if I'm gonna fit the suit right now. To be honest. Uh, what's going on, Sonic? Yeah, I'm a bit hungover. I play the Friday night fights for DSP. I restream it, and we do the DSP
Oh, that's
drinking
rough.
game.
That's
And I made up a whole bunch
that's
of
nearly
fucking
lethal.
rules. And yeah, but I'm a trained professional.
Okay.
By that I mean I work in construction, so that's why I'm a
Oh,
professional
I see.
alcoholic.
Okay, you've
It's
had training on this.
I just yeah. Yeah, exactly. I've been there before. I used to watch a lot of the LSB streams and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Doing that and just hanging out, and eventually got to a point where I'm like, why don't we just bring it back for Street Fighter 6? And so, you know, I'm slowly pecking away at building back that kind of Friday night vibe, where you just show up, you have a good time, we talk a bunch of shit, and laugh.
It's good. It's
You
a
know,
good feeling.
that's the important
And
thing.
I don't remember which one of them said it. I don't know if it was Tevin or LSB said this, but it really is an immensely beautiful thing that DSP has created an amazing community in his shadow or in his negative space. Because this is one of the best communities I've been a part of. Is everyone's super cool and chill in that Friday atmosphere you're talking about, Friday night atmosphere. It's how he describes his streams. You know, everyone comes in and chills and have a good time with Phil, except none of those people are in his stream. They're all somewhere else making fun of him. And you would think he'd want to capitalize on that, but no. That's toxic.
He, he's getting closer, I would say. I mean, he's watching
Hmm.
restreamer content. He's watching, you know, troll videos. You know, it's only a matter of time before he starts really reacting to actual troll content in a like a
I hope so.
marathon setting.
That'd be good stuff.
How are you liking this midlife crisis saga? The current saga.
It's good. It reminds me of whenever TV shows are desperate for. It gets kind of like the jump the shark thing, where they're desperate for something to stick. So they're having DSP wear new shirts, DSPs holding up computers and whatnot. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun because I don't know what's going to be the thing that absolutely sticks and stays with the streams. And I'm sure it's going to be something stupid, but I don't know which stupid thing it's going to be.
What do you think of his new mini PC that Dent Boxer gave him? Because that's who it is. It's Dent Boxer.
I I've heard stuff that it's malware and it's full of malware. I don't really know anything about that, but if it is, that's going to be very hilarious to see DSP deal with that, and he's going to have a lot of negative statements about that. But also, it doesn't look like it's something that DSP is going to be able to easily use. So I'm looking forward to the setup streams and him getting confused and how come things don't work and this thing's a piece of shit. And that's what I enjoy is watching DSP crap all over people who send him stuff with their own money.
That's
Yes,
amazing, isn't
punching the
it?
shit out of his arcade stick and stuff.
Oh, like I like the joystick slams. Those are always just quality. Like he's been one to ham fist him before. He's broken stuff a lot of the time, like on stream or on video, and it's just like fuck, man. I can never do that. I get
Mm-hmm.
frustrated with video games all the time. I play the worst one right now is Destiny 2, and it's fucking embarrassing,
I
is
broke
what it
controllers
is.
when I was playing Halo
Like,
3. That was the last game I really took super seriously. Was I wanted to become a Halo 3 player, and I broke controllers, but I never broke anything
oh,
that somebody gave
yeah,
me. That always felt extremely wrong. And this dude has no problem
yeah,
shitting on things that people give him.
no problem at all. Like anything, as long like you're a stepping stone to Phil. As much as Phil is a stepping stone to say somebody like you or me or anybody else doing
Mm-hmm.
content on him.
That's
You
true.
know, he just uses and abuses his audience so fucking much. It's just crazy.
No, and because he doesn't really even see them as people. And why would he? He doesn't ever have any face to face engagement with them. If they were people, I don't know how much his story would change, but I think it would change a little bit.
When was the last time you think he interacted with a so-called friend in person?
If he used his stupid ass logic, he says his wife, but I don't know if that's true. Let's see, like face to face engagement, I guess John and Howard really. The last time he had something that could
Right.
be approximated with friendship interaction was Kekken and Brian, which is ironically some of his best streams he ever did was with Kekken and Brian because he couldn't just go laugh and say, "You see that? You see that?" the whole stream. You know, figures he'd blow it.
Yeah, but those streams really hurt his fucking ego. Like Brian's far
Yes,
more entertaining. He can carry like dead. You'll get rid of dead air. Kekken wasn't
you know,
too terrible, and he was
he was
pretty
a little
good at the
cringy, but it
games.
was an okay
So
level of cringe. It was tolerable.
yeah, it was okay. But those guys both left Phil and
Mm-hmm.
laughed at him. Like a lot of these people have taken a hiatus from Phil and have packed it in and left. Some of his most loyal followers
Yes,
have done this to him already.
because he never actually changes, and eventually you notice that because if you come into a new show or a new situation, and the person saying, well, I've changed," you tend to give that the benefit of the doubt because you weren't there for the beginning of it. Okay, I don't know who you were before. I guess you have changed. But then when you see the same behaviors going for years, you eventually realize, oh, this guy's never actually changed about anything. He still isn't changing now. Because DSP has this mindset where I have changed is some sort of end goal. It's like, no, it's a process. And if you've never shown any sign of the process, you haven't changed anything. You're still terrible.
What would Phil have to do to change?
I
Can he?
think that it's possible to change, but it's extremely hard. It's hard for normal people to change. For DSP to change, it's going to take multiple concurrent miracles almost. And what it's really going to have to take is the inability to make excuses. He has to be placed in a situation where there's not even the possibility he could blame it away, which I don't know how such a situation could exist, but that's the only way I could see it.
I mean, the closest thing we got to was that side
Yes,
scrollers
they
interview
bodied his ass.
because they heard him. That whole thing about why don't you just show Craig now a
Mm-hmm.
screenshot of your WWE Champions account, like
Mm-hmm.
Sid did in an email,
Couldn't
and
do
he
it.
couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So, what? How much on a scale of 1 to 10 did that side scrolls interview really kick off this whole
I'd
midlife
say
crisis?
9 or 10. I would say that the side scrollers thing has more impact even than say the masturbation arc or the Howard and John video. It was pretty much the most defining thing I think in DSP because it really showed how everything about DSP. It showed how isolated he is from the world. He came into this equation thinking he was basically going to disprove everything and everyone was going to be on his side. And it showed how living in a gated community and streaming all day doesn't set you up for that kind of thing. He was so desperate for them to just believe me, and they weren't having it. Yeah, I don't think he'll ever really recover from that. And I do think that Kat had some sort of involvement afterwards because he had mentioned that he had a conversation with Kat afterwards. And I think she even pointed it out. I think she said, yeah, you didn't do too hot on there. And I think that's what really toxified him. I feel like she has more involvement in this than a lot of people say.
Are you on team divorce or team health?
I really don't know because they're both such compelling options. They both have a lot of material behind both of them. I guess if I had to have not a Finn situation, I think it would have to be Team Health for me because I just don't see Kat as being capable of rocking the boat to that degree. Just from the brief moments and brief interactions that we've seen of her and the background information that we got from her sister, I don't think even a house fire would really bother her. She's very complacent. She's very okay with her scenario, at least from my understanding. So I don't think she's going to get divorced with him. She's got a roof over her head and she doesn't have to do anything. I think that's good enough for her, which says something more about her than DSP at that point. I do think that DSP has a lot of health issues though, because he doesn't take care of himself at all. He doesn't. He has worse body than someone who's been in space for several months. He can't move. Everything hurts all the time. He can't eat. He looks like he's always in pain. Dude's falling apart.
I mean, this is his anniversary month, right? And did you see the little time lapse montage he put out? The faces of Jin.
That shit was extremely offensive. I felt like that was a pretty offensive video. If a fan sent that to me, I'd be kind of heartbroken because it just showed that dude's been a mummy for 15 years.
like just imagine this, chat. You've seen the video, I assume, chat. That this guy, somebody, I don't know, I'd assume dense bullshit sent a lovely fucking video over. I assume he was the dude who edited in a picture every single month of Phil's entire 15-year legacy. But they included the jerk off.
Yeah, I was shocked that got in. I was really surprised that got in.
Like the J2K reveal, right? Again, that's still one of those weird hot topics. Because how long did they have Jasper? Jasper doesn't really get taken care of the right way. You know, he'd rather get a fan to donate him a $400 mini PC versus take that money and go get the blood work for Jasper. So it's like he doesn't have any kind of setup for the future. Phil isn't future forward at all.
He mentioned that recently. He was getting after someone for talking about planning for the future, and he said it skyrocketed up to the top 10 dumbest things I've ever heard come out of his mouth. He was talking about how it's impossible to plan for the future. You don't know what could happen any given day. You know, you're going to work the next day and an atom bomb goes off and the economy's ruined, which is an immensely childish way of looking at the world. That I can't live for the future. And if you think you can, you're a child. Okay. Yeah.
What is the most childish thing DSP's done? And big ups mine in the North Star for the 5-piece. He has respect for Team Divorce, but Team Health is looking forward to a brighter future, a better tomorrow. We dream of a better world, one without
Wayland Utani, I dig it. The most childish thing, that's a hard competition. Nearly everything he does is childish. Like specific incidents or tendencies. I'll go with specific incidents. I would think the neck phone saga was really bad, and the weird tantrum he had with unskippable cutscenes, that was pretty bad. Those were very childish tantrums. That people should be fired for having him have an unskippable cutscene. That seems like something a baby would say. And wanting someone fired because they didn't get their toy to them fast enough. The Wolverine saga was pretty childish. There's something around there.
I mean,
yes,
he was a child.
Yeah, the ripe old age of 19.
Gets airbrushed by mommy. Fuck. I mean, he's a 41-year-old man, and you're right. Every single day he acts like a fucking child. He throws tantrums. I mean, even when he's winning in Street Fighter, I've got a video lined up from Memology.
Not winning hard enough.
But I guess, yeah, he just, even while winning, he's complaining about the game. And it's like, I just can't imagine that. You should be feeling good. Like, hey, I'm putting the pieces of the puzzle together. It feels nice.
No.
Especially in a ranked setting. But he's been playing casual for a while. And there's a lot of theories coming around with his new begging for a brand new, joystick setup with new buttons, right? He's gonna whenever he asks for it, his viewer base helps him out, right? It gets him up to speed and saves him, pulls him right out of the fire because they
want to see me succeed.
They love him. At what point do you think people started to really see DSP as some kind of a weird cult leader?
I mean, it comes pretty much from that video of DSP cult leader. It wasn't long before people saw him as a cult leader. I think it was before he even started doing direct capture, because he always had this mentality that he can tell people what they're actually thinking or telling people what they actually want, and he used that to shape narratives to his interests and essentially ostracize anyone who had differing opinions. I feel like it was pretty much out the gate he was being a cult leader, but in terms of how it became undeniable, I think his despotism with his forums really proved that he was of the mindset of being a cult leader. What was the quote that he said? "I can't break the rules. I am the rules." That's Jim Jones talk right there.
This is the United States
I'm
of
the
Phil.
supreme being.
Is one of my favorite ones. Oh, that's great. What's your favorite DSP
Oh
quote?
God.
You got one?
I think I really like "Why Am I Toxic?" And it's because it's one of those quotes that the more you think about it, it's extremely deep. It's an extremely deep and layered statement that it's simultaneously a scream of exclamation, but also a somber reflection of the self. And I know he didn't mean it to be that way, but it's something that speaks to me deeply. Why am I toxic? Why do I have to ostracize everyone? Why do I have to shit on my friends at every opportunity? Why can't I ever experience anything and just see joy in it? Why does everything have to be bad and negative? Why are you toxic, Phil?
You watch other cows
I watch
aside from
LTG.
Phil? You step out of Vortex. Okay. How's
It's
that
not
going for
good.
you?
LTG is a much more difficult lolcow to watch because he has this fixation with deleting all videos about himself. So it's very hard to deal with getting information about LTG. This happens all the time on streams where I say, "Oh, this reminds me of a thing that LTG did. Let me look it up and let me find it." Can't find it. It's gone. Yeah.
And it's gone.
And it's really frustrating because LTG, he has kind of a reputation for being a less interesting lolcow, and that's because of him, because he deletes everything. He has a lot of hilarious moments. He has a lot of moments outside of his, big things with Viscount or crapping on Broly legs. I was mentioning the one that I was trying to find was one time LTG was going on this very bizarre rant about how the butthole proves that God exists, which I don't really know anyone's stance on religion, but I think that anyone would hear this argument and scratch their heads and say, no, that's insanely stupid. And he punctuated it at the end by saying, "Next time you go and take a shit, thank God for your ability to take a shit." And I can't find that rant anywhere. It's gone. It's obliterated. It bums me out because it's such a funny rant.
He has some creative words choices. He leads you on some fun stories. I think that's one of my favorite part about LTG is that he so wants to be an entertainer, and he's like one or two steps from actually possibly pulling it off.
It's absolutely true.
But the problem is it's his fault that he holds himself back. Like that's my opinion. That's my take. Like he's decent at fighting games. He has I He wants to talk the game. He has the chicken legs to make fun of. He's got it down. But I think you're right with him blocking his content and trying to funnel you right to his streams, and that's the only place you get to watch him. And you better pay up. And you better participate. You better be part of his little cult thing. And you see now why they call him the stationary DSP.
I see
it. That's kind of how you piece it all together. But he hates it. He hates being compared to Phil. But I think he's going with the right take on Phil right now, with this whole drumming up drama. What's your
the whole drama thing? It's something I'd always wished for. One time Tevin brought it up, and I've latched it on in my brain. How wild it would be if you could somehow trick DSP into watching DSP content without DSP realizing it's DSP, and hearing DSP's takes on DSP. And it's something that could never happen, unfortunately. It's just theoretically impossible. And that's the closest we ever got to it, because everything that DSP was saying about LTG is more or less 100% true, but also everything could apply to him. And so he was essentially debunking himself while yelling at LTG. LTG did take the high road of being completely dismissive of it, which I'm really shocked by. LTG usually gets in the shit all the time about stupid crap. But I guess because DSP didn't try to directly profit off of him in terms of making a documentary about him that was all slanderous and negative. He doesn't really care that much. But I've been really enjoying the spat because there have been. I try not to pause too much during my videos on my streams, but there were some of those rants where I was pausing every 3 seconds, where I was pulling my hair out. I was saying, DSP, that's just you. That's just you. He wants constant validation. That's just you.
Projection is real in
it really
streams. And it's heavy lately. It's been real heavy. Anytime he's talked about somebody, especially that LGD rant, it was like, dude, that's you. He's like, oh, but he does all these viewers, and he doesn't have any contributions, and it's just sad. Like, he talked him down for a hot minute. He goes, I never said anything negative about the guy. And it's like,
I'm just saying he's garbage. It's completely different.
But do you think LTG will be kind of let back in, unbanned from the FTC?
No, I think he's too much of a liability, and it's the same answer for why it is that he would never really work on the Lolcow podcast. DSP and all the other locals are known for their extremely bizarre lack of self-control. But LTG's is quite possibly the most explosive level of lack of self-control. DSP, for all of his stupidity, he won't go on a long-ass tangent that pisses off the entire planet, but individually. You know, he won't make fun of black people, Mexicans, trans, LTG, anyone all at once. With LTG, you never know. Any tantrum, he burns the entire planet. So it's too dangerous to have him get associated with stuff.
Oh, he's lost.
No,
then. He's not coming back to play Capcom Cup or anything like that. Okay, because I've been thinking about it lately. Because there has been a couple unbannings where people have been allowed back into playing tournaments.
I think
and stuff like
if all they did was watch 10 minutes of one of his streams, they would see, okay, yeah, we made the right call. He can't help himself.
Right. It's just a matter of time in that situation. At least that's what I'm thinking. I just think eventually he's going to hit that point and he's just going to fly off the handle, and then you're liable because he's there and
Absolutely.
you said he could be.
Absolutely.
You brought him back. It's kind of like Twitch unbanning Phil from the partnership program. You'd be like, well, that's your fucking fault. You know.
No, it's too dangerous. And DSP contextualized it as LTG's not good enough to be on the Lolcow podcast. That's not true. That's not the correct answer. LTG would be hilarious on the Lolcow podcast. But it's simply a matter of, you could very well have the first episode, LTG goes on a huge tirade, and like Keem has to basically pull the show. And with no other locales, you really have that possibility, except maybe Christian, because, you know, the dimensional merge could happen right then and there. We don't know.
Oh, that would be amazing. Do you want to tell chat who Tommy C is?
I don't know who Tommy C is. Like, I was blown away when that happened, when they announced it, and I didn't know who he was. And I've never had that feeling, because I know who a lot of the locales are, but Tommy C, no, nothing.
Interesting. Okay, that's usually the take that I'm catching back from people. So Tommy C is like a Keem adjacent kind of guy. He was on podcasts with Keem. One was called like Baited. Him and another guy in Keem were on it, if I remember correctly, and they came to like poor terms because of money. He wanted to get paid a little more, and Keem was like, no, that ain't fucking happening. But he's kind of a douchebag. He used to do I don't know if he still does. It was like Shot from the Point. It was like a hockey kind of podcast thing. I mean, that's kind of where I first found him. I'm a big hockey fan, so you know, getting into that kind of spot, and it's just like, okay, that's fucking nuts. But he's kind of there just to move the dials and keep the flow of the show. I sure
hope he can do it.
I don't really fucking move on with it. Like, he's not going to be your third party. Maybe if they get gas, it might have some staying power. I think I agree with King Sly, because he was doing a podcast about this, because he was talking about Rich's meltdown. Rich had a big meltdown the other day, which if you haven't seen it,
I see it here in your recommended videos. I need to go check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty good stuff. Because Rich is another weird pay piggy lolcow that ends up back in the vortex with all this weird.
Rich really bores me. because he's not interesting at all to me. He doesn't have a lot of the hilarious, goofy moments that DSP has, and he also has too many moments where he's right, which is frankly not where I'm about. I want to see you be a wrong asshole all the time, and he has too many broken clock moments. I'm looking up that video.
What do you think Rich will ever be able to get
No.
DSP to talk to him?
No,
on stream?
it's kind of the same thing with the 100 bands, or was it 5 bands? He's gonna need to pay up.
I mean, most people have to pay up, right? I mean, that was a question for Craig directly. It was like, you didn't pay this guy, right? And they're like, no. Fuck that. It's the smart thing to do. I mean, Phil used to charge people for time to even talk to him. Like there was back in the day, it was like $600 or something like that for some time with Phil.
It's not worth it unless you get a really legendary Rams.
You're not gonna really get it. It's gonna be some. You're gonna have to like drop in detractors or do some crazy shit to pull it off. But I don't know if we're ever gonna get to see Phil be that truly desperate.
Because even at his lowest, he wouldn't do that. I don't think. He's too defensive now. I was shocked that the podcast even really happened, the side scrollers thing, because this dude had been super paranoid his whole life, and it had only been growing and growing, and then that happened, and I don't think he's ever gonna be open to doing anything ever again with people, not unless he had complete and utter control at all times, and I mean almost like have a sniper on the person at the same time. I can only see it something like that. If he brings up my wife, take him down.
So with Dylan just brought up June the King in my chat, with saying that he'll pay for an interview with Phil, at least. Like, do you think this LTG road that Phil has started on with this drumming up the drama and bringing up all this nonsense, he's using it as a stepping stone to try to get in bed with June to watch that?
It could very well be. DSP's plans are usually consistently stupid, and that's a really stupid plan. And it's stupid for everyone. June the King looks like a dumbass for this whole thing.
I mean, he's been talking shit on the Twitters, talking about how the whole 3 snort circus is going. I mean, like, I get it. I get the take. Like, there are really fucking dumb detractors out there. There are people who do it all the time. But, you know, it's one of those things of you know, that's why I like to talk to people a lot, get one-on-ones with people and hit them up. You know, it's important to me. You know, you know, I'm over there on the Kiwi farms. You know, people seem to, you know, some reason trust my, you know,
you seem trustworthy,
I guess, when it comes to this stupid place. It's just one of those things where, like, who is somebody like June the King gonna have to talk to really set that story straight and not just get
I think he'd have to talk to Panda. I really think that Panda holds the key to a lot of information about DSP. And I've been saying this for a while, where DSP is extremely lucky that everyone that he's shit on and who's, you know, divorced from him in some sort of capacity has all been extremely mature people. John, Howard, you know, Leanna, they've all been able to let it go and not want to go back. And he's extremely lucky for that, because any 3 of those people, any one of those people, would probably tear DSP apart. They know everything that we don't know. And that's why I think that only if he interviewed Panda Lee would it really set straight. On the same end, I kind of respect Panda Lee and a lot of the other former characters, because they managed to make a break from the system. They managed to make a break from the DSP cult. And I'm sure in a lot of ways it's very traumatizing for them to be brought back into it. But if it ever happened where, say, Panda Lee was hard for money, I could see her writing a tell-all book about DSP. And that would be easy money. That'd print your own money right there.
So instead of making soap, she just makes book.
Bestseller overnight.
And it would just bury Phil? Get it with Keen?
Why not? Instant publishing.
I guess that would be the idea, right?
And the fact that hasn't happened shows how incredibly lucky DSP is. Because,
I mean, most of his past and his personal life seems to be well separated from the streams now. Unless if DSP himself wants to tell you and be a victim about it.
He only tells you about the windows into how he's suffering.
Do you think Cat will ever
No,
return to a stream?
no, Cat's never come back.
Is it because we don't have a wide angle camera?
We need satellite imagery. Uh,
Oh, we might.
I think that because DSP recontextualizes everything so that he's the victim. I think what Kat was trying to express is that DSP streams are not fun. They're not enjoyable. For one thing, during every single one of the streams that she's there with him, she has nothing to do but look at chat. He doesn't hand the controller to her. I think a good setup would have been she plays the game and DSP looks at the chat the whole time. That would have worked out better because then he could ban people instantly, yell at people instantly, answer questions like "What's my favorite kind of cheese?" That kind of stupid crap, and she wouldn't have to engage with him at all. It would have been a perfect setup. But DSP's need for control meant that he had to play and you could look at the chat. That's why she didn't want to stay around. That shit's lame.
That Halloween stream was just great, and
Yeah.
it was all Tevin's fault.
He broke in and gave Kat a ride. You could take that any way you want.
With all of this community growth and upswelling in the DSP vortex, I mean, what is the greatest highlight from this community?
The community itself? Okay, I really bust my ass watching the videos that people make where they edit down DSP statements into hilarious things. The two that really stick out for me are the DSP dick stroking Phil vlogs. The earlier ones. The earlier ones were a little different because the later ones he is, I guess you could say it, more honest in that he just cuts out all the filler, so it's really condensed. But his earlier ones where he was basically creating new lines were really funny. And the one where he does the Luigi's Mansion review where his house is on fire. Those kind of things that people make are hilarious as hell to me.
What is your favorite kind of detractor content?
Probably those kind of videos. Those videos where it's clowning on his goofy mannerisms without getting too much into the meats of his personal drama. Because I feel like that the personal drama ones are the ones that you go to like restreams for, is to really catch up on those.
What do you think the current state of this detractor community is?
I think it's experiencing a renaissance because when I was getting into it, the big characters were at the time Tevin and LSB, and then Ludwig started popping in. Maybe I have the timeline a little off, but Ludwig started really popping off, and I really liked his content. And then it kind of, for some reason, had a slight downturn where like LSB left and several other people started kind of going to the wayside or doing their own thing. And then you had the this explosion of content, it felt like. And this is just from my perception. It could have been that everyone was here the whole time. I'm not very perceptive. And we had the That Being Said podcast come up. We had the Detractor Beams come up. I started learning about you and Piece of Peace more. I felt like we're in a very good position. And there's a lot more creativity happening now. It's things like the...
I mean, we're getting shows with
exactly.
songs,
Yes.
contests, art.
The
guy. The whole thing was like Gundam coming in and everybody working together to just do something silly and promote.
I got more hyped
charity.
for that thing than actual releases of model kits.
I really think that is just really fucking solid, to be honest. Like that might be my favorite highlight up from the community.
The guy figure, it's cool. It's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'd have to say that that's really up there.
It's definitely a high point.
Oathkeeper is asking if you know about the Pastor Miller side.
That one looked like a side story that looked really lame when I first started hearing about it, and pretty much every time I poked my head into it, I didn't find it very funny. So I know roughly what happened. It was like Pastor Miller was an DSP detractor for a little bit, and then he got inversely toxified and got turned into his own mini lolcow. That's pretty much all I know. It just didn't resonate with me.
No, that's a solid take. I mean, I was brought up. I was somewhat involved. I mean, but for the most part, I just kind of shied away from it. I wasn't too into it. I just every now and then I'd turn on one of his streams just to listen to how crazy he got. But it was a weird side kind of story. Dude, you have a favorite DSP?
It was an attempt to be
arc?
a spinoff there. Let's see. Not really. Most people just kind of vanish when they stop being a part of DSP stuff. But
I mean, it could be any other like off stream kind of interaction. It could be, him talking about somebody. Is there one of those little side beefs
I mean,
that Phil's
the
had?
LTG one's the best one for me. I do like him still managing to shit on side scrollers, even though side scrollers has more or less been done with him for this whole time. Really, they don't care about him anymore. They've been done. I think that was a lot of fun. I really wish that could have been more. That they kept trying to bring him back on to do more videos, but and that's the Keemstar ones are pretty funny sometimes. But I would say the LTG and side scroller ones are some of the best side content that came from it.
Who is Phil's most feared detractor?
Leanna. But okay, actual answer. Uh, I guess whichever one lives closest to him. But I mean, his most hated is Secret Limited. He hates Secret Limited because Secret Limited brings the receipts, and he can't have that because his biggest thing has always been that a lot of the evidence against DSP can be very nebulous at times or hard to find. He said in a stream back in 2009 that, maybe we should wipe out this ethnicity or something. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what stream he said that or when exactly he said that. So he banks on that. And Secret Limited, though, he manages to dig and get every single element that shows that DSP is guilty. And DSP can't have that. He can't actually have a dossier of his failings.
Do you think Phil watches detractor
Absolutely.
content on his own?
Absolutely. I think that he probably doesn't seek it out too much, but he probably just puts it on every once in a while, especially if it's something new that's he's being accused of. He was definitely watching detractor content during the Legend of Zelda situations. He was watching that shit. And I do think that a lot of his fans, quotation marks, asterisk, are sending him stuff. And as much as he says, don't send me stuff, he can't help himself. He needs to see what people are saying about him because he's insecure. If he really didn't care, he would never watch anything.
What do you think is going to cause Phil's downfall ultimately? And how is all of this going to wrap up and end?
I guess he's going to have to lose the condo in some sort of way. He's going to lose the condo and then have to go back to mom's house. And mom is not going to be on board with this stuff after this long. I can't have this long of my kid being a deadbeat. Then again, maybe she could be. But I think that it's going to have to take the loss of his home for him to have any sort of end to his story. Because his parents are going to probably demand that he get an actual job, and then that's going to be in the streams because, he'll be too tired, dude. I worked a 4-hour shift. And I could see it something like that. I could almost see like an economic situation also happen. Like just there's some sort of huge downturn in the economy up in Washington that makes it so that he loses his house, even though it's technically not his fault or something like that. That could also happen.
How long does Phil have left?
Oh, man, I don't know. I would say 2 or 3 years at max. But this dude has an amazing luck stat. I thought he would have been done a long time ago. 2 or 3 is my guess.
What's your favorite DSP gameplay? your top playlist, the one stream that if you go, hey, you got to see this guy suck at a video game. This stream is so terrible, or this video, or this game playthrough. For example, mine is Fallout 3, the original, because he just gets drunk. He just is a shit-faced fucking alcoholic, just raging at stepping on landmines.
Yeah, that was good. It's amazing. He's made sure to step on every single one. I'm gonna have to go out on a limb and say his racing games. His racing games really demonstrate his physical inability to play games, and that I was watching the my favorite of it. This is how you don't play. Is Need for Speed Payback, and I was watching it the other day, and I was amazed how a car would be on screen for what felt like all of 15 minutes. And you think in your head, oh, he's going to dodge it. He's going to dodge it. He's trying to conserve the amount of time that he has available to dodge it so he could dodge it in the last second to maintain his speed. Nope, slammed right into the back of it. Every time. and he would scream. That car just teleported out of nowhere. And when I watched that happen, I think this dude would probably be legitimately terrifying to ride in a car with. I don't know how many people he's accidentally run over.
Do you think it's because he doesn't wear
Yes,
his actual
absolutely.
glasses? Why doesn't he
And people won't
wear his
respect him because
glasses?
we
Like,
respect him now.
does he? Does he have any pride at all, in
He
your
has too
opinion?
much of it. He has a misplaced and poorly built pride. That's why he feels like he has to defend himself at all the time. He has to feel like he has to explain his actions all the time. But you don't have to explain your actions. Oh, I lost because, well, I'm a little tired and my hand hurts and my controller buttons aren't working. You just lost because you lost, man. It's not really that deep. But he has to pretend like people are right on the verge of losing respect for him. So he has to assure them, no, it's okay. I didn't do anything wrong. And that comes from very weird places of pride.
I figured that was more along the lines of ego, because I figure in my world Phil
Oh,
has no
okay.
pride.
I see. It
Doesn't.
you're
It's
making a distinction
non-existent.
between ego and pride. I'm sorry, I lumped them in together a lot of times. Okay.
Yeah,
Pride. Yeah, he still has a little bit
like
because he had this situation. No, that's still just ego. Damn.
yeah. See, I'm telling you, like I know what you're thinking of. Like, oh, he redressed his set. He tried to change. He changed the rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's taken all these certain steps to tune up his streams and really feel like he's the professional
Mm-hmm.
streamer man. Yet he doesn't take pride in
Oh, yeah.
his
Okay. On that
appearance.
extent,
He
no,
doesn't
he's
take
got
any
zero pride.
pride.
He doesn't give a shit about anything.
He has, yeah. I think the only thing he really gives a shit about is money,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, and things. He's the ultimate consumer, not consumer
Derek.
like Derek.
Thank God.
Do you think Derek's going to be arrested on charges sooner or
I
later?
mean, I want to hope that he never gets charged because he never does anything, but probably because usually when you're that obsessed with stuff, you eventually look for opportunities to act out, and with especially like abduction or sex abuse or anything like that, even the smallest version of acting out on that, even if it's just prowling around your grade school parking lot, it's all super bad. So I think even if he doesn't straight up molest a kid or sexually assault someone,
God.
it's gonna be life changing for that. He's still gonna get the book tossed at him. And what I'm really looking forward to is when that happens, DSP is gonna have to pretend like he never defended him ever.
Okay, good. That was my follow up. Was how long will DSP try to pretend that he never gave Derek like the VIP treatment? Very
Yeah,
important pedophile.
he's gonna immediately readjust the narrative, much like how he pretend like, dude, I've always used guides. I always used video game guides, even though there's mountains of videos of him banning people for suggesting he uses guides. It's going to be the same thing with Derek. What are you guys talking about? I always said that Derek was a very suspicious individual and that he did bad things. I never defended him.
I blocked him on
I
Twitter.
used to talk to him and be like, you
I'm
shouldn't do
married,
stuff like
dude.
that. And he was like, I agree. And that's going to lead to a banning spree. He's going to probably ban upwards of 200 people when that happens because people are again, he's very lucky that people are as mature as they are because a lot of people want to shit on him for this crap that he says, and that's going to push people to talk about it.
Who is Phil's most loyal pay picky?
Planet Jeff is up there.
And how many whales? How many whales do you think he has
Total no socks. He has to have less than 10, and I think it may be even closer to 5 or 6. And
Okay. Can you
Planet
name
Jeff's one. You definitely have what's his name? OIC. Planet Jeff and OIC. But I also count people like what's his name? The one who says the really dumbass messages. Lord Prince Albert.
Game
I
Gutter?
consider him a pay pig
Oh, that
because
guy's
he's
fucking dumb fuck,
consistent
dude.
money.
Yeah.
He's essentially what DSP wants people to be doing, consistently giving me $5 a stream through various messages. So I consider him a pay pig. Now it's not humongous money, but it's still every stream he gets something from him. Um, Jade, I guess, is technically a loyal pay pig.
He just gave him that copy for
That's so
Armored
goddamn
Core 6,
stupid, man.
right?
Dude, I will play Armored Core 6 with Jade. Eh, you don't have to do all that.
I mean, is that why he gifted him the copy just to see if he could play with him?
I think he's
You
already
think
gotten that
that's
out
it?
of his system because he could have played with him with Street
Okay.
Fighter. It was so easy. It was so easy, and DSP just didn't want to do it. So it was
Was that a
really
poor
bad.
look?
I thought so because DSP talks all the time about how he does nice things, does nice things, and he actually never does nice things because DSP is of the opinion that the absence of malice equals nice. No, that's not how it works. You actually have to go out of your way to make someone's day better. That's what nice is. And so it could have counted as something nice. And DSP could say, well, I would just body him. Okay. So let him play for a little bit. Let him test a couple combos, lab it out a little bit, and then tear his ass apart. It doesn't have to be you start up the game and body him. It was so needless. And he can't even say something like, well, I'm all about what's fair is fair. If you get in, you get in. I don't know. I've seen Jade. It doesn't look like his life is essentially very fair. You could let this one slide.
Poor kid. I had a little chat with his
Yes, I
mom
saw all those.
on Twitter when she showed up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a shame. She's just out of it. I'd assume. I mean, much like their parents or many of these dents, they're like a lot of them are wheelchairs. Like we joke about this, but we're legitimately talking about his chat being
I would
probably
agree.
90% wheelchair.
And he does that on purpose. All of his little tactic that he does is he does a very organized system of cultivation. And I think that's where the stories about my kitchen sink and whatnot come in, is because he tells these stories, and then when an actual adult steps up and says, actually, Phil, you're wrong, that's not how that works, ban him. Get him out of here. No questioning me. And if you do that consistently and long enough, you only have a community of people who either don't know anything or do not have the guts to tell you that you're wrong. And that's why he has nothing but wheelchairs, because anybody who is smart gets shown the door.
Is there a dent that has an over 77 IQ?
Well, I guess Planet Jeff has to have an IQ if he's an engineer, but it sure doesn't get used that much. Um, no, not anymore. I could see what was his name, Papa Vera, being kind of intelligent, but he's gone.
That dude directly works with
Exactly.
people with autism.
I have this
No
I
wonder
have
why
this
he was so
dumb lore
helpful
that
to Phil.
he was doing essentially research on DSP as his like thesis or whatever, and that's why he was helping him out so much with Minecraft.
It'd be crazy. That'd be the.
For
I'd
sure,
want
me
to read
too.
that, to be honest, just as much as I want to read one of Planet Jeff's alive wife.
I
She
want to
wrote
see
novels
those.
apparently. I gotta crack one of those open.
No, I would love to see
I
the
gotta go hunt those
dissertation.
down
I
apparently.
want to see it. Please, I will pay
Oh,
money.
there's so many just. It was just so good, so good. Ah, like the bankruptcy. I'm just getting the nostalgia feels right now. I'm thinking about all the weird sagas we've been on, all the weird fucking rants I've seen. You know, the Superhound stuff comes to
Mm-hmm.
mind. I mean, we saw the detractor community rock back and forth with
Mm-hmm.
that
Very
nonsense.
true.
It still keeps coming back for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
It was a weird amount of finger pointing there, but thankfully, because this community is such a decent one, there wasn't a whole lot of. I was worried when it started happening with all the bannings that I was worried that people were going to say it was this detractor, he actually did do it, and there would create actual infighting. But I'm really appreciative that for the most part, no one did that. Now, when it got revealed that Soma had been doing some, I was really annoyed because you can't do that right there in the middle of that. That's just awful. You can't do it at all.
Even when
Hmm?
his channel got
Hmm?
knocked, someone's channel got pushed out too. So I don't know why he
It's
did it to other
trash.
people, but he has that kind of a reputation. He's been there before. He's done stuff like that before. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna have to have times where you're gonna deal with somebody
Mm-hmm.
doing a no move, and you're You're gonna have to go talk to
Absolutely.
people. You're gonna have to fucking go back and forth. And I'm pretty surprised. Like, I've talked to a lot of people in the community. I've talked to, you name it. I pretty much hit them up for the one-on-one time. It's kind of just my thing. But is there somebody on that list for you? Like, who's your go-to guy? Do you have one?
I do. Okay, can you clarify the question a little bit better? I'm not sure I fully understand. Like someone that I go to talk to amongst the troll community. Okay.
Yeah, amongst the troll community, do you have somebody like? For me, it's GTG. Him and I get along very well. We've done it from the
I
start.
talk a lot with
You
Ice
know,
Yamamoto. I
we
really
had
like him. I've spoken to a lot of the other detractors. I talked to Duty a little bit. I've talked some with the that being said, and I've discussed anime with Theo. That was fun. But not. I think it comes from a little place of insecurity on my part, and I don't really know if that's appropriate. But I have this. I've always been taught to just not bother people, so I tend not to really message that many people or send that much stuff. But I always really enjoy it whenever I can. It's always been a lot of fun being able to talk with the fellow detractors.
Do you have a favorite Phil moment from? Let's see here, his Street Fighter
Mm,
6 streams, because he just
yes,
hit
he
the
did get.
master rank. So do you respect him more?
No, that's not going to happen. Um, I don't respect him because, for one thing, you can't respect a person who has no respect for others. It just doesn't work that way. And he will invalidate every single person's wins and read their thoughts and tell them that they're bad people for doing this and that. And how am I supposed to respect your master if the person who blocked your dragon punch is an asshole? Shut up. I don't care if you got master or not then. Um, I guess his first player lobby he did was a lot of fun to me. I was able to get in and kind of goof around and teabag them, and it confused the hell out of them, so that was fun. I lost. I'm not really that bothered by it. But the thing that I really enjoyed was that he had a chat in the lobby on the PC version that you could see people shitting on him, and he didn't notice. He didn't know that that was happening. That was pretty funny to me. And then poor Jade over there saying, "Can I be let in? Can I be let in? Can I be let in?" That was funny. It was sad, but also funny.
So you
I
think
think
he
he
should
should
have
have.
played with Jade then? Do you think he should play with other people from his fan base? Do you think that'll help him out? I mean, he's doing these
Mm-hmm.
soft lobbies, right? Where he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
flex on people, but he promises hard
No, they're
lobbies. I
never
don't
going to
think
happen.
those are ever
And
gonna
they're going to get
happen.
canceled. The first one's going
Yeah.
to be the only one that happens, if that happens. I think that it would do him a lot of good to play with specific people because his narrative of, well, I'm kind of self-created in the fact that I don't have advertisements, I operate entirely on word of mouth. That helps drive word of mouth. If you have DSP picking out fans and playing with them, that looks good. That looks nice. That looks like he also respects you as individuals. And DSP wants to pretend like he's fair, and that's his defense for why he doesn't do that. But it doesn't matter if it's fair or not, because I don't know, someone in the audience doesn't get the thing that gets thrown into the audience by the band. Someone there didn't get it. Oh well. Someone doesn't catch the fly ball. Oh well. But someone did, and that means something to them. You can't do that, though.
So he ran away from Craig challenging him to
Yeah, he's
Street Fighter
Craig's bitch.
Six. So what? Okay, so he's Craig's bitch, just like
Yeah, he's
LTG
my
is
bitch
his
as well, because
bitch, or
I
something.
challenged him to Maxi Boost, so he's on, like, the bitch rotation.
Oh,
We're going
damn,
to have to
that's
schedule
rough.
some
That's rough.
arrangement for that. We'll have to have different turns as DSP. Yeah, but I'm going to need him as my bitch on
Gee.
August 25th, because I'm going to play against him in Armored Core, so I'm going to need him then.
Oh, okay, okay. That sounds like a good time. I might have to try to tune in for
It'll be
that.
fun. I plan on taking the whole weekend off and playing it. I really don't want to watch DSP play it. I want to watch him play it afterwards, after the This Is How You Don't Play is made. And he's not going to stick with that game. It's not going to happen. Because as soon as he sees all the numbers on screen, he's going to check out.
I don't think he's gonna understand how that game
Like,
works. It's been a while since I played one, but still, it's a complicated, intricate
exactly.
system from what I remember, and you have to know how to build stuff and figure it out. But But Phil
No, he
has
has no
no fucking
patience for it.
chance until it's handheld.
Old Phil might have actually been able to
So
play
it's
it.
going to
New
be.
Phil, never.
So has his
Yes,
gaming declined
easily.
over the year then?
Because he's so used to chat
So he's
hand-holding him that he
can't
never
pick up
spends
the
any time
controller
playing the
anymore.
game.
So no more picking up the controller, being like
Never.
the world's best gamer, dude.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't exist. Did it ever exist?
There's certain weird pockets where DSP shows a rather inspiring amount of gameplay, and I hope I don't sound like a heretic for saying that, but there is something immensely beautiful about a man who essentially is mentally disabled being able to beat Dark Souls. It's something special. And for that, I'll give him credit. For his ability to keep persevering in games like Dark Souls and whatnot and eventually win, that's pretty impressive. But in general, no, he has no actual competency when it comes to video games at all.
Can we give you a demerit because he walked away from Kirby?
Man, that
Kirby Souls hurt more.
yeah, that's a Kirby Souls game.
Why did he struggle so hard with that?
No, that's it's really bad. There's tons of games where I've played them before, and he's playing them and sucking so badly, and it's a roller coaster of emotions. Because on one hand, I'm really amused seeing him struggle with games that I beat as a kid, but then I do get annoyed when he says that who the hell made this game? No one knows how to beat this game. You would never be able to beat this. Blah blah blah. I beat it when I was 6. Okay, yeah, clearly it's impossible.
It's quality. I know people don't show up for his gameplay. I know he's had decent gameplay. Marvel collection comes to mind. The MVC stuff where he was like ranked #1 in the world for like the day one shit, and then he got bodied. Those playlists are pretty good. Like he had decent gameplay, stuff like that. Just still, it's got the rage in there because that's how he is.
He is decent
that,
at Street Fighter. I'll give him credit that he's decent, but he has that very strong ceiling that he never ever questions. Every time he loses, it's not his fault, and that's not the mentality of a winner. That's
right. It's gonna hold him back.
Yes.
Does LTG do that?
Absolutely.
When he plays?
Yeah,
well?
LTG is in many ways worse than DSP when it comes to that, because for LTG, you have to win using these set parameters, and if you don't, your win should be completely invalidated. And also, you should just not have the game be able to install anymore. They should just automatically uninstall it. You did a wake-up medium punch. Your game should uninstall. You should be banned from Capcom events. And I don't understand what kind of mentality that is, because then in the next match, he'll wake up medium punch.
Have the same fucking cry. That's good. I'm gonna have to watch some of his gameplay. It's been
Someone
a while
did
since
this
I watched
really hilarious
Dale
flowchart of what excuses he makes, and it essentially made it so that you can't have a valid win against him. If you wake up, do anything, you're a scrub. If you wake up and don't do anything, that shows that you're afraid and you're a scrub. Okay, then you can't win against LTG. He can't respect you.
That's just sad. I don't think he has fun playing games then. At all. I think he does it for the money and the notoriety, and just because that's just what he can do. Well, living in that sweet apartment with his cat.
Aura.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how similar they're like. They're both cat dads. So I got one last question for you before we get into the Copecast today. Yeah.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
I don't know. I ordered some pizza. I'll probably just have leftover pizza. It's robust Italian flavored style pizza.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sticking around for the first hour of The Hangover. I hope you enjoyed the interview portion of this. I'm trying to dust off and get actual interviews in there. I don't know if you ever saw the OIC one. That wasn't an actual interview. It was just a shit show.
No, I haven't seen it. I ought to check it out.
Yeah, you might enjoy it. Oh, jeez. Do you have a favorite Phil song?
Yes, I actually like Complete Destruction. And I like it because the background music is pretty good. But him screaming and crying over it, that's not fun. But the actual instrumental behind it is good. But no, in general, most of these are terrible. They're mind-numbing and awful.
Your favorite segment from the Copecast?
Usually specific ones where he has to explain why it is that he lashed out at everyone on the previous day. Those are always fun. It's domestic abuser segment. Well, you see, guys, I had a long day at the plants, and I just came home and I thought dinner would be ready, and like the cat puked on the floor, and well, I just had to beat my wife. That there's a chain of events there that doesn't lead to a logical conclusion, and I live for that a lot of times with him. It was hot in my office. I was sweaty. I had new buttons. My controller's not working, so I had to ban 50 people.
What is his biggest complaint about living in Washington?
He says the recycle is a big problem, the trash disposal stuff, which I don't...
You mean the one where he keeps like 3
Yes.
months worth of kitty litter in the garbage can or
And,
something
and
like
it's
that?
a thing that has easy solutions, but DSP isn't capable of doing even easy solutions. The job where I work at, we have a dumpster that we can use if we want, because we're employed there and they contract out the dumpster or whatever, however it works. So I throw stuff away there all the time. That's never been a problem for me, even if I have something similar. DSP can't do that. It's impossible.
All right, here comes the cold
All right,
intro
let's do
from
it.
Phil. We're ready. Guitar noises.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, that's
Good
not
morning,
good.
everyone. On today's many updates, including one of the best performances I've ever had in my over 2 months playing Street Fighter 6. Big updates
Dude,
regarding
he's
the
hyped
mini
from last
PC
night.
that I unboxed yesterday. A little bit more talk about the joystick and future of fighting games here on
This
DSP
already
Gaming.
pre-begging.
Plus,
Is this the
Pre-planting the
today
bag.
is the conclusion of Final Fantasy 16, which I know we're all
I
excited
like the seated
for.
bag.
Yeah,
All
bags
this
are
and
fun.
I'm a
more
big fan.
Because
on today's
it's not even
show.
remotely subtle either. Dude, it would be so cool if I had a new control stick. Like, man, if I had really cool fans that really liked me, and I'd have a new control stick. But I understand you guys can't do that.
The intro. So
It's high end. Someone spent their whole afternoon working on that.
Alrighty, everyone. So good morning. It is Saturday, the 5th of August, 2023. I'm DSP. Welcome to the podcast. Time for a break for Street Fighter after having played it a ton back on Wednesday and then all day yesterday. We have the entire weekend away from it. So for those of you who are like, oh, I'm so
Is
Street
that you,
Fightered out.
DSP? Is
well,
DSP
you're
all
in
Street
luck.
Fighter
There will
out?
be no Street Fighter today, nor will there be any
I don't
Street
know. I
Fighter
think
6
most people are
tomorrow.
doing it.
Okay. We've got an eventful show
It's
today.
this game that
Why?
brings in probably
Because I have
the most money
updates
right
on
now.
pretty much everything.
And
that
it's
we
also
talked
the
about
only one that
yesterday.
anyone actually really cares to watch.
To the point where I want to have further discussion with everyone about the future. So we'll do that. We're going to talk about everything.
Okay, I'm
First of
muted
all,
real quick. I
Street
want
Fighter
to tell
big
you all
update
in
because
chat. I
did
apologize
so
that I'm
well
not reading
yesterday.
a
I
whole
actually
lot
had
of
the
chats.
stats.
You
I
understand the
think draw my
The fake
situation.
drop.
stats
I appreciate
from
you all.
Game
not
Statistics
real.
like what?
If he
Um,
goes, he's fine.
they're
He can make
wrong.
Master doing his
But in
thing.
addition to
I don't
that,
think he's gonna make
in
Master
regards
again.
to
It
this
was a
mini
fluke.
PC that I got
I'm
yesterday,
being toxic.
man, I have gotten a bunch of information regarding this style of device.
What are we talking about? Some sort of alien
some
tech?
good and some bad. I
found this
suppose.
thing out in the desert. I have no
So I
idea
want
what
to give
this
you an
thing
update
is.
on there and some things that I'm doing in preparation to get that thing up and running tomorrow to see how it works.
Yeah.
Plug it in,
Um,
turn it on.
It says my
I'm gonna tell
both
more
your
about
pistols are low.
Our discussion about possibly getting a new joystick for my PlayStation 5, because I am leaning more one way than the
To the
other,
left.
and I
Nope,
want
back to the right again.
obviously have that discussion with all of you. I will need some help.
Why do you need help?
with
This is
that
your
because these
business.
joysticks
Do
are
we
very
get some of the
expensive.
profit?
Drop all
Can
of
I use
that
it?
Is going to be a big investment.
Do we all get turns with the
but we'll
control
talk
stick?
a little bit more about that.
can't.
And of course,
No,
today's
it's
the end of
business
Final
related.
Fantasy 16.
Okay.
After a month and a half
You
playing
could
this
just
darn
get a
game,
converter DSP.
today we see how it all ends. And I think
Did
we're
you
all
watch
excited
those
for
shirts
various
in the
different
background?
reasons.
It sure
I
looks
like
like
I want
it.
to see how I'm gonna,
And I
you
can't
know,
even really see him. Like the
commentate on
white
the
one, he had to tell me what
For
it
those who
was.
don't like the game, they just want it done, and the fact that it's finishing today,
Oh,
they're
the,
excited.
the DSP
So,
one, the
I will be
fucking
giving my
one in the back,
full
Dark
opinion
Side Phil, King
Yes.
on
of
the
Hate
game today
Crown
once I
thing.
finish it on this
Yeah,
good
that's a
stuff.
classic
okay?
shit. The
Then
ringer.
we'll move on to bigger and better stuff, and or
He's got the
more
mug with the
interesting
matching
stuff
logo.
for
Yeah,
this month.
it's
It's
very
the
relevant.
anniversary
God, he used to
celebration
drink and
month.
fucking chew water from that.
And so I have a great
When
idea,
you
of
think
course,
Phil,
of what
you
I want to
think
play next.
Windman
So we'll talk about that
and Leaf Guy.
on the show. But how's everyone doing?
I'm
I hope
great,
you're all
Phil.
doing well. And
Well,
I hope you're enjoying the weekend.
I'm not
You know,
as
many people
hungover.
King of
this
Hate
weekend
shit,
who
what's
are
that a
into
reference
fighting games
to?
are
It's
watching
a
Evo,
ironic
or the
reference to
Evolution Fighting
DSP. You
Game
could kind of
Championship
call him a King of
Series,
Hate,
which
but
is
he's
the
not.
giant national tournament held in Las Vegas this weekend.
Well,
I have not
decided
seen
to
a
Yeah, I'm not
single
full of
second
hate
of
anymore,
footage
you
of
piece
it.
of shit.
I'm doing
his
my
brand.
usual work here, and doesn't really afford me the time to go watch the live
That's
streams
exactly
of it
what's going to
when
happen.
they're
Him going to
coinciding with my
PlayStation
own
5 for
streams.
Street Fighter is a very dangerous idea.
You know, some people have asked me, will I watch
'Cause
any Evo? I might.
PlayStation
like,
5 is
once
kind of a
it's
different
over,
environment when it comes
then
to
maybe
fighters.
I'll go back and I'll watch like the
And
top
I know
8.
cross-play, but
You know,
but
it's
he's
still
just trying to
really
double
limited.
see
dip
how
on
people
it.
are playing this game at top levels and see if any of the characters they're using are the ones that I'm using and that we can implement.
I feel
in-
like
in
he's gonna
gameplay.
jump over there
Although I'd be
and
surprised
ju-
because as you know,
just
the top
only
tiers in
play
this game are not who
Blanca.
I'm using.
Blanca's
right?
really good.
Honda's not
Everyone
top
loves
tier.
Blanc.
Blanca's not considered top
Yeah.
tier.
But he's gonna
Um,
just play Blanco pretty much until he
you know,
gets to
maybe
master it
Luke,
and be like, look,
but
I
I
did it
really
again.
stayed
Cruise and
away
a success.
from most of the characters that are considered top tier in Street Fighter 6. You know, Guile,
Well,
Chun-Li,
Street Fighter's ranking
It
system
does.
is pretty casual
Ken,
to me.
to name a few.
You don't get
Oh,
enough of a
Cammy. I haven't
deduction
even
from
touched
dropping
them.
matches
No, really.
or performing
You know,
poorly.
I don't know
against
if I'll
somebody.
necessarily learn
So
anything.
Yes, it's a matter of perseverance,
time.
which
Well,
DSP
not-
does do.
not-
He
It
does
just depends on
persevere
who's
with
in
some
them.
stuff.
Right
at
now, they're
times.
still in the qualifying round, so we have no idea.
Like if you
Anyway,
really wanted to, he'd probably
for
hit
those of you who are
master
watching,
on
enjoy,
yes,
obviously.
most of the cast.
I'm sure you guys
I
will
want to see
Maybe
someone make a
Evolution
bot
or
and
not.
have it get to master.
I really
I don't
haven't
imagine it'd be
followed
that
it
hard.
at all.
Dude, is he
Because
scratching
He's
his
got to
leg
do a
again?
quick jerk in real quick. It's kind of become
Basically
routine.
all my own stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's get one
You know,
off.
I just gotta do this
the
real
dust
quick.
settles.
Cameras
Normal.
cameras on the whole
I'm sure a
time.
lot
huh?
of people want to be talking fighting games, and that's
I
why
gotta
one of the
finish,
discussions
okay?
we're having
Say my name.
is about the future of fighting games on DSP Gaming and how seriously I take them.
Derek seems really interested in knowing what I'm watching right now.
And this is funny because I totally wouldn't have even had that discussion if it weren't for Street Fighter 6 not only being such a good game, but me actually getting good at it and people enjoying that
At
and
least he
supporting
doesn't
that.
hide behind Ken.
Because I had no
Really
clue.
OP.
You know,
That's,
2.5
I guess,
months
commendable.
ago, we had no idea.
He'd rather just complain
that,
about something than be
you know,
good at it,
I was
though.
gonna like Street Fighter 6
I
and
truly
end up
believe
playing it
that.
enough that I get good at it, and now it's a part of my rotation. Everyone's enjoying.
It's
Right?
part of this
It could've been hit or
midlife
miss. Like, a lot of
crisis.
these
He
fighting
really
games,
feels
they come
like
out,
he
I play
wants
them for a
to
week,
belong
okay,
again.
I play through the
He
story.
feels
I jump
the
online for a little
momentum
bit,
again.
and
He's got
This
the
dude
groove
talks
back.
all the time about how things are
This
not
case,
pertinent
the
or relevant
opposite. Like, I
anymore,
want
but
to
he
play more
wants the
Street Fighter 6.
FGC
I
to
wanna
say,
learn
"Oh,
new
it's that
characters,
guy
like what
who
happened
was
yesterday with Honda,
sort
which
of
we're gonna
relevant
talk
during
about in a sec."
PlayStation 1."
So
He's back.
yeah, good stuff. And I hope that you guys, again, will continue to give me your feedback and continue to let me know what you
Terrible.
think of my fighting game coverage. Let's start talking about yesterday's Street Fighter 6.
I kicked
Oh,
ass,
God.
Let's do
dudes.
that. And then
All right.
let's talk about
He's gonna
the
suck his
whole
own dick.
joystick
Get
situation
ready.
and see
You're
what
gonna
you
watch
guys
a
think.
man
Again,
suck himself off.
I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't get much feedback. And
What do you
that's
want me
a
to
little
say,
disheartening
DSP?
Because the fact that there is a group of people who are watching me play all the fighting games,
You played
know,
scrubby
and they're looking
bitches.
forward to MK1.
You started
and
crying when that
now-
Cammy beat you.
And I didn't get
What
feedback
else
in
do
the
you want me
last
to say?
24 hours on what I talked about
Oh.
yesterday. And it's a little.
Are the
I don't know.
kin
It makes me
pattern
wonder if I
kin?
should
I-
really
my
be caring as much as I'm
probably
caring. So
my
let's talk about it. okay?
Favorite Ken
So,
statement was when
yesterday,
DSP did a
Street Fighter
wake up
6, Street Fighter
Dragon
Friday.
Punch,
Okay.
and Ken blocked
And
it.
I said,
His
you know what? I wanna
response
go
was,
back
"This
to a
character is
that I
broken."
only played at the launch of Street Fighter 6 over 2 months ago.
Oh, I caught it
Is
on
Ken
camera.
supposed to just get
This
hit?
character
He's
that, from all
broken.
reports, is about mid-tier.
No, he
All right,
just
not top
jabbed
tier, he's
through
not
the
bottom
perfect
tier, he's kinda
parry.
mid-tier.
That was
That
a
was
good
my
one.
favorite one. The jab.
Yeah, that was great.
When I played
the
him, when the
perfect
game
parry.
first came out,
Annihilated him.
months ago, I did really well with him on launch day. I actually played him on launch day.
Jackson
I was
Game
beating
Cut
so many
really
people
funny.
on
Yeah,
launch
they
day
love it.
because
They
no one
love
knew how
that
to
shit.
play. I got to diamond rank after my qualifying matches. All right, and then I proceeded
That's
to play
their
some
favorite.
matches, and I was
Like-
kind of
like
like,
that-
win,
they're-
lose,
those
win,
two
lose,
guys
lose.
are
I was
pretty
just
much the
only
like
guys
keeping
teetering
this
on the edge
game
of being demoted to like
getting
5-star
paid.
platinum, and I
It's
never used
Noah
Honda again.
and
I
good
literally
old,
Yeah, and
uh,
Jade might be
character
willing to
except
spend
for
money if
when we had
DSP,
our
played him.
Community nights, once a week where I play with viewers in a lobby.
Probably. He
Then
said he
I
would
would
pay
actually
him.
play a little bit of Honda. But outside of that, I stayed
is
away from the
trash.
character. I mean, I fought
trash
against
thing to
Hondas
do to your
as
audience.
I
Yeah, he's clearly
endeavored to learn
developmentally
all the
disabled,
characters
and he
in the
probably
game,
plays
but
like
never used
crap.
them
But you
myself.
could just play a game with him.
So
it will
I
make the day
decided
to him.
that I was going to go
Ban
ahead
people.
and
Yeah, right,
by the
get
way,
him
I'm
outta
just
here.
gonna ban this idiot right now.
Oh, he's
Goodbye.
banning him.
I
Get him.
decided I was gonna go ahead and try him yesterday. All right.
Check
The
that
first
square off
time
for
since,
bingo.
again, the launch of the game. And the thing is, I studied up. I studied up on videos online to learn basic combos, basic strategies.
he
and the funny part about it was, so I see the combos. I'm like, okay, now I know the combo. The thing is, I don't know the inputs of the moves. So I had to go online. If you go to StreetFighter.com, you can
he just
actually
sits there and watches it. Oh, I understand it, and then he tries to do it.
Exactly, and that's essentially me when I play Guilty Gear. I look at Chip Zanuck combos and I think, oh, that's a pretty good combo. Never use it.
Okay, so here's the combo. So let me think in my head, muscle memory.
Right.
I'm going to do this combo tomorrow.
Like, oh, this is
stuff
how
like
it
that.
goes.
And on basic strategies.
I'm
and things
terrible.
with
No, I'm bad,
characters. So,
but I like
yesterday
having
I
fun
started
playing
with
them.
Honda,
I thought DSP said that was a
and
good thing.
on the fly, as I'm playing, not only am I implementing some of the strategies
Right.
I saw from videos, but I'm learning matchups. I'm getting a little matchup knowledge and the like. And
What's
I'm
DSP's
also
matchup knowledge
learning
been?
some other
You
mix-up
can't do anything
strategies,
against
like,
that?
For example, drive rushing with Honda is interesting because he's kind of slides across the screen in a way that
I
other
would like to
characters
see
don't.
a
He actually
fighting
is
game
drive rush is
wiki
one of the
written
best
by
in the game, in my
DSP,
opinion.
and it'd say stuff like medium
It almost feels
kick,
like he's
Oh, no.
isolated
response. You
with the
can't
way
do
he
anything
moves.
against this. You just
And
have to
his
get
moves
hit.
all uniquely have these forward-moving properties. His medium punch has a stretch.
Yeah.
His
Can't
fierce
block
kick has a
this.
stretch.
Impossible
And
to
after those,
react to,
because you're
especially
drive rushing,
online.
He recovers and he has frame advantage. So now you have all these options. So I'm doing punch into
Online
combo. I'm doing
combos.
kick into mix-up.
See,
If
shift
you
combo
use
into
Kin,
a
you are
throw.
interested in
Sometimes
being a
just wait
bitch.
and then do a command throw, which does big damage. So I'm doing all this stuff. Like, wow, this is actually quite effective.
Dude,
And
does all
anti-airs, I'm
these
learning. Standing
long-winded
fierce is anti-air and
fucking
everything.
Street
So I'm
Fighter
basically
rants.
learning all these basics by playing.
And then-
all right?
then
So
you get game
I went to
coverage, you
training
give
mode,
them
practiced a little bit, practiced
$29.99,
combos,
and then
and then
talk
I
to
went
them
to
about the
casual
stats
play, played for
and
about
how
45 minutes.
good
I said, all right, we're ready for
of
rank.
a
Mhm.
gameplay session.
So I played
he had.
2 hours of rank.
What's up, Ice?
It must be
on
two different
yesterday's
people.
first stream, okay? And keep in mind, I
Is
started
that-
in
that
Diamond
account
1 star.
Hack too?
Because
That's where
I was
my
after my initial
stupid little gimmick of the
placings,
clone counter comes from.
months ago.
Is that it only makes sense
Alright?
to me that DSP has
I
these
got
inconsistencies if he's a
32
series of
wins and
clones.
18 losses.
Because Clone 1
for
was
a
getting bodied.
64%
Clone 2 wakes up
win-loss
and said, dude, I was doing
ratio. By
amazing.
the end of those 2 hours of playing, I went from Diamond 1 star to Diamond 2 star.
What?
This was
nobody
the
fucking
polar
cares.
opposite of what I was expecting for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, I haven't used Honda in 2 months. I don't, I'm learning on
yeah,
the fly.
exactly. Jab has always been a
And
problem. Always.
I'm
You deal with it.
absorbing so much. I'm actually doing really well. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure I was going to get bodied, demoted down to platinum, slowly
Dude,
climb my
you're
way
playing
back to
people
diamond and
just
learn how to
Yeah,
play
exactly.
character along the way.
Just barely
Instead,
And
I'm
also,
playing
on
game
Diamond.
a lot of the best
with
players are
Diamond
Evo right
players.
now. They're not
You gotta
playing
understand
online.
that Diamond is right before Master. This is the only
Yeah,
training
you're not
ground
gonna
you have
catch a
to get
pro
to the upper
guy or
echelons of the
somebody
game.
working
It's
on a
not like this
character.
is, oh,
They're
you're
having fun at
freaking
Evo.
low-level stuff.
You've
This
got a
is
best
with
environment you
high-level
could do this in
gameplay,
right now.
and I'm actually doing really well. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. How am I doing so well? The other thing is, if you remember last week, I tried to do something similar with Zangief, and man, Zangief, I couldn't win at all. At this, at the
You
level
suck
I'm
at
at,
the
I
game.
was
I don't understand how it's supposed to
5-star
work.
platinum Zangief. I
He's
couldn't
apparently
even
too
hang in
fast. I
5-star
remember that
platinum
from
Zangief,
last
like,
night as
even
well.
knowing
Zangief's
strategies,
moves are
combos,
too
and everything,
fast.
Zangief just sucks in this game. I hate to say it. He really
Dude,
does
that
stink.
that Geef
They
was
fucked
grabbing
him
him.
up
left
bad.
and
Notorious
right.
They made
speed
him one of
demon
his worst
Zangief.
He put the
iterations
pressure
I've
back
ever
on
seen in a
Phil.
fighting game for Zangief. He doesn't
So
have the
good.
tools needed. Everyone else gets the drop on him. You can barely do his command throws. It's shit. It really is shitty. I don't know what they were thinking. They had no idea what the
Okay,
fuck
I'm
they
going
were
to
doing
count
when
that
they
as a
made him
new
in this
clone
one.
now because he
The
was
thing
saying
is,
that
I
he was
like
too
Zangief,
fast
but
last
man,
night.
it's a
so.
chore to play with him. It's really not that
He
fun.
didn't bring it up right
when
now, so I don't know
90%
if
of
this
the
is a
cast
different clone
mashes
saying this.
buttons and beats everything you do, and then they neutral jump and beat all your other moves. So it's like, wow. With Honda, it was the opposite. Essentially, people did not know how a good Honda could be played. So they were getting caught in these frame traps, and I was, anti-airing constantly. There was people who had no clue you couldn't jump on Honda, and I just get chop, chop, chop.
Did I watch a different
that
stream?
JP jumped on me like 7 times in
That
a row. I was like,
JP
okay, I'll keep chopping.
That
and then I
JP
was
won. I'm like, wow, what an
garbage.
idiot. I still remember the match. It was so
He
He's
didn't know
good.
how to
poopy
play
scrub
JP.
hunting. I think he's good.
Dude was barely doing anything.
So
Dude,
anyway,
the ego's up today. Stock's up.
I did really well that first session, and I was blown away. I did not expect
could
to
see
do
that
that
on
well. And people who actually weren't even there were like, "Wow, you did well.
And they got banned
we
for
want to
saying
see now." So I decided, because I did so well with Honda on the daytime stream, that I would just use him for Friday night fights, the late stream. So I did. So I had started at 2-star
Made me
diamond,
get drunk.
and we just continued right where I left
complaining
off.
while winning.
Even though the matches
Wild.
were
That
getting more
should've never
challenging.
hit
In fact,
me.
I was playing
I should
people I
only
played
perfect
earlier in the
people.
day who beat me, and I was fighting them in the evening and beating them.
What happened with the Cammy thing?
Outright, resounding defeat. Okay, I was just getting better and better with Honda over
Gin
the course of the
Really?
day.
You talking about Cammy?
So I kept playing for 2 more hours. By the end of the night, listen to this: second session, 32 wins, only 16 losses, 67%
why were you complaining
win-loss
so much?
ratio. That is outstanding. So I went
You got a
from
2-3
Diamond
win
2-star
percentage.
to
You're-
Diamond
you're crying.
3-star.
He
and
was
even
crying like
kept
he was going
winning
4 and
past
50.
that, and would have kept winning if I kept playing. So in one day, just think of it this way.
There was like 2,
Yes.
3
In
good
one
players
day,
who
after
played
not
last
having
night, and that was
touched
about
a
it.
character in 2.5 months, I went from 1-star to 3-star diamond.
Wow.
I had
Holy shit.
over 60
And wait till the people at
match
Burger
wins
King hear about this.
and only around 30 to 35 losses. So big win-loss ratio.
This is going to be
I
brought
learned
up during
a ton
his
about this
weekly phone
character.
call with his mom.
In one day,
Hey,
in
Mom, I
4
made it to
hours of
3-star
gameplay,
diamond.
I made more progress than LTG has.
Oh,
made
God,
Street Fighter
LTG
6
again?
since he came out stuck at shitty 2-star
He
diamond.
keeps smelling the syrup.
This JP.
Really?
4 hours. Anyway, yeah. So
Dude,
I
he
was
had to
blown
take the
away,
shot.
man.
He was
I was
really
like,
trying for
wow.
This is
I would never.
this is an actual
expect
tier sexual thing.
that I was going to do that well with Honda, and it was the complete opposite. It's like Honda's my style in this game. Honda is absolutely my style. Get some frame traps in there, get some mix-ups.
Anytime
high
I
damage
lose is
potential
fake.
if you can punish if they make a mistake. But the one downfall of Honda, I will say this.
I guess he
All
can
right?
bully
Seriously,
LTG all
the
day
one
because
downfall
they're
of
essentially the
Honda
same
is
person. So he gets out his own frustrations
He does
about
have
himself.
weaknesses. His reversal,
I'm so sick of this
which is
LTG
his
dude with his
overdrive
shitty
headbutt,
goatee
can be
and his
thrown.
crappy
That is a
Mega
huge
Man
problem,
art.
because that means people who are rushing you down, they can mix up
Oh,
their
that's my
strikes
streak.
into
Well, this
throw,
guy's pretty cool then.
and you have no answer. Like, he really doesn't have answers for people with good throw mix-up at all. So you get in the corner, again, it's another character, you get
this
caught
fucking
in the
talk is
corner,
just fucking
and he
garbage.
really has no answer to get out of the corner. Someone could just stand there with strikes
have
and then throw
a
mix-up,
level 1
and you
super.
really can't get out. His
big push
one
gets
reversal
you the
is
fuck
OD
out of the
headbutt
corner.
and you
You
get
have to
thrown.
burn
The
the
other one
bar.
is the
It doesn't
OD
even matter.
butt
Once he
stop.
gets out of the
That's
corner, he
only
gets
good
put
on
right back
jumps.
in there.
So if they're not jumping, it never hits. So he's
Oh yeah,
Exactly,
now
yeah.
he
It's
owns
his
his
strategy.
power.
It's like Monopoly.
So again, it's a guessing game, and I had a lot of issues against characters like Jury and Cammy, who their strikes are ridiculously good. He just can't really hang at that level. What you have to do is stay out of range where they're not able to get you into their rush downs and try to zone them out, or try to hit them with your own frame traps and mix-ups so they never get going, and then you can win. But man, that seems to me like it's going to be really
All he says, didn't he threaten
challenging.
bans if anyone
All
brought
right?
up Dale? Dude, that was a million clones ago.
So,
and also,
anyway,
he
I
can't
did
ban
really
himself.
good. And I'll be honest with you, I did so good. I'm kind of motivated. I want to play with him even more. Like why not?
Fucking
Why
other
stop
dude
now?
gets
Just keep
banned.
going. Right? I'm on my way to climb up with.
Dude, he's really going for it. He's really trying for it today.
Dude's in love with himself. I guess that should be
And maybe
admirable,
he's
but
the
it's really
next
sad
character
here.
to be master rank for me because I'm doing so darn well. And quite frankly, it doesn't seem like the people who are playing online really know how to face Honda that well.
Like, it's
You
fine
know,
to talk a
Zenith,
good game.
I think they
But like, hey,
absolutely
I
know
play
how to
well,
face Zenith.
yeah. But
Everyone's
this
figured
is
him out.
just like
But Honda,
it
2.5
doesn't
months
help
ago,
them
people are just getting slapped
at all.
around.
Because
right?
the
So,
next time
Exactly.
that was
And
like
people are going to bring
night
this up, and
day
they're going to say, I thought you said
different
people
from
don't know
what
how to
happened
deal with
Zenith
Honda.
last time, and I was really motivated. You know, after having hit
slight
master with
motivation does
Blanca the
vote
other
it.
day, now having an outstanding day playing Honda and racking up so many wins,
Dude,
with a
he's
great
feeling
win-loss
himself.
ratio. I was stoked. I was really excited. So, overall, I have played 3,176 matches of Street Fighter 6. I have won 1,843 and lost 1,333, a 58% win rate. I've been at 58%.
That's
for the
failing,
longest
then.
time. This is what happens when you play.
That's
so
failing.
much,
That's
Yeah.
an
thousands
F
of
or
matches, you're just
a
stuck
D.
at that percent. Even if you go on a crazy tear, you'll still barely move.
Oh,
the
well, what do
needle.
you expect?
So,
Me to be
we're
A
kinda there
plus,
forever.
have
At
90%
this
win
point,
rates?
I would
Justin
really
Wong has
have to,
90% win rates.
lose so much to even have it get worse.
I'm
But that's good. I'm glad that
I'm
I
not a
have overall,
professional Street Fighter
positive
player,
percent in this
okay?
game.
I'm a variety Street Fighter.
I'm bad at a variety of games.
So,
Do you want money,
good
DSP?
stuff. Really
Should we
great
give you
day
money for how
yesterday.
good you are?
Now, to tie into this subject,
Mhm.
let's
He
do a
wants ass
follow-up
pads.
on the
That's
topic
what
He
he
needs
we
this to
talked
be
about
front.
yesterday.
He's like, oh,
If
tell
you
me.
watched
You need to go
today,
talk to,
yesterday's
what
show,
was
you
it,
know what I'm talking about.
Event Hubs.
So,
Have Event Hubs write an article
here's
about
the deal.
DSP.
All right. We were
You
talking
guys
about
remember
Mortal
the guy?
Kombat 1.
Well, he's actually
Mortal
really good at
Kombat
Street Fighter.
1's
He's got a
beta
58 win rate.
launches on August 18th, and it's the 18th.
Oh, man, I would love to
19th,
see that. I
21st,
would love to see the
4-day
comments
beta.
on
Now, I'm
that.
not saying I would play it all 4 days, but obviously I would like to play a couple of those days and make content of the game. The problem
We're
with this
talking
beta is that
MK1.
it's not
We're gonna
cross-platform
talk
like the Street
about
Fighter 6 beta
give
was.
me controls,
It's only platform
new
specific,
joysticks, new
and
buttons.
It's already been announced. Although
on
that one
PlayStation.
will be cross-platform eventually.
And then
that
buy
is
me
something
Street
that
Fighter
they're
6
going
again.
to have later. At launch, you will
Yeah,
be
it's
stuck
a really dumb
only
ploy.
playing against the people who are on the platform.
Again, you could
who bought
just get a
the game
converter,
for it.
dude.
Now, I don't know if you
It's
guys are
half
aware
the
of this.
price, and it works just
Currently,
fine.
with the 2 console
If
platforms,
DSP complains
that are
about lag
available
during
to
Mortal
play fighting
Kombat, it's
games
going to
on,
be really annoying because
PS5,
he just said he
no
can't
exaggeration,
have
is about
converters because
80%
of all
of
the
the game
lag.
sales. Xbox is only around 15
Yeah,
to 20%.
and there's like zero
No,
lag.
Fighting
I've-
games, If you want
My
to
Brooks
get a good
converter that I
player
use for
base, you
PlayStation
gotta
4 to
get a game on
PlayStation 3 has
PS5 right
never
now,
given me
unless
problems
it's
ever.
cross-platform. I looked out with Street Fighter 6.
All
It's
right,
cross-platform.
I'm sure it's fine.
So it didn't matter.
And
that
also,
I got it on
DSP should
Xbox.
love
I
that
could
because
play
it gives him a
against
reason to
everyone,
complain about shit.
and it didn't matter. He would always get matches.
He can
But
blame
if I
every
get
single loss on his
MK1
converter.
on Xbox, chances are, for the beta
It's
and
like, it
probably the
drops
first couple months of this game
inputs.
being
That's
out,
why I got
I'm
perfected
barely
2
gonna have anyone
times
to
in a
play
row.
against. There may be days, let's play it online.
Yeah.
There's only the same 3 people over and over because that's the only people playing it on Xbox in my region. That's going to be a giant problem, all right? And so, we discussed this yesterday, and people are like, well, just get it on PlayStation now. Like, well, I could,
talked
but the
to
problem
people
is,
yesterday about this.
I don't have a good controller for PlayStation. Allow me to show you what I mean, because I didn't show you yesterday.
Oh,
but now
he's gonna
I'll
bring
show
out
you.
the
Awesome.
old
Get some prop
9-year
comedy.
gumbag fucking joystick, and you get the gray jammy shorts
So,
that he wears in the summer with his little gun.
this
Those are professional workwear.
There it is.
is
It's
my
old.
joystick that I have for PlayStation. It's
It's been beat
PS4,
up?
PS5, although it was designed for PS4. It's the Hori Real Arcade Pro 4 joystick.
Looks pretty cool.
Okay? I bought this joystick right before the beta for Street Fighter 5 came.
Okay.
I bought it at
Then
Fry's.
that's a
which is
great
game,
purchase.
electronic store that
It
doesn't
still
exist
works.
anymore. They went out of business. Okay? So, just to show you, all right, this joystick is worn. You can even see there's corrosion all
From
over
your
the bottom
greasy
sides
sweat?
of the joystick from me using it over the years. This joystick
That's
I
Yeah,
used
exactly.
sliding it on his
for
lap.
Street Fighter 5.
Also,
I used it
why
for
can't he
Mortal
just get a new
Kombat,
board? He could have just gotten a new
10
Brooks
and 11.
board
I
and
used
plug it
for
in there.
Injustice 2. I
And
used it
again,
for
it's half the
7.
price.
I used it for all the retro fighting games that I played.
There's
including
multiple
the
ways you can
Capcom
save money.
Yeah.
30th
or
Anniversary
cut
Collection
corners,
and
or just
Capcom
use
That way he
Fighting
could make it so that
Collection.
he could have a control stick that he could
Alright.
use for
So
PlayStation 3,
it's
Xbox, and
worn
PS4
out.
all
It's
at once.
beat up.
He could save so much money if he
buttons,
wasn't so goddamn stupid
They're
all
all
the time.
right, but they're definitely worn.
We're
Like,
bringing
I've
this up
been
every
using
once in a while.
I use this
DSP's
joystick
so
much
lazy, he makes more
that I
work for
tell you right
himself
now,
because
those
he isn't
buttons are
even
kinda
lazy
shot,
correctly.
And the joystick too, from playing it. Now, is it broken? No. I could use it right now. I can play games on it. All right,
Then fucking
but
use it. Shut the
it's
fuck
really
up.
worn out. And
Why?
in general, when
How's
you're
it worn
such a
out?
Weird
competitive
fucking
Just get new
player,
parts.
joysticks you want to swap out every couple of years, or you want to completely overhaul the joystick. Like you want
Yeah,
to
do that.
open it up, you want
Do
to
it.
change all the components out. You want to do all
Exactly.
that. And
That's what professionals do. They don't go out and buy a new
I
control
haven't
stick
done
each
that
time.
because it's so old, right? And I haven't played fighting
that's
games
a
on. Oh, by
impressive
the way, the door, like this was
Yeah.
a door
Guy
here.
is
This
back.
loser.
I forget
You
which
put your
dumb
wire
fuck that
inside the
dude
door,
is.
just
Your
comes
Best
right off. It's
Buys
supposed
are
to stay
always
on-
at Fry's.
pops
Thanks,
right off by
Broseph.
accident,
Wouldn't know what
Like I
we'd do
said,
without
it's
your
worn out.
insights.
So
Thanks for telling us about it.
it's not that the
closed
joystick's
company.
broken.
Good job.
If I absolutely wanted to play fighting games on PlayStation, I could use this joystick. But it's
Take your
definitely
new
worn
one
out.
that you just
And
got
being
that
now,
opens up and it's look
let's
all
be
cool.
honest, I am playing
Put a
games
new
at
board in
higher
there,
level. It's
and
not
you can
like
play
me
every
casually
console that
playing and
exists.
dicking around.
Wow.
I actually got pretty good at Street Fighter 6, right? Let's be
Right,
honest.
I'm gonna look it up
And
here off on the
people are
side
enjoying
here.
seeing me play
The
at a higher
Brooks board that can
competitive
be
level.
used
You
for
wanna
any
see me do
console.
well.
Let
You
me
don't
see
want to
real
see me
quick.
just jobbing out and messing around.
And I know
quitting the
DSP's
game
actual
after a couple
excuse is
of
that
weeks.
he would not be able to
You like
wire it
seeing
because
me
he's
invest
intensely
time in
stupid,
moving
which is
characters
true.
and all
But
of
they
that,
have
right?
guides on YouTube on how to
So
wire it.
basically, the way I see it is,
I don't know
I'm going
quite how to tell you guys this, but
tackle fighting
Cat
games in
ate
the
the
future in a
board.
more serious manner. I need to have
I
better
swear, you
equipment,
take your eyes
alright?
off of her for a
So,
second.
If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm just storing the cord inside
where's
here. Let me
the-
see.
Where's the
If
boards?
you can get this.
It's so weird. You could just put it on the
Yeah.
fucking ground next to you. And,
Not that broken.
and continue your stream.
Yep, you
Did I
broke it.
break
Oh,
it?
I definitely need a new one now.
I
See, I
hope
just
not.
broke it.
Hope I didn't just break my joystick door.
Ooh, holy shit.
That would
I
suck.
think Phil's hair is going to erode. You see the top
No,
little
there we go.
pinnacle
Okay.
point of
So there, I
his
stored
hair?
the cord
Yeah,
inside.
they're having a little schism there.
It's going to cut off and be
Here's
like
the thing.
a tough
Can
of
this
hair
this
island.
joystick
You
be
can see
upgraded?
like
Yes,
it's
but it's
going
not
away
meant
at
to
like
be.
You
this
guys don't know what
spot.
it's like. I've
Inside,
got
there's probably
industrial
several
runoff on
things
my
that
head.
make
It creates a
not
lot of
easy to
erosion.
upgrade. It probably has maybe even soldering on the inside of certain
The head
components.
and shoulder
While
shampoo isn't
this
working.
joystick,
My hair's falling
Look
down.
at stupid ass hair. Whose fault is this?
the current joystick I use for my Xbox is meant to be a fully
Okay, so I'm looking
moddable
at the
joystick.
Universal
It's meant
Fight
to
Board.
be you
How
open
much
it
is this?
easily. It's got a button where this thing is
Then
on a
they
hinge.
mod it,
And you open
bro.
the stick, and now you
Yes.
can easily go inside. That's what I did. I just upgraded my buttons to be Sanwa buttons instead of the stock buttons. This one is meant for upgrades. That's designed
Then
that
do
way,
that.
Okay?
Then
That
do
joystick
that.
is not. That joystick would probably be a chore to open it up, change the components, and do everything. Well,
It's
this
just-
one's
it's
easy
fucking
peasy.
Okay, so I found
Screwdriver,
the
bro.
Brooks Universal Fighting Board. It costs less than $100 if you look for
Looking
it
at the
cheaply.
situation,
That's
we've got about 2 weeks until
Yeah.
the Mortal
Less
Kombat
than 100
beta.
bucks.
you could get
All
that. You get a couple cables. That's
And I gotta
maybe
decide
$100
what
more if you want to get the
format to
higher end
buy the
cables.
thing on.
Fine.
And,
So for $200,
I'm
you could
thinking,
make
hey,
it so
I
that your
could get it
controller
on
could be used
Xbox.
for every
Probably
single
there won't
console.
be a lot of people to play the
Can't
beta
do it.
against. All right, because it's going to be such a small
$100
player base.
less
than
When the
what
game
he got
comes out,
before.
yeah, I'm going to be severely limiting who I'm playing for weeks and weeks.
And this
if
is
not months.
another
And
problem
here's the
DSP
thing, too, I'll
has
be
is that
honest.
because he
I
has
don't know
no
if I'm gonna
friends,
like Mortal Kombat
even
1
if he wasn't skilled in
as
doing this,
much
he has no
as,
friend
say,
who
Street
is.
Fighter 6. You know, Mortal Kombat is not my forte.
I can't go over to
Mortal
my
Kombat
friend
is
John's
that
house
I've
and have him
played
build
insane
this.
Howard-
amounts over the years. I've played it in
You can't
arcades.
go to talk to Howard.
I played the
Dave wants a
Mortal Kombat
sponsor. What are
9,
you
10,
talking about,
11.
Diego?
I liked them all.
This dude can't
But
have
these are not
sponsors.
games that I
He's
grew
toxic.
up playing as much as
maddening-
Street Fighter or loved
The
as
maddening
much
thing
or
for me
ever
though
really entered
is that
tournaments.
all of this talk
I'm not saying
is
I'm gonna
all
do that
for
either, 'cause
the
I'm not even
beta.
have
Oh,
Street Fighter
goddamn,
6.
you're right.
But you
The
know,
beta
if I'm going to take
of
it
Mortal
seriously
Kombat.
and
Not
try to at least
any
give
other
it a
fighting
shot
game, not Street Fighter
competitively,
6 over there on
then I
PS5,
should be
nothing like
playing it
that.
on
It's for the
PlayStation. It's just a
beta
no-brainer.
on
There's
PlayStation.
no one who's going to be playing this
That's
on Xbox.
Now that
who's
seems
serious
like a
about
big
the
assumption
game.
right there.
Xbox players will be fuck-around players. We're just here to
Also,
mess
didn't
around.
he
We
say
don't
that
really care about
it was
competition
perfectly
because
fine,
we
the
did.
fighting game
We get it
community on Xbox
PlayStation.
one time?
You understand? So, if
Because he was saying that why he got that's
Yeah,
why
I'm
he
gonna
was
get it on
rationalizing
PlayStation.
getting Street
I ain't
Fighter
saying
5 or Street Fighter
this
6.
joystick, nearly a decade old,
You're
is beat up,
so
busted
we can
up, and
have
probably
like
needs to be
a
retired.
better
Mhm.
time
Alright?
playing other players.
Probably not going to be making
They
sense to try
picked
to
the
play
one
it
with
on
the
this
lesser
stick.
population.
Exactly.
So
And
they'd
so
like
we
to
have
kill
two
it.
options for new sticks on PS5. I talked about them yesterday. Okay.
Phil requires the
Let me go get
$300
this back.
joystick to be good at Mortal Kombat. Yes, essentially, jab, jab, super, it beats everything. He gets it.
So,
It's a better way to input, right?
one option,
New.
all right. One option is
Repairing that stick
This
should be simple for
joystick,
someone
this
who used to
exact
build custom
joystick.
PCs. Yeah, exactly. It's way easier.
but for PlayStation.
Something that's kind of not
it's the
really a
same
brag,
exact
but it's
one,
something
the
that I
fighting
use when
Alpha.
watching DSP.
It's
$200.
the same one.
But I would have to upgrade the buttons. Like I said, the stock buttons I didn't really like as much. I used them for 2
No, you don't
months
have to
for Street
upgrade the
Fighter
buttons.
6.
Take the
I
buttons
went
out of the other one,
on
put it in there.
buttons. So I went on
But I'm
Amazon
also
and I
really
bought
not
the
good with
Sanwa buttons, and
technology.
these are really
I'm also
good.
really
So
bad with
I would
stuff.
definitely want to do that
But
again
if I can
with that
figure out how to
stick.
make
was
it
about
work,
20
there's
bucks
really
to
no
buy the
excuse
set
why
of
DSP
buttons.
can't.
So that joystick is $200
Right? If I
bucks,
figure
and
out
buy
how to
Sanwa
build a
buttons.
computer, I think Phil
The
can.
bummer
My-
is with the
my-
joystick,
I'm
I
terrible
probably
at
wanna get a Sanwa
stream
stick as
layout
well. Now,
design,
someone
and I
would
still managed
contact
to
me
do it.
and
DSP
said,
can't do it. It's too hard.
beware. Listen to this. A lot of the sellers on Amazon selling Sanwa joysticks are selling knockoffs. That they have a friend who
Yeah,
did
so
buy
that's why you go
no
to
shit.
actual
off of
places.
Amazon, and
Can't do it.
a lot of the joysticks
They don't
on
have
there
overnight
are
delivery.
Yeah.
baloney joysticks. They're junk, and it sucks because Amazon doesn't know
They-
the difference.
they don't
So they
care.
sell
No,
it to
Amazon
official
likes money.
channels, and they have no idea that they're selling junk components. They're not really
You,
good.
you've got to check
Um,
into that.
That if
Caveat
I wanted to get a
emptor.
Sanwa
You know,
joystick,
people
I
don't
probably
buy
should
their
not buy it
computers
off
off of
Amazon. Instead, I
Amazon.
should try to find it from a reseller. That means it's going to be more expensive. There's going to be shipping costs. You see?
Damn, man.
Holy fuck.
So it's not that I couldn't get that joystick and upgrade it, but it would be a little more expensive. You're talking $200.
No,
plus
because if you get the
20
board,
bucks
you
for
can
the
take
button,
all the best
plus
parts
having
from
to go to a
every single
third-party
control
site
stick
to
and put it
buy
together.
a Sanwa joystick, which is probably going to be around $30 plus shipping.
Ah,
So you're talking probably
solution's so
all
easy.
ends,
I'm so
you know,
frustrated.
probably between $250 to $300. All right. The other
Cultivate
option
extension tell you which country
is
it is. for
not
you. Oh,
This
that's
really
cool.
a
part of
Hori
the
joystick
5K
at all,
business
but a
expenses
Kanba
like chat
joystick.
saying?
All right. And this
Yeah,
joystick
everyone
is
in
called-
chat's
hold on.
talking shit. You better ban everybody.
The
Time for the
Kanba
big
Q7
apocalypse.
Obsidian 2. All right? That joystick is big.
It's a
so this
robust
one
joystick.
is that-
It
that
requires two
joystick
people to
is,
use
like,
it.
even longer, and it weighs 7 pounds. I would say this joystick weighs about 3 pounds. Okay,
Good.
it's very
DSP
lightweight.
can't handle weight.
That one is a 7-pound joystick. It's meant to be a giant,
Crazy.
sturdy
Yeah, you should use that
ass
DSP. That way, when you
joystick.
flip out, you can throw it.
Okay, it's got all Sanwa parts on by default, and it's the highest tournament grade to parts, the ones that all the pro
So you wanna
players
be
say
like
the
these
absolute
shills.
best. Those are
Okay.
the ones you want in your stick.
Cool.
That's what's in that joystick. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
Fuck.
No.
Can't
Of
even
course,
make his own
what's the
decisions
catch?
when it
The
comes
catch
like
is the
this.
cost. It
The
costs
cast.
$320 on Amazon.
I'm
It's a
telling you,
big
man.
investment.
It's right
It's a
here.
big investment.
$100 bucks. Get the new board.
$20, right? So that's why I'm a little skeptical. That's a big investment.
You can even
$320
use it on
for a joystick.
GameCube,
I mean, the good news
DSP.
is, from now on, moving forward, I would play fighting games on PS5.
Yeah, that makes
because
kick
I'm
ass in
considering
custom robo.
rebuying Street Fighter 6 on PS5 and kind of starting over. And I know that would suck because I just hit
Wouldn't suck
Master
for
with
me.
Blanca, and I'm climbing the ranks with my Honda.
Yeah,
but I'll be honest
it's
with
more
you,
entertainment for me.
I do feel like if I started over.
Okay,
Street
if
Fighter 6, it would be
spamming
that
jab
big
is
of a deal.
bad, what about
Because here's
spamming
why.
beg?
You saw how quickly I'm
Can I-
raising in ranks now with new characters.
Yeah, that's because
Probably
we're getting a
that's
lot
a
of spam
placement
beg
matches,
here.
I'll end up in
That's-
higher platinum or diamond.
Yeah,
And then
it's
after
not
playing a little
begging,
more,
that's business.
couple sessions,
You guys
I'm
just don't
probably
want to
gonna
see
be
me
near master
succeed.
anyway.
Yes,
Like, look at Honda,
guilty.
right? So I'm really not
Dude,
too worried
they're
about
telling
it. I mean,
him
yes,
that this is fucking
two
dumb. His chat is all up in
of time, but it's not like that experience is lost.
Absolute
It's
says
not.
there's
It's not
no
lost
benefit
at all,
to starting
right?
over.
So I'm thinking
People don't care.
having the ideal
Is
state,
Xbox
best
dead?
controls,
Where's
having
World Tour
the console where I'm
streams?
going to have the biggest
Hint,
player
hint.
base for fighting games moving forward.
Save
both
the joystick.
Mortal Kombat and Tekken and other future fighting games. All of this
Dude,
makes
somebody
sense.
just called
The
them out.
only thing holding me back
This
is
is
the
like
money
me
you
buying
guys.
$200
Because it's
shoes,
$320
ruining
for
the
joystick,
laces, and instead of spending
and
20
I would now
bucks
have
on
to
new
get
laces,
Yeah, this dude
I
needs to
just
get
go buy
banned.
the
online
$200
membership,
shoes.
which I haven't
Yellow
had in
text.
years. I haven't had
Or
one in, like,
green
what,
text,
2
get 'em
years. I'm
banned.
doing everything on Xbox because I have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. But now I would
Oh,
basically have to.
he's like, no, no, it's not.
I would basically have to get that as well, which is what, $20 a month or something like that. So there is cost involved here. All right, it is what it is. But I'm trying to weigh in balance. Is like, if there was no
Xbox for
cost
the
involved,
stick.
this is a no-brainer. I would do it right now. Seriously, if
we
cost
all
was not a
pitch in
factor,
$5 a day, we
of
can
course
make
I
this
want
happen.
Hit the
I think we
controller
can.
the
goal.
platform with the most competition and the platform everyone's playing it
Dude,
on.
this whole chat
and I
is
could
in a
have the
roast
ideal
against
You know what he
joystick.
could do? It's
Like,
worth a
that
try.
joystick
He
is
should
the one
email
everyone
Scopely and
wants.
say,
Everyone
hey,
says,
I'm
"This is the one
actually
I
a
want to play
huge
games
pay
at
pig
home."
for your game. Can you
So,
guys send me a control
but
stick
the
so I can
problem
do a
is the
control
investment,
stick
the
stream
cost
with your
investment.
game?
You know,
I mean, it
it's a
wouldn't
lot of
work, but it'd be
money.
really funny.
$320.
Yeah.
Plus, I got to play for PS
They might do it.
Online.
They're like, well, this
You
dude
know,
has spent like
rebuying
For the
Street Fighter
company
100 grand
ask,
to
You
us.
know what I mean?
Like, hey, I have X amount of viewers. You could go talk to the company and see if they'll just give them
Choke
one.
says, can you
Yeah,
disable
you should talk
spamming
to
of friend
Sanwa and say, hey, man,
requests
I'm master with Blanca.
on Street Fighter 6 PS5 LTG can't. Yes? It's because it's done through Capcom ID. It's not done through Xbox. It's done through Capcom ID.
So you wouldn't lose your rank?
That's how I did it. I went into my Capcom ID account, and
Oh.
there you can disable everything, and then that's it. You don't get spammed requests anymore. I mean, on
Oh, okay.
PlayStation, I never get spam requests regardless. You could turn that off. You could do through game, or you could do it through your PlayStation.
So there you go. There's no chance
I don't
I'll ever
get
be
that anyway.
antagonized.
But if
Right.
you're saying that LTG keeps getting spammed messages, that's probably because
Until
it's
he
through
opens
Capcom
a lobby
ID.
up and
Now,
you
I
get
found that on day
WWE
one. Remember how
champions.
bad it was?
I hope they
first
start
day,
doing
and then I
rank
went to my
refreshes.
Capcom
That'd be
ID,
really
and I
funny.
turned it all off, and then it just stopped. I haven't had a problem since.
Excellent.
I think
Yeah.
they're going to, actually.
That's going to be some good ass
I
salt.
I mean, I'm sure it would be
I think
annoying
it's
at first,
probably
but we'll
end
figure
of
it out.
season.
We figured it out on Xbox.
Would be
It's
my
gonna
guess.
work
They
on-
do
it's
it
gonna
for-
definitely work
I
on
mean,
PlayStation
They
2.
do it for,
It-
what's
it'd
it
be
called?
gold.
Dead by Daylight.
So-
They should be able to do it for
Anyway,
Street Fighter 6.
So
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah,
they should just
again, if
reset
cost
rank.
wasn't the
It's fine.
factor, I do it immediately. It wouldn't make it just makes sense to have the best state, especially when you're trying to.
No one in chat has brought up the
put
board
out
thing,
good
or at least he
high-level,
hasn't addressed anyone bringing up the
competitive
board
content,
thing. I want to
which
hear
wasn't
it.
my concern before.
Because
Let's be
it's not
honest.
hard at all to
Until Street
install
Fighter
those
6,
things at all.
putting
Again, I
out
was able to do
high-level
it.
competitive fighting game content
Yeah.
was not my concern. But now it is.
Exactly,
They're
because
mostly
they
now
don't
I can
want
play
people to
kind
have
of
Now
trouble
I'm actually
putting it
playing
in.
at high levels in Street Fighter 6, so I want to be putting out
Because
the
they
best
want you to
content
talk
I can.
about their
And I think
great
this is the
fucking
way to do it. It
device.
just costs money, right? So
It costs money that
if
I don't
any
have.
of you are interested,
Oh, there we go. There's the
let me
there's
know.
the
You want to help
there's
out.
the kicker there.
With
We had this
getting
big old
joystick
discussion, and it
or,
was
the
for
cost of
us.
rebuying
It is.
Street Fighter 6 or any of
Peggy.
that stuff.
I was
I'm
doing
for
all this
years,
discussion
I'd
to
be
help
open
you with
to
your
Anyone
finances.
who wants to help out and chip in, I have 2 weeks to decide. Well, a little bit under 2 weeks to decide.
Oh my
if I want to
fuck.
do this or not. If I don't do it, then I'm just doing everything on Xbox, which just sadly means I know for a fact
Okay.
we'll have
What does
way
that
less
mean?
players on MK1. It's probably
Okay.
going to be a far inferior experience.
So
We're
drop
not
it
gonna
then.
have
After it
variety of
sucks, you can
players,
drop
we'll
it
be
and
seeing
play
people over
whatever
and
game
over.
came out
It's
after
not
that.
going to be as good of a
Don't even play it.
situation until they.
I sure
drop
hope
it.
he goes through
They
all
are
this
not even
trouble
promising
and
when they're gonna
Mortal
do it,
Kombat
you
sucks.
know? So, and here's the thing. So everyone throwing questions at me. Can you get an adapter for your joystick?
Yes.
Yes, and it will just make things worse.
No.
Adapters for joysticks
It
to
won't.
have them go cross-platform.
By the way,
all add
who was that
input lag.
dude who won
All right, Mr.
Evo with the
my
PlayStation
joystick
1
now
controller?
works on PlayStation, but now everything I do is even more delayed. So what was
Right.
the point? Right? You just hindered yourself even further by doing that. So you don't ever want to do that. That's the worst thing.
Wow.
That's only for casual.
Only for casuals.
Only for
I
casual.
casually won tournaments with my
That's
PlayStation
not
1
if you're trying
controller.
to play seriously. You would never want to use an adapter like that. There's
He's trying
only
to
one
melt my
adapter they're
fucking
even
brain.
allowing at Evo, and even that one adds a certain amount of milliseconds, and you're nerfing.
But
you're
then
basically
DSP, if you do
nerfing
that that and you get
selfish
Master
have
of Blanca,
adapted
then you
amiibo,
really kick
so no one's
ass.
using it. You see, so That's
It's
why.
like
Not
Piccolo
everybody.
wearing all those
Adapters
weights on
on
his
everyone
body.
Just use their own joystick on whatever console, but it's not common because there's too much added
He needs to be
input
gifted
lag,
every
you
single
understand?
console, PCs,
that's why.
multiple arcade stick. Yeah, and you need to do it now.
Okay. So that's the situation.
He's
Yeah.
got some
Reach
good
out
bug
to me.
eyes
Let me know what
today.
you think. You can email
Can
me.
I email you,
tweet
DSP? I
me,
can't tweet you. You have me
tell me in
blocked.
chat.
Me.
You know, you do a million things.
All right,
Reach out to
Kevin.
me and let me
Kevin,
know what the deal
over
is.
there on
But if
Twitter,
anyone's
you know,
interested in
Mr.
helping out
DSP Dick
with
Sucker.
this cost, I'd
like,
appreciate it.
just-
I'll
X
be
him.
honest. I want to do it. Right
Post
now is
him
the
up,
first
DM
Kevin,
time
can you help me out here? I
in
can't
over
get
a
into
decade
contact with
that I
Phil.
feel motivated to cover
Your
fighting
adapter
games
just changes
in
the
a good
plugin
way
so
for
it
you. It's
fits
been a
nothing
long
more.
time since I've
No
had this
different than
motivation and this
any other
feeling
plugin.
Can you-
of wanting to play fighting games better.
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
making
really,
so much
I
of an
mean,
issue of this.
the fire has been lit under me again
See,
for the
you're
first
hoarding the
time in over
artifacts.
10 years. That's a good thing. At
So
the same
stoke
time,
the flames by buying me
yeah,
a
it's a big
fucking
investment
new
for
controller
He's
for a
doing
video
this.
game.
and I want to make sure that
Exactly.
Dude, he is
you
shaking
guys
so
care.
much.
Ramen.
It seems like people care. People are coming
He's
out
shaking
and
so
watching
fucking
the
much.
fight
He
games being
really
He's
played.
wants
jonesing
this to
for it.
happen.
So obviously you guys must
This is
care,
what
but I
happens
wanna
with
be sure.
addicts, though.
I
As
don't
soon
wanna
as they
say,
find
maybe
something that
maybe I'm too
is
much into this.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm
equal
seeing
to the
tunnel vision,
current
and I'm
addiction
so
they
hyped
have,
for
which for
fighting games
DSP
right
it's just
now
buying.
that I'm not understanding that people don't really care. I don't know.
Meerkat said it
Let me know.
yesterday.
I really want to hear
that,
your
that
thoughts
he
on
sounds
it,
Every
like a
time,
kid
yes.
I
begging
do
for a
have to
new toy.
decide
Like
in the
trying
next
to
few days.
convince mommy and daddy
This
that this is
joystick, I
the
looked
best
into it,
thing
I could
ever.
order that joystick.
It
It'll
is,
show up within
it's not
like 4
an
days.
unusual feeling when this
the
happens.
elevator.
Like I had happened when I got my first arcade stick. I was like, oh, I want to get some buttons. Oh, I want to get a stick. Oh, I want to do this and
I
this.
would have to
But I never
get the
moved
PS
those
Plus
costs to everyone
membership
else.
Oh, that
and pre-order
happened.
the game and all
Yeah.
of that, get it installed.
That
You know,
happened to
what we
me
would
when
do
I was
if
building
we
my
do
PC.
make
I was
this,
like, oh, I could get this and that and this. And I
decision.
talked to Prophet.
What
He's
I'd like
eh,
to do,
get this,
hopefully,
that,
is
and
do it a
that.
little bit
And I was like,
earlier.
oh, okay.
Because I would
That's
like
way
to
better.
get Street Fighter 6 on PlayStation.
Just make
It's like,
and maybe do a couple sessions.
I didn't
on
ask
there.
for.
Oh,
money
there you
from
go. There's the
Prophet.
key.
That's how it works. Before the MK1 beta's out,
Crazy.
play Street Fighter
Yeah,
6 on
that's a
the
good point,
PlayStation.
Bovine. This is
right?
worse than a
With
hot
qualifying
tub
sets or
streamer.
whatever.
Because at least
Um,
hot tub streamer, you
jump
see
into
some
ranked again
cleavage and
with
shit.
Blanco
Here
or
we're just
Honda,
seeing
you
a
know, try to
desperate
get
old
them
man
up,
begging
on
for a
PlayStation
controller.
versus
How is this
Xbox
better?
and get used to the new
This is
joystick
quality
as well,
content.
right? So
This is level 1
there you go.
content, okay?
Let me know what you think. That segment's done now. We're done
I'm
with
done.
that
I'm
segment.
We're
done
done
talking
begging
about
for
you
the
guys giving me
controller.
shit.
Now,
Back to the
we got a
controller.
follow-up to yesterday's discussion about the mini PC that was gifted to me. Let me get
Oh
it. to show
my
you guys
god,
again.
the begging to I got the
So
mini
the previous
PC.
beg was successful. Let's check it out.
Yeah, here's my
If
early
you didn't
bag.
see it, we did a
and it
live
worked.
unboxing yesterday of this little guy, the Trig Key S5 Speed High Performance S Series Mini PC.
Dude,
So
Sponsorship.
I've learned a lot more about this because several people have written me about it. It's funny because
They
people are
blab
always
so
like, "Oh, I
much.
want to tell you
It's
all
like,
about it," or "I'm excited.
fuck.
Here's what I think."
Why did
So
he
here's
just
the deal.
get
Here's
snide
what
about
this
that?
is good for.
People want to engage
Okay?
with him about
It's
the new
good for
thing that he got,
emulation.
and he got annoyed by it.
It's good for small projects. It's good for simple games. And basic
This
use.
is something you
That's
put
really
in
what
at
these
your
mini
like
PCs are
restaurant
really
or
good
like a
for,
storefront,
alright?
and you mount it to like a back of a
This
mount,
PC is not
like
a
TV
replacement
on the
PC
wall.
for a standalone
So you,
PC.
like,
It's not.
put a
Okay,
Yes.
menu
it's
on
also
it,
not meant to be a high-end
you
gaming
know,
PC. It
do
never
something
will be.
like that. Maybe stream
There's many
live
reasons for
stuff.
that.
DSP
Alright,
is
allow
going to
me
somehow break
explain.
this thing.
Number one, the graphics in this are not
Oh, for
great.
sure.
They're very mid to low level.
I hope he drops
Spills
it.
water on
Can
it.
I
Jasper
run a
did that.
3D game on it? Yes. Can I run it at high settings? Hell no. Can I run it at mid settings? Questionable. Can I run a game at low settings? Maybe. It depends on the game.
Damn, he's already
Alright?
talking this shit
So,
down.
it
100
really
more
is gonna
bucks
Yeah.
would have got him the stream deck.
I bet you
Trying
feel
to get
really
this to
good that
run
you
any
bought this
kind of
for
a
him
3D
now, huh?
game. Honestly, like any kind of new game. Like right now, Baldur's
Again,
Gate 3
that's
is
not how
coming
my
out.
parents
A
raised
good
me.
luck
My
getting
parents
it to
raised
run
me
on
that if I was
it would
gifted
probably
something,
show
that was the
30
coolest thing
frames
I'd
or
ever seen in
lower,
my life.
And it would
And
probably
damn it, I
chug
better
along
say
and
it.
have issues. Because this thing is not meant for that, okay?
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you,
This thing
Ant.
is meant
This thing that
as a kind of
horrifies
hobby
me,
box,
I love it.
An emulation box, or for simple games. Which
DSP
really, in
gets a
reality,
gift.
is
What is
what
this
I
piece
wanted
of
something
shit?
like this for. We've been discussing Steam Deck, correct?
He's like
The reason
wasn't
I
the
wanted
fat
Steam
kid on
Deck
Harry Potter,
because
the
there's games on Steam that
the
I want
cousin
to
or
play that
whatever
are
his name is.
basic games. I can't play them on my PC right now while capturing streaming. It takes
He's
so
like
much of my
turning this
resources,
into a stream
and it
deck
ruins the
bag.
quality and it makes everything crash.
DSP,
Having
should we get you a
standalone
separate
device to
arcade
play
stick
the
for that
game
thing?
on while I'm capturing with with my current PC would be ideal, and that's actually what this would be good at. Why also is this
He's not gonna
a
run
do
5K
for
on
extended
it.
use or gaming? Tell you why.
Hey, Jojo.
No
Sorry,
way.
PC is only half the
Not
size
happening,
of this box. This PC has no ventilation
Okay, that's a new
whatsoever.
clone.
None. Remember, I looked at the sides. I said, "Oh, it looks like speakers." No, that's the ventilation.
No
There's
shit.
no fan.
That's
in
a
there.
double new clone.
Computer.
It doesn't
Why?
have
With no
ventilation.
fan,
Look at this ventilation. It doesn't have
computer
it.
is going to heat up a lot. And I actually heard this is an AMD processor. It's an AMD Ryzen 7
They
5800.
say that it has ventilation.
Apparently, AMD
What?
processors are infamous for having
Why
heating
didn't this
issues.
person think of any of
And I
this
have
before they gifted
no
Phil this
cooling
brick?
solution on this PC.
Straight up disrespectful.
So can you imagine, even if you could get it to run a 3D game, this thing is going to heat up.
Yeah, he's gonna make
like
Yeah, I
a-
mean,
like
I'm
a
really compelled to do it
lava
too.
Right
within
now.
an hour of using it. So that's
Why not do a
it right now.
fundraiser
Okay.
for the stick?
So
Yeah, I agree with
essentially,
Broly.
yes, this is meant to be something that you use for
We should do a
basic
Street
use,
Fighter
not
Marathon
anything
Madness
crazy,
for a stick.
and not for extended
something.
periods of time.
Mhm.
Fighting game
right?
You could do
Madness.
something like
Okay.
Honda to
So
Master
it's basic.
from
It really
Bronze.
is
Create a new
basic.
account,
It's
new
meant to
account,
be,
and
hey,
make
it's a little hobby box. You wanna
Blanca.
play,
Or yeah, let's do
throwback
Blanca. Use
games
it. Starts
on
at Bronze,
emulation on
and
it, basic
every
stuff,
time
you
it gets
can
to a
do
new
that.
rank,
But you
someone
can't go
donates
crazy
a
with modern
portion
stuff. It's
to the new
not gonna
arcade
have a
stick.
handle.
Hell
It's
yeah.
hilarious. I had people writing me saying things like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
should
exactly.
turn
it in
this
I mean,
pocket
be
now
now
super
into
horrible
capture
about it, but at least it's
streaming
something
PC."
to witness.
What? Are you crazy? You want me to be capturing and streaming all day on this thing with
Yes, I
no
actually do want
ventilation
that.
whatsoever? You don't think this thing could possibly overheat?
Put a camera
Are you
towards it. I
nuts?
want
I
to
hope
see
there's
it.
actually a Bitcoin miner.
That's literally
in that thing.
not what it's made for.
I want
at
to see that
all.
thing turn
Like,
into
not
a
even
fireball
close to
3
why it
hours
was
in.
Designed, I had someone say,
Just to
"Oh,
sucks in a
so
dust
now
jacket.
Jasper, get out of there!
you can now hook up your Stream
Oh.
Deck that you had for years and years and you couldn't use."
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right,
technically,
RU. That thing's going to get
would
tossed in the
Stream Deck
closet and
work with
forgotten
this?
about.
Yes, but I'm not using
10
this
years
to capture
later,
and
the next
stream.
closet.
What?
So what's the
Stream.
point
Oh,
of having
yeah,
Stream
remember
Deck
that?
on a PC that I'm not using to do captured streaming? It wouldn't do anything. I need it on my capture PC stream.
crazy. I
remember
to play
this. I was gonna
animations
set
to do
this
things,
up.
see? Doesn't make sense. That doesn't make
But then
any
the
sense
divorce
at all.
happened. I kind of got distracted.
Yeah, people just saying some zany stuff. Like they think that I'm going to use this tiny PC as a
Then you should send it
replacement for
back
that
to whoever
PC
sent it
right
to you.
there. No, absolutely not. And again, it's not meant
Right?
to be
Yeah,
a high
thanks.
save
This isn't really
space.
going to
It's
work
meant
with
to
me
be
here. You can have this
a
back.
hobby
I appreciate you.
Okay, so I am going.
I'm
to
sitting
be
at a
using
cool,
this,
comfy,
tomorrow
like,
night.
55,
actually. I'm going to hook
60
it up for the first
degrees
time,
Celsius
test it out,
right
and see
now
how it works. In fact, this morning,
on my
for the first
CPU.
time in over
what I'm
4
looking at.
years, I
And
logged into my Steam account.
I'm running the
Oh, I don't
AMD
have AMD,
Ryzen
so
Yeah,
I haven't tested
I was
it.
like, wow, I haven't used this in a million years, so I had to change my password
So,
around and everything.
I'm-
Yeah, it's been a million years.
I'm rocking the,
Like, all right. And I logged in. It's funny. My Steam account has the weirdest
7900X
assortment of games
with
on
the
there.
12-core
Weird
processor.
stuff that some things I never even
So,
played.
that's
right?
what I roll with.
Um,
And yeah,
That's
and then it's
cool.
funny because like you look back at
And
history,
you could
like, you guys
probably
remember when I was
modify
on
that thing to
Twitch?
be better cooling, but DSP can't do it.
When Twitch first started
oh,
with their
I have an intercooler ready to go. I just
sponsorship
too lazy to put
opportunities
it in
built into
right
the
now.
platform,
But yeah,
and I played that indie game.
I have an all-in-one.
That's cool.
all set, ready. It
And
just needs
basically,
to
my trolls
popped
went
in.
and harassed the game devs, so
I
the
just
game
don't
devs
wanna deal
actually
with it, right?
shat
What
on
was
me
this?
while I was playing their game.
It's like a wintertime day project.
Their game's fucking tanked
What's this
completely,
now?
and they never even finished it. So they got what they deserve for acting like assholes to me. It's just funny because I looked, I
Oh,
was
this
like, "Hello,
thing.
Hell's
Oh,
still in
God.
here."
Oh,
Let me
it's
click
Elo
on it.
Hell.
Wow, there's no updates on it
Dude,
whatsoever.
He has
Let
to
me click
dance
their
on their
social
grave? He
media.
was
And I
pretending
clicked
like
on
that
it,
gameplay
and
never existed.
There hasn't been a post since 2019.
'Cause we
Basically,
laughed
the
at him
game
for shilling the
never
game.
Took off. No one bought it. It flopped, and they basically just retired it. They never even did like another episode. There's supposed to be multiple episodes and stuff in the game. They only did one episode and it flopped. And they
So
never touched it
that's
ever
what you
again.
get for shitting
It's like,
on
well, yeah,
Phil.
when you're a bunch of idiots and you fucking act like that because trolls come to you, you're acting unprofessional. They actually
business people.
crapped on me, the streamer, promoting their game.
Oh,
So,
see,
what do you
people
think
saw
of
that and they hated the game
thought you
for it.
were, chill.
That's in the game reviews. This game company shit on the guy who was streaming
Anyway,
it, and he did
digress.
nothing
So I'm
wrong.
looking at
Therefore,
all
I'm
these
not
different
buying it.
games there. I'm like, wow, I forgot I had most of these games.
That's why I
There's a
like
lot of
DSP.
games
He's a
on
very
there that I
positive
bought,
guy. He lets bygones
Right
be
when I just got
bygones.
in this new PC, and I thought I was going to be able to play.
You
a lot
know
of games
that
like
Jesus dude,
Rage
right?
and
He said that
Aliens,
you shouldn't
Colonial
donate
Marines and stuff
money
like that.
openly because that's
And,
not real charity.
By
But
the
he
way,
also
back
said that you
then,
should turn the other
I was
cheek,
doing the
but that's
720p.
more
Today I
optional,
do
really.
1080p 60 frames. Back then I was doing 720p 30
You can
frames.
definitely be a
So that's why I
wrathful
was
son of a
able to
bitch
do
all the
PC
time.
stuff back then. But anyway,
Okay, so
Mhm.
flip
I'm
the
looking at,
table.
wow, some
Panini.
weird
And
games on Steam.
Jesus
So
said,
the cool thing
fuck
is,
you.
we can
You
mess
think you're
around
the
with
boss
the
of me?
box. Like we could have a night where basically we just mess around. Say, what games do you want to test on it? Right. The thing is, I got to be careful because
Dude, he's
this
still
only
shaking,
has a
like,
1 terabyte
nonstop.
hard
He's
drive.
jonesing for
I
that
have to see
controller.
once I hook it up, how much of the hard drive actually has free space to store? Because I don't know how
What
much
the
is free and how much isn't.
A lot.
But I might
It's
install
gonna
a
be
couple
free.
test
It's a
games on
terabyte.
there just to see how they run as a test thing. But I guarantee you, the vast majority of games will run horribly on it. It
I
really
thought
is
you
just
were
for
just
basic
doing this
stuff,
for
right?
emulation.
That's what I
style
thought too.
games.
He's not gonna be running Hearts of
what
Iron
am I
on this
really
thing, is he?
excited for with this? Chrono Trigger. because I looked it up. Chrono Trigger is on
God,
Steam.
I couldn't
It was
imagine him
released
trying
in
to
2018.
play fucking one of those games.
It's the Nintendo DS version.
Let
Oh,
him
yeah.
play some
Content
Command and
better
Conquer
music,
though. Could you imagine that
and
shit? Some like
it's
Red
$15
Alert.
And I'm like, dude,
DSP, you should
I
load
wanted
Crisis
to
on
play
that bad boy.
Chrono Trigger for years.
I want to see
haven't
that thing
played it since
explode.
2012. All right.
DSP
And
starts
I
up the
would
next
absolutely
stream.
love
There's a
to
bunch of
today
shrapnel in his face.
Do this as a nice interactive chill stream playthrough over the course of August with
It's like
you.
picking
I
out metal
punished
It's one of
plates.
my
Phil.
favorite RPGs of all time. It's a game that means a lot to me because I remember growing up, like the music. I'm serious to this day. The music makes me feel
No,
emotion.
we haven't felt that in a
You know what I
while.
mean? Like a game I
Otherwise,
remember
you don't
in the
feel?
summertime. I rented this game and I'm
Getting
playing
married
it,
to
and
Cat,
I'm
I
thinking
don't know.
back to
I'm
living
kind of
in
a different.
my parents' house.
Chrono Trigger?
Thinking of
This
all the
shit's
things I
deep,
used to
dude.
do back then. It makes me feel so nostalgic and like happy and feeling at home when I play that game. So I would love
He
to play
always
that
takes
game
up
with
an
you guys
entire
again.
terabyte. Oh god, that's not
Only
good.
this
Then.
time,
That's even
as
funnier.
a fun interactive stream, you know, in my current style, which is much better than my old style where I
Still
I
do.
ignored my stream audience. You know,
Still do.
I didn't really pay any
Still do.
attention
Yeah.
to anyone. I was just kind of
Still
doing
do.
it for myself, which was stupid.
Unless they give you
now
money.
I have an
Yeah,
interactive
they
audience.
ask you
I can
questions
talk
and you
with
say,
guys
"I don't want to
chill.
answer that
It's
stupid
10
shit right
years
now."
Since I played Chrono Trigger, so I'd love to play it again with all of you.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're going
Thanks
to
for
do.
the money,
Now,
Devin.
I don't know what my
first
favorite
test
kind of
for this
polymer
game
is. Okay, I'm just gonna
mini
ignore
box
you.
will be Chrono Trigger. But I'll find out tomorrow night because tomorrow night is when I'm actually going to test it, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Chrono
Chrono
Trigger
Trigger's
will
gonna
work
save
just
the
fine.
streams.
So yeah, after having,
But he's trying to play the Steam version. I think.
Why? What?
after having, all this data
Yeah.
about this PC,
He's not gonna emulate. He's
you
gonna
know,
go buy the
I kind of
Steam
know what
version.
I can do.
That's insanely
Basic stuff.
stupid.
Again, this will
I
be every once in a
guarantee it.
while.
'Cause he can play that.
And that's real dumb, 'cause that
on
version
Steam or
sucks.
whatever. That's what this is
You can
for.
play like the
All
actual
right?
one.
Or again,
What's
one
a
of these
memeable
memeable
game?
games that's you not
Goat Simulator?
horribly taxing on you know, the
Zelda.
GPU or whatever.
Stellaris.
but it's
Stellaris
easy
is
to
definitely a
run.
meme
That I
game.
can
Load it
do
up,
fine,
DSP.
All right, but absolutely, there's no way that this is going to be playing modern PC games or anything.
think
like
you
that.
could
That's
run
definitely
FTL
not
on
what
that
this
bad
thing is
boy.
for. It is incredibly limited in what it can do, and even then, you
Probably.
shouldn't be playing it for extended. Like you shouldn't use this all day. This is like you use it for a few hours and then you let it rest because if you don't,
It's kind of like DSP himself.
it's-
You gotta let him
it has
rest,
no
man.
ventilation whatsoever. There's no
I'll
fan,
overheat.
so it's gonna overheat.
So
you see?
Chrono Trigger's gonna be a night stream only?
You might have to
Okay.
play it outside.
So-
It might get too hot.
I'll try this tomorrow. We'll talk about that. in a
Hi
second.
guys, I'm in the
Alright.
backyard here.
It's for a
We're
winter
doing a
time game,
Chrono
huh?
Trigger stream.
Oh no more fishing streams. Come on, man. I want to watch
So
one of
let's
those.
talk about the schedule for the week. All right, today.
New Vegas, Monica
Alright.
Fuck would be fun to mod.
Get him out of here.
Bam. Bam.
Goodbye.
Today is the conclusion of Final Fantasy 16.
Are you
Yes,
sure about
really? Yes, finally. Today we finished the game. We're gonna hit the 40-hour mark today and wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
I think what would be cool is if
I know
DSP
most
actually
people
hates this
have-
little
were
mini
actually
computer so
asking me
much,
to
he
quit
should
this
make a
game, like,
stream of trying to
3 weeks
intentionally
ago.
blow it up.
But I told you guys we're gonna tough it out. And we're
Load
gonna
up
beat it
so
'cause we
much stuff
invested so
onto
much
it that it
time in
detonates.
All right, and now
Well,
here we are. We're at the end. We'll see the
Yeah.
finale today. The
that's-
final
You can make a big
fights,
event of it. Take it to the
That's
garage.
final cutscenes.
That's not
and
Phil.
we'll see how it all ends. And
Yeah,
yes,
chill.
I'm
Chill explosion.
Has to
absolutely
be
going to
chill.
give you my honest
I
opinion.
hope Jasper
/
lays
final
on top
verdict
of it
on
and
this
melts it.
game when I beat it. All right, I'm gonna weigh all the
Melts
factors
it.
in, and I'm going to let you know. my
You've
true
already
thoughts
told
about
us.
Final Fantasy
Are you going to
16
suddenly
when
say
those
the
credits
game's
roll.
all right?
All right. So as of today, we're going to beat it. That's
It's got
great.
all that
Move
filling,
on.
dude.
Tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, is the continuation of
Red
GTA
Dead
5
Redemption 2 like
the
10
anniversary
FPS.
run.
10
I'm
frames
excited
per
for
second.
that.
Red Dead Redemption would be kind of funny though.
We've been having a lot of fun with the game. I think at this point we're around
That'd be a fun meme
8
gameplay.
hours in, 10, 12 hours in,
He had a whole channel with Red
12
Dead
hours in.
Redemption.
and it's
Yeah,
good now.
Suicide
because
Game.
all
This
the
thing that he was
you
hyping
know,
up for so long, and then when I
protagonists
finally watched it,
are now involved in the
this
game,
is it.
which is good. And
It was.
I guess he was
fun
having
now
fun
because
because he was
you
having
choose
fun with
between them and they have
John,
all these
but
different
it wasn't
missions
fun
and
for
things you
anybody
can
else.
do. There's more variety to the game now. And I'm really enjoying it, and I know that you guys will enjoy it tonight. You guys have been helping me figure out the side content and everything. So more tonight, all right? That'll be fun.
More GTA
Tomorrow
$5.
That's good.
It's going to
That's
be a
good
weird
line.
day, all right? Sunday. First of all, it's DSP versus the Internet, my weekly clips react show. So if you have
Those
not
games
yet,
have. Those
nominate
videos
your
have been
clip
getting like 2K
for
views and
tomorrow's
stuff.
show
They're some of
by
his
the
most
end of
watched
today's
content
streams.
lately.
If you don't, those
I don't
clips
know.
are
Something
not gonna
about
be watched
LTG having a
tomorrow.
lot of viewers, not
Basically,
getting a
what
whole
I'm
lot of
gonna do
money.
is
What's
at the
that
end of
about?
tonight's GTA stream, I go over and I make the
Weird.
playlists for tomorrow's show, and anything nominated after that will not make the cut. You've got to nominate your videos today. So how do you do that? If
Derek's
you're a
going to show
member,
up and say, I
head
submitted
over
my
to
videos.
The
He
DSP
does it all the
Reacts
time. It's
channel,
really
which
annoying.
is youtube.com/@
Yes.
DSP Reacts. You go to the community tab on the channel page.
Do you
There's
like
2
watching
threads.
I haven't
React
watched one
streams?
besides like a
One
couple
is for
minutes of
standard
one
members,
time,
one's
and
for ultra
it nearly killed me.
Post up your quick nominations for tomorrow's show.
Okay.
For a chance to be watched. Okay.
No, I actually did apply to be on there.
On DSP React.
Because you know what's important to me? Pixels. I need that medal.
Number one, I'm doing private React videos for
so I'll
patrons,
power through.
and so I'm going to record those. And
sometimes you got to get the medal.
But also,
I might have to
go
get another.
Because DSP gets pretty addicted to pixels. I need to try it.
Going. It's actually going to sit behind my TV over there. I do have a keyboard and mouse over here that I can use with it.
Sweaty Man JPEGs. But these
I
are like
actually
free.
bought an extra long
Except
USB
for you have to like pay with
which is
yeah,
cool
which I
because
don't know if that might not be as good a deal, but
I believe
I'll
I'm
still
going to be
power
able to use
through.
that with my Xbox controller, and I might not need the rechargeable batteries.
It's a rough deal.
It'll be fun
Like,
watching
this is
DSP
wired
watch
now,
a
right?
video
So
on
I
how
won't even need
chessboards
these
are made
batteries
and turn that into a crying
that's
segment.
That's a cut of cost, right? So, yeah. So anyway, that'll be neat to test it out.
I used to
and
play
I'll
in
be
high
able to
school,
get
but
the
people
figure
Phil,
out
you
and
suck
download
at
it
Street
and see
Fighter.
if it
Like,
works.
this is
So,
chess, idiot.
There you go. That should be exciting. And I'll let you know. Obviously on Monday morning.
Bring
on
your
the Level 1
Quran with
podcast,
you
I'll
and praise
let all
Allah.
So on Monday, the daytime stream will be
I see where I
GTA
left it
5 anniversary run on the first stream for the first time. So for those of you who've been watching the playthrough and you're really enjoying it,
not going to
you're
use his little
"Man, you
PC
keep playing
to
it on the late
potential
stream and I can't make the
third-world
late stream.
reactor,
It's too late
or
for me."
he's
It's
gonna
going
blow
to
it
now
up.
be daytime stream.
I hope there's some
starting this
key
week on
logging
Monday.
software in there.
So
That'd
I
be
hope you'll
funny.
join me on Monday for that. Monday night is community night in Street Fighter 6, where I open up a community lobby and everyone joins and plays with me.
That's
That'll
false
be fun.
advertising, by
And
the
then
way,
main
DSP.
stream
Nobody,
on Tuesday will be more Street Fighter
not
6
everybody
ranked.
can play you.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Because this dude's a dickhead. He
Tuesday
jumps
night
around from
will
Q to
be,
Q, and it's really annoying. Because
if
people are
all things
waiting
go
to play
according
him.
to plan,
Or shit out of luck.
the
Maybe
premiere
leaves.
Chrono Trigger.
Man,
Let's see
Chrono
how this
Trigger
goes.
better
What
knock
if I
my
hook up
socks
this PC
off.
and
This
it's a
dude's been talking about it for
disaster and it
years.
sucks, right? I don't know.
No, I've never played it.
Have you ever played it? Okay, so you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
and I imagine it's
watch
going to be
film,
amazing. This
play
dude
it.
is selling it.
Oh, ouch.
All right, so that's the week. I'm off
It's
on
a solid
Wednesday.
game. People
Next week
will tell you
will be
it's
a
gonna be
balance
A or like S
between
tier.
GTA
game.
and Street Fighter on the daytime streams, and the night streams will likely be a mix
It's up there.
between Chrono
It deserves the
Trigger,
credit
if
it
it
gets,
works.
but
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to
gameplay
play.
is
and
gonna
some
It's
Street
going to
Fighter
look like
stuff.
ass.
real
Because that's a
Maybe
gift he
the
has.
return
He can
of
take the most
World War,
incredible
which would be
game and
great
make it
if
look like
World War
shit.
comes back because I like that mode, and we haven't played it again in a while.
He also weirdly
how it goes.
inspires
Yes,
people
that's
to buy
true.
and
The
play
other
games.
thing
That happened with
is that
Wolong.
1 week
I was
from
watching him
today
play Wolong, and I
is
got
my
so annoyed
first
that I
of
went out
two
and bought
big
it.
anniversary
did it?
events. Did you know that? So 1 week from today, which will be Saturday the 12th of August.
I don't think he's ever done it
on
to
the
me.
day stream, we're
'cause
going to
I'm
be doing
normally
a
just stuck in
full-length
1 or 2
react
games
to
here or there.
Project
I'm a
7.
big fan of the
The
Team
first time
Ninja
in, like,
games, and I
5
was hearing him
years.
shit all over it.
We're
And I
gonna go
thought,
back
no,
and
this
watch
can't be true.
Project
This
7
can't be true.
together.
I'm going to play it.
I'm going to commentate over
None
it.
of what
I'm
he
gonna
said
let
was
you
true
know
about the
all
game at
about the
all,
behind-the-scenes
obviously.
stuff that was going on
They
back
play
when we
super
were
well.
making this show. My thought process about developing it, what I was hoping would happen with it, what didn't happen with it.
Last
But
week,
now
nice.
that I watched the
Yeah,
John
it's
and
one of those
Howard
things.
video
Oh god.
from last year, and now that I know what their thoughts were during this whole process, I can now add even more much-needed context and things to it. So the Project
Who's gonna
7
believe Phil
React
with this?
event
Like,
will be
I'm
on
gonna
Yeah,
tell the
everything
truth.
you've learned
really the
before is a
truth about
lie.
Project
This is the
7.
current
and
truth.
that'll be over on DSP
Keep on.
React. Now, on the night stream that
I
because it's
I rather
streams, not a
believe-
marathon, but on the night stream that
Yeah.
day,
you know,
all right?
John and
We're gonna be
Howard
doing
more
a
so
very
than this
special
guy.
React event, a tier maker.
They
And this
seemed
is
a
going
lot
to
more
be
genuine.
a really cool tier maker. I'm going to be counting
My
down
Drunk One
all of the
Comic
games
Show
from the
inside
last
out.
decade that I either ranked
Your
number
Valve
1 or
Pro
number
wallet,
2
that's
for
good.
the year in a tier maker
Yeah,
countdown.
he's
All right,
I've
I'm
never
very
watched
excited
both
for
his
this
Pots Restreams.
because I feel like this is
Are
going
they
to
worth checking
be
out?
very fun to do.
Yeah,
and
the
it's going to have a lot of
tier maker is
nostalgia.
coming
We're going
back.
to look back at all of
Fuck.
these games.
This
from
might be the worst
past
one. Like worse than
and say,
Zelda
hey,
when I restreamed.
look, this one used
He
to
should
be the
do
best
tier
of the year.
makers and
Did
make
it
it
hold
the
up to the
detractors.
test of time, or over the years, does this game suck now? People don't even think about it anymore. I guarantee you're gonna have
Detractor
some
tier
games in there
list.
where we're like, oh my god, those games are
That'd be
absolutely
gold.
outstanding.
We'd get some good
I'm
ass
playing
rants from
today
that.
and love it. And other games are like, wow,
I hope I don't
what is
even-
this game?
Yeah, me neither.
I
I hope I don't
remember
even
this
make
at
the
all.
list.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
how
know.
these games,
Make
some of
me
these
feel
games
good.
age
Don't
well,
have me
some
there.
don't,
Keep me off.
right?
Please,
So,
just rant about
ranking all my
Tevin
game
and
of the
Secret
year
Limited,
runner-up
please.
picks in a tier maker should be really fun. Like, what is the ultimate game that I have played over the
Duties
last
all
decade
you
or so
alone in the
as
D
a content
list.
creator?
Also, this
Pretty
is
fun
another new
event, I
clone
think.
because
We're gonna have a great
DSP
time.
got asked about
So,
this a long time ago about making a tier
That
list
is
of his
coming up
best games,
1 week from
and he
today.
said that was
is
essentially
special event all
impossible.
day long. Now here's the thing: next week,
And
not
now
this
we're
week.
doing
This
it.
week is only a 5-day
Exactly.
streaming week.
And now
Next
it's-
week
Oh yeah,
is
now I'll
an
do it.
8-day streaming week. 8 straight freaking days. Yes.
Wow.
I know that sounds crazy because it is. Right?
Effort.
How often would
I
I
hope
be
he gets
streaming?
comp time for this. You got to talk to HR.
For that, you know what I mean? Crazy.
Fucking 8 straight days of work.
You definitely went over your 40 hours, Phil.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
staring
excited
right at his phone right now.
to stream 8 days in a
coming
row. And there's going to be
Well,
good
joystick
variety.
emails
I mean, having
for
that
you.
day to break it up for the
Tips.
anniversary stuff is fine because there's another 7 days of streaming that week. It's not
You
like,
did
oh,
put Bug
the whole
Snacks
week's screwed
over
up now
the-
because of that. So
Yes,
that's
Go.
he
fine.
was
Final
banking on
Fantasy
Bug
VII.
Snacks, big time.
Anyway, good
Yeah.
stuff. So,
he was
Terrible.
banning
thank you
people for
guys
talking too much during it.
for chilling with me this month so far.
It's
Remember, there's
crazy,
a big
man.
anniversary event that's coming up at the end of the month. That's going to be the big retrospective
And how
event.
did we already
where
get
for
up to
a
9
marathon,
clones
we're
and
gonna be
we're only,
watching
what,
back all your
like an hour
favorite
into this?
moments of my 15 years as a content creator. That's coming up on Saturday the 26th. That's a fun marathon. That's the 15 years of
Are we gonna
Dark
break
Side
a
Soul
record
Marathon.
today?
Did I
I
update?
think the
Hold on.
record
Did I
was
put
during
that in
the-
here? Hold on a second here.
The side scrollers one,
That's Street
where I think we were up
Fighter.
to 13 clones.
There it is. The 15 years of DSP Marathon is coming up on the 26th of
Look at
August.
that, terrible.
Where we're going to go down memory lane and react to
Hey,
your
stop.
favorite moments of me being content
Okay, well,
creator
I'm
over
trying
here.
to send you this
So how
top
do you
10
nominate?
racist
Well, there's
moments,
already threads
DSP, and you're not
available.
accepting
They're
it.
posted here on the community tab of the channel.
It-
And
no.
there's one
DSP,
for
it
open
legit was my
nomination,
favorite
there's
part
one
of your
for members
content, because when I
exclusive.
watch it now,
All right?
I'm
What I
reminded
would
of how
like
much
to
you
do, I'm
changed.
thinking, 'cause I
So
didn't
you
do
should
this,
play it.
and I totally should have done this. I should have done chat commands for it. So that way, you know, you could actually just have it pop up and click on there. And
That seems
nominate
like something people will mess
openly.
with.
I didn't
Choose
do
so
that.
many
I totally
different
should have done that.
stupid
So maybe
things.
later today, I will do some chat commands for that. So that way, in the chat, it'll pop up and say, "Hey, click here to nominate." Because we did get a good amount of
Why-
initial nominations.
He's just
but now
so
it's about
shaky
me,
today.
And I think that they've completely slowed
We need
down.
to have
and
some
we're not
sort of
getting
like
any
support bar
so I need
structure
more
to lock them in.
nominations for the show. The more, the better. What I'll
Gotta
probably
send
do
them
is,
one
like,
of
a
those
week
seats that
before
they have in
marathon,
roller
we'll make a
coasters.
big
Lock
push,
them in.
for people to nominate more, and probably we'll get a bunch more at that
Lock
point.
him in with the
Okay.
chest
I'm
harness.
ready to game, bros.
Anyway,
All
this
you
is
gotta
coming up
do
on
is
the
give him like
26th.
the,
All right?
the
There's a lot of
disability
fun
helmet,
stuff coming up this
and,
month.
and you
More
got
Street Fighter 6 stuff.
a good cosplay.
The Mortal Kombat
I've got my
beta
streamer
will be
harness.
the 18th through the 21st.
A couple
That's
years later, I innovated streamer harnesses.
We've got my special event next week, Project 7. We've got the Cheermaker coming up next week. We've got GTA 5 now becoming a daytime stream, right? And then we've got chill night streams of Chrono Trigger.
Why
and
is he
some
doing
community night, and
GTA
maybe some
5
World
is a
Tour and Street
daytime
Fighter.
stream? I think
Good
he's trying to
variety
bank
of
on
stuff
his
this month
larger
coming up.
European
Good balance.
cuts.
Good anniversary
Which doesn't
stuff
make sense
along
to me.
with
Can't
Street
they
Fighter
just
6.
still
It's a great
send money
month.
anyway?
I'm happy because usually the summer months are kind of dead. This year
And
we
they're
have a
supposed to
lot
be the
going on.
on-demand
It's
audience.
great.
They can watch his videos and then
Great
just
to-
give him money. It's almost like DSP's infrastructure that he pretends happens.
That's
Doesn't
really all
actually
I've got, guys. So I hope that sounds good.
This anniversary event is just as bad as having your own
Still
birthday
looking
party.
at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Checking emails.
It's shameful.
Hope that sounds good. Let's do shout outs.
I had mentioned that it would be really cool if
All
someone
right,
went through his
so-
little anniversary slideshow thing with all the different
Here we
months
go.
and
We start
post
off
the
with
different
Brosa.
dramas that were happening on
We have
each
this
month.
membership for 20 months. It's happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Keep it
That'd
up.
be fun.
Thank you to Brosa for that. Nice message.
Nice
Brosa also did a
message.
super chat. He said, your best buys are always at Fry's. Yeah, Fry's. I liked Fry's. The thing is with Fry's, if you've never been to a
Yeah, I've
Fry's
never heard
store,
of this place.
they don't exist anymore. But the thing I liked about Fry's stores was they had a lot of open, like, big product selection. Like, you would go in there, and they'd have, like, 10 different brands competing for the same style of product. Like, I want a toaster.
Oh, that sounds
Well, they have,
overwhelming.
like, 10 toasters. Most places you go in, they have, like, 2.
Wow.
So
They have,
you'd
like,
have to
10.
be there all day
You choose
if you're
the
DSP,
wide-
because then you
the
have to look
wide
at
slot,
chat.
the
Which
multi
toaster should I
slot,
get?
The quick toast. You know, that was good about Fry's. They always had
This
a
one
big
uses
product
AMD.
selection.
I don't know if
When
I want
went
this
in
toaster.
Fries, oh,
the summer before the beta had come out.
Fries
for
always
Street Fighter
overwhelmed
5,
me.
I had no
It was like
intention
I
of buying
walk
a
in there and be
joystick.
like,
I walked in, they had a
yeah,
ton
look
of
at all the
joysticks for
computer stuff.
consoles.
Like,
I
I
was
can
like,
build a computer,
whoa,
and
they have
then
a
like
bunch of stuff.
I just
I
get
was like,
overwhelmed
wow,
to
this
walk
could be
away.
useful. And that's when
I'm
I
like,
bought
no,
that joystick over
can't
there.
do it. Can't
for the
even talk to their
PS4.
employees. They
Just
seem
'cause
so
they had
It was
a
a
bunch of
little
selection. I got
unsettling,
the
was it?
Hori. The Hori is a great
Man, I've never
brand.
even
I
heard of
love
this place.
Monster,
This
right?
place
They
looks
have
hype as
Subversive.
hell.
Yeah,
You know, most places don't carry that kind of stuff.
it's a West Coast
problem
like
with Fry's
computer
was
store. Or
they
what?
They really advertise.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm all
like,
the way out in the
uh,
Midwest. I never had anything like this.
The
They do
staff wasn't
appliances.
very well trained. They didn't know much about
They
anything.
had appliances, things like that.
And it was
like
almost
the
like
one
a
that be
warehouse
compared
style.
to
Yeah.
would
What
be
I
like
mean by that
Micro
is you would go
Center.
in there, and the
Big
aisles were
close.
large. And
But,
and
yeah, it was a
crowded.
West
Coast thing.
Sometimes
Yeah.
half the aisles would be empty.
Man, I could see
or
DSP
they were
being
like the
completely
time of year
lost
when
in
the
Yeah,
was
I
places.
was
going on. So the store would be half empty, and it kind of looked.
Oh no,
weird.
it was
like, is this an
amazing. Like
active
you
store
walk
or
in
not?
and be like
It was a really weird way
appliances
that
and
they
office
maintained their
space,
stores.
like
I liked it though. I
fixtures
liked
and
Fry's, and
things
I
on the
bought many
back.
things there over the years.
desks.
Um,
You know, they had
Computer
a
components,
on-scene
missed that.
TV
and
stuff,
things,
a full
HDMI
computer
cables,
selection.
USB cables. turntables,
security cameras,
it was
whatever
always
you
a
wanted,
useful place to
electronic
go in
wise,
as like kind of a
pretty much.
one-stop shop
DVDs,
for electronics.
books,
And
that's cool.
whatever.
Business.
It was all
the
there.
COVID killed them. COVID destroyed
Yeah,
their
it was
business
a pretty
model.
cool
Basically,
store to
people
go
stopped
to.
shopping there. Then.
We
Were
had
there
quite a
arcade
few of them
stickers?
around.
That really sucked
DSP could go
because I
there.
really liked that place.
They probably
Anyway,
had an
thank you,
arcade
Brosa,
stick.
for the super chat. A little trip down
I
memory
haven't seen.
lane. Broly did a super chat. Says,
Bam.
why not do a marathon fundraiser for the stick? Well, there's two reasons for that. Reason number one, is because I
So
need
do
this
one right
joystick
now.
right away. This is something I
So
have to
do one
order
right now.
in like the next week or so.
Yeah, just do one a day.
If I'm going to get it in time for the Mortal Kombat 1 beta.
Fuck
That's
Final
not
Fantasy.
enough
Let's
time
do
to
it
In fact,
tomorrow.
yeah, let's not even play
all right, and get people to
anything
know
the
about
rest
it
of
or
this day.
whatever.
Let's do it
In
right
fact,
now.
Number 2, I don't really like doing fundraising marathons. If you haven't noticed, I haven't done one in a million years. I mean, yes, years ago I used to do them. But
Dude,
the
you
thing
do
is,
them
people are
all the
dumb, and they
time.
think that something that happened 3-4
Are we talking
years
about the
ago
cat thing?
applies to today. It doesn't.
It does.
You know, back then, I was
What
financially
fundraiser
No.
are we
strapped.
talking about here,
I was
dude?
at my wit's end. I was in the middle of a bankruptcy. I had
Taxes
nowhere to
only.
go.
Taxes.
And just to sometimes pay basic
Probably.
bills, I had to do a marathon. That sucks. That's not
Yeah, but
good,
DSP, this
all
is
right? And I know
almost
that,
as
and I know
important
that
as taxes.
That was
You
asking
need that
too much.
arcade
It was
stick.
very annoying to
We
most
should do
of
it
my-
right
most of
now.
my viewer base.
Change the
They
title of your
for your
stream. Let's do it
business,
now.
right?
did not like that at all, and I hear you. I didn't like doing them either, all right? I've already said to you guys, you know, those were rough times. I don't want to go back to that. The only
He's
reason I would
about
ever
to
go
get
back
back
and
to
do
rough
like a
times.
Yes.
fundraising
I mean,
marathon
he's
is
trending
an emergency.
down across the
What if a
board.
medical emergency comes
Tips,
up and I need money to,
super
you know,
chats,
pay for
super
fucking
thanks, all down.
a minute of something or something.
Likes, down.
Then maybe
Engagement,
you know, that's
This
down.
would be
the
a
only
very
option
good
I have.
move right
Then
now
maybe
to
I will
start
sit doing
pre-begging
something.
DSP.
Outside of that, I don't really want to do stuff like that.
I'm going to
I
give you
don't,
shit for
know?
it, but it's
you
still a
guys
good move.
already are supportive enough. You understand? Like, you guys are crazy supportive of me. You allow me to do what I love for a living.
But
you
it's
allow
not
me to make
enough,
a good amount of money
apparently.
doing independent style content. I don't sell out. I don't have
Independent
partnerships,
style
sponsorships, there's no paid
There's one
advertisements
for the
on my
board.
streams, no product placement. I'm not in cahoots with anyone. No one's promoting
I'm
me.
promoting you,
I'm
DSP,
a small-time
just
guy,
not doing a very good
and
job
I make
of
a
it.
good living because of you. I don't want to be, you know, milking you constantly and
Milking
making you
you?
feel like I'm abusing you, doing a fucking
He is.
marathon to buy a
He's
joystick.
abusing
know
you
what
to
I mean?
ask for
Stupid.
this shit.
This
By
must
the
be a
way.
brand new
someone
feeling
says, "Hey, I wanna
DSP
help
had.
out,"
All that therapy's paying
then
off.
so be it. Thank you. I'm not
I
gonna
actually don't
hold
like
that person
exploiting
out,
people.
But I'm not going to sit here
God,
and say we're
fuck-
dropping everything of normal
I'm a-
business
I'm a
in order
Steve.
for us to do a
Therapy
special
now.
fundraiser marathon.
You guys see
I
this?
don't
I've
wanna
made
do
a
that.
come around.
Okay. Okay. SF6 Blanca re-upped their membership
like a
and
brand
says, do
new
you plan
closed
on doing
stream.
100%
Holy
running
crap,
Chrono Trigger? Well, here's the thing. Chrono Trigger has many different endings. However, the one standard ending is the one that most people get, and then what really the way you get the other endings is New Game Plus, where you kind of turbo through the game at a high
Okay.
level because
No product placement.
here's the
DSP
way
shirts
Chrono
right
Trigger
behind him.
works.
Well, you
It's a
can't buy this white
game
one,
about
so
time travel.
you're one
At
third
any
wrong.
time, if you
I
know
don't know
how,
if you can
fight
buy
the final
any of them
boss.
anymore.
There's actually a way where you can just access the final boss.
No,
He doesn't even
Whenever
have
you want.
shirts up or
Once
merch
you
up.
get to a certain
he
point in
got
the
kicked
game.
off.
And when you beat the
'Cause they
final
were
boss
toxic
in certain parts
dickheads.
of the game, you get a different ending.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can't beat the final boss.
They didn't
Here's
even
what
see
you
them
did
in the
wrong,
game.
basically
Phil.
beat
We
the
forgive
game
you,
at
but
your
don't do it
pilot level to
again.
beat it. So you need to do New Game Plus. And when you do New Game Plus, then you choose the points in the game you want to kill that final boss to get the other endings. So, number one, I'm definitely going to do... I'm definitely going to be doing a standard
Play on
playthrough.
hard.
Okay? If you guys like the playthrough so much and you want to see me turbo through it New Game Plus to see the alternate endings, I'd also be okay with that. By the way, because this is an interactive playthrough this time, I'm absolutely
There
sure
you
you guys
go.
are going to be helping me along with it. You guys are going to be like, oh, this is what you do to get this ending. Here's a secret here you want to get. So,
Dude, he's
we'll do
hyping
that
this game like
Yeah,
it's
holy
the,
shit,
the
man.
best RPG
The
ever.
first one,
It
it
gave
was
him
just
an
for myself.
emotional response.
This time, 10 years
but
later,
he needs
it's
his
plus
chat.
I love
Yeah,
this
no,
game. I
that's
have
the
such
difference.
fond memories. How the hell do I play
Community,
it?
It's not like
feeling of interaction,
Final Fantasy
camaraderie, and
VI.
helping each other out to get the optimal playthrough. That's what I want this time around.
It's like, oh, that's
okay?
the best one. I know it like the back of my hand.
Okay.
Guys,
so
what I
guys,
do here?
Adam did a super chat. He says 8 days in a row. That's a lot of Phil laughing out loud. Yeah, 8 streaming days in a row without a break. But see, it's because this
Wow.
week's only 5 days. Next week's 8 days. The
8
next week I
days
don't
in
know
a
what it's gonna
row?
be. Maybe 5
By
days again. I gotta
just
figure
sitting
it
there
out.
playing video
It's a
games?
really messed up
Man, that's
scheduling.
excruciating.
Let's put it that way. Like, this
You know
week,
those
I have an
people who
appointment
work in
on Wednesday,
hospitals
so
for
I have to have
4 days
Wednesday off.
straight of
The week
12-hour
after,
shifts?
There's things that are really stretched out.
They don't
so I
nearly
need
as
to have
much
a
as this
different day
dude.
off. It's really odd, and I know it's throwing things for a loop, but I
Oh,
promise
thank
you it'll
God.
get back to normal at some point.
I was worried about abnormal Phil.
Okay. Continuing on. Spawn Killer did a super chat. It is sad to see Best Buy's going out of closing. And then he did another super chat. He says, I meant out of business. They're not going out of business. Best Buy's not going out of business. Best Buy's not doing great.
Also, DSP
What
was
I
on
will
record
understand,
fairly recently
but
with the
they're not
last
going
couple
out of
months saying he
business.
was
They
going out of
haven't declared
business.
bankruptcy or anything.
So I
Where
guess
did you get
DSP
that
reads
notion?
Wall Street Journal or something.
Unless they just announced it this morning. This is news to me. I haven't
Right?
heard anything about
What are you
Best
guys
Buy
talking
Buy
about? My
having
stocks in
having
Best Buy are doing great.
problems.
Okay, I got a bunch of idiots
Does
saying
anyone
I
know
have
if this is
stocks
true or
in
not, or
Best
if this
Buy.
is baloney
No,
and
I
Spawn
don't.
Killer is misinformed because I didn't hear anything about Best Buy going out
I don't
of
even
business.
know the stock price for Best Buy, if they even have one.
It's got to be like $1,000.
I gotta check now.
Maybe his local Best Buy is closing. Maybe. Are they closing store? Are they downscaling? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're downscaling and his local store is
it's a
closing.
brick and mortar model. Those aren't doing
X Shooter did
very
a super
well.
chat. He says, "I never heard of
no,
Chrono
please
Trigger. What is it
don't.
about? Man, it's an interesting plot. So,
Oh, is he gonna tell
some
us the plot?
The tractors.
teenagers essentially
Oh, kids.
get trapped in a time warp and get sent back in time, and they actually meet like their
Previous
predecessors,
detractors.
and they get interested in like these. It's a fantasy
Best Buy
game.
stock
It's based
currently
on
is at
the artwork of
$79
Akira Toriyama, the person
and
who did Dragon Ball,
83 cents a share.
okay?
DSP needs to
and
invest.
Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior,
trending-
whatever, however you
Trending
call it. I call it
down
Dragon
in the
Quest.
past month.
And it has the Nobuo Uematsu,
Down
the
on the year
composer
to date.
of.
But up
Is it?
and
Wait,
went
was it him?
the 5
Actually, I
year.
don't know if he composed the music for it.
Is it closing then?
No, I don't think he did. But the music is outstanding. Basically, it's like
No, I
it's the
guess not.
combination of people
Probably
who worked on Final Fantasy.
I mean, I
as
always
well as
found-
other
I
elements
almost have
to make a
DSP level
unique
rants
RPG.
about Best
There's
Buy.
time travel elements in it.
I've always found
and
Best Buy to be
essentially
a very
there's, like, all these
frustrating
things
place.
in time that affect other things in time. But really, what it is
Oh,
there's
it
a
can be.
doomsday coming up.
I went there
At
to
one
buy
point, the
some
world's going to
parts
end.
for the
A
computer,
big
and
entity, and you don't know
I
what
was
it
like,
is.
okay.
Is going to end
And I
the
sat
world.
there for, like,
and now you're traveling to
Yes.
20
time
minutes.
trying
No
to
one's
figure out
working
the
there.
origins of
Help
this
me out.
entity and how to stop it.
This thing's locked.
because you don't want
I
the
hate
world
that.
to be destroyed.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
I
there was,
could
like,
loot the
nobody
place,
around.
but I probably shouldn't.
It's pretty
The
good.
thing that
There's
I remember a
magic
lot was
involved.
whenever I'd go there, I'd always
different,
ask them,
like,
do they have this?
floating
And
society that
they'd
lives
make a
in the
big
sky with
production
magical
out of it.
powers
They'd
that
talk
no
to
one
their
knew existed. You
manager,
run into
check out the
them,
computer,
you
and
go
then
to
they
the
would go,
future and you
yeah,
see
we
what
don't have
happened
it.
after the apocalypse
So,
and how everything's destroyed.
just never
and
ask them if
robots
they
and
have it.
stuff. It's pretty
If
cool.
you have to ask, they
It's
don't
one
have
of
it.
the best plots of any RPG
No.
I've ever played. To this day, I don't think there's been an RPG.
The only time they ever did
so
that and
good.
it actually paid off
You
was
go
when
to
I got Armored
prehistoric
Core
times, which
Nexus.
is really cool.
They said, oh, well, let me check in the back. I'm like, don't
So
even
anyway,
bother.
it's an outstanding game. If you've never played
Yeah,
it,
they came
you're
back with
gonna
Armored Core
enjoy it.
Nexus.
And then
Holy
they come
shit.
back and
It's
have
super
it.
good.
You're like, whoa!
Now that I know that some people haven't played it before and they're going to be watching my playthrough, I got to be careful
It
about
just came
spoilers.
in.
Yeah,
We just
it's
reached
really
the
good.
Armored
Like,
Core Nexus
and you wait till
goal.
you hear the music, dude. It's SNES music and the fucking music. I swear to God, when I hear this music, it makes me tear up. It's
Yeah.
like the best
We
soundtrack,
heard
and
this
it has
before, Phil.
nostalgia factor out
Damn.
the ass. It's so good. I seriously can't wait to play. Can you tell? Can you tell when I'm truly excited about a game? I'm like really excited to play.
The future's
Chrono Trigger
looking
with
bright.
you
I
guys.
gotta wear
I really
shades.
am.
It's
I
gonna
feel
be
like
real
that
funny
first
'cause
playthrough
you're
I
gonna
did a
shit
decade
the
ago
bed.
was fine, but without having that interactive aspect, I missed out on a lot of the opportunity to have a great time. Now having these interactive streams with you guys with that game, like I cannot wait.
Dude, he's
to
gonna
play
kill this game. It's gonna be amazing.
He did.
All the hype,
Nobuo
and then it's
Uematsu
just
did
gonna
do most
die.
of
He's
the
just gonna go laugh all
I
over
thought
it.
he
People are
did,
gonna leave
but
in
I knew he
droves.
didn't do all of it, so I didn't want to say that and then be like mistaken and have it. Yeah, you see your way
Holy
around,
shit, that's a
Phil.
really good impression of me.
Okay.
Man,
So thank you, X Shooter.
I've
for the
been
super
praised
chat.
on my impressions of
Let's get the
DSP,
tips
but he
here.
killed
Spot
me.
on.
So, first tip of the day.
Man, I thought there were
Hold
two
on.
of me there for a second. Or three, I guess, because I'm told that Agent Proper and I sounds there.
All right.
Literally, I'm not even kidding you. Literally, someone just tipped $1 and said, "You were just gifted a brand new gaming PC, and you're open to a whole new world of gaming. Why don't you focus on that instead of a fight stick?" And then, of course, we just
Why am
literally
I
talked about the
toxic?
PC, and that's exactly not what it is. The PC is not a gaming PC. You're not even supposed to play it for extended periods of time. It's really just a basic PC for hobby stuff and simple games. So
it's
this
not for
person's completely
business?
mistaken.
I think
But
there's
this is
still the
valid.
message there that you
Let's
shouldn't be
continue.
begging for stuff when you just got something. Apparently, that was lost on him. No, see, you're debunked, so you have no point.
I got a $1.30 tip from someone saying, just listen to this. Why did you buy all the upgraded stuff for Xbox to
Dude, he's
begin
done
with?
it before. He's
knowing
played
it's the
Chrono
inferior
Trigger.
console.
He's
It doesn't
played
make
it.
any sense.
Yeah.
considering
It just
you have a
wasn't for a
PS5.
live audience.
You did this to yourself. You should have gotten everything on PS5 to begin with. I did not buy this joystick.
Okay,
This was gifted
okay,
to me
we
for
believe
Christmas
you.
a year and a half, well, almost 2 years ago now. That's why I got Street Fighter 6 on Xbox, because I already had a stick for it.
All right,
You're
idiot.
Wrong
I didn't
again,
buy this. This was
stupid.
gifted to me. That's why I bought it on there. And because the game was cross-platform, that's why I bought it on
Wow.
there. Now, I never predicted. I
Dude,
gonna
he
get
was
good
ready
at the
with that
game
thing.
It's a
He
good
picked
thing
it
he
right
didn't.
up.
competitive level.
Take it
You
and
guys
put it
were gonna
away.
want to see me play it so much and get master level and all. I had no clue. Keep in mind, this is the first game in over a decade.
It's
that I've
technically a
actually
gaming
cared about this
PC,
much and
if
been
you
this
really
good at
want to
it.
be
I would argue
liberal with the definition of it.
This is the game I'm second best at. I would say Super Turbo I'm the best at. This game I'm second best at, and probably the next best game was Marvel vs. Capcom 1, and then after that maybe MVC 2, and then maybe Third Strike. No, I'm serious. I'm good at
Oh,
Street
yeah.
Fighter 6,
So-
man. Like I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
not
go to Fight
high-end
Club.
tournament level, but
Question
I'm pretty good
mark?
at this game. You know.
Dude,
So,
I hope this
I didn't
He's
think that was
fighting.
going to happen. It was unpredictable.
It'd
We
be
didn't
the
know.
best
It could have
shit
went the
ever.
other way too.
If I can do a drinking game for
But
Third Strike
I
and
didn't
watch
buy
him
this
get
joystick,
queued,
so you're wrong there.
I'll be so
And
happy.
as for everything else, I don't even know what you're talking about. What other upgrades did I get for Xbox exactly? I already had Game Pass Ultimate.
Wrong.
So That's 2 tips in a row that are completely wrong.
Wrong.
This is
Dumb fucks.
a lot of the criticisms that get thrown my way all the time are just like this. Complete misunderstandings.
Yeah, I never
ill-conceived
begged for
notions,
money.
Incorrect information.
Is
and
it our
people say,
fault?
"You see, Phil, you're doing it all wrong because of this." Like, you're completely wrong with what you're saying. Like, you're not even correct in what you're saying at all.
So how does
You
that
know.
really apply to being
All right,
most?
continuing on.
I could see that happening occasionally, but a lot of things, DSP
I
does have a lot
received-
of evidence for him doing
Hey,
stupid
let's see
stuff.
here.
I think DSP needs to look at the numbers again.
This is someone
And
insulting
ban.
me, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Because as you know, I told you guys I don't entertain troll insults anymore.
Oh,
I got a
okay.
$5 tip.
So
from
magical
Super Snow
money
Carl
goes
Turbo
away.
HD Remix. All right, so
So
Yeah,
imaginary money gets put away.
54% win rate
Doesn't
isn't
count.
good. It's
And we're
all
gonna
right.
count-
Exactly.
oops.
DSP is not good at Street Fighter, at least in the context of performance-wise.
Super Snow
He's
Carl Turbo
Mediocre, I
HD
suppose, or at
Remix.
least passable.
There we go. Wait, that's
See,
no,
you took
I
that out
screwed
of
that up.
context.
Hold on.
Here you go.
It's
Tip.
supposed to be tip. Put it in the wrong spot.
Play
Super
for me.
Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. It's a
And then
$5
it's like
tip.
reverse cam girl, shows nothing but his
Put
eyes.
it on the board.
My eyes are my best
There you
feature,
go.
dude.
And he says,
Ban him.
listen to this. Phil, I wouldn't retire your Xbox joystick so fast as at Evo
Oh, shit,
with
this guy.
Maximilian Dude. Microsoft announced there's going to be further support for Killer Instinct with updated 4K graphics and all.
Okay.
Did you play that one back in the Expo days?
Wrong.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That game, when it came out, it was a launch title for Xbox One, and it looked great, and it played good. But the problem was the game had insanely bad issues at launch with desync. So you go to play
That's
the
why
game
they're going to do an
online,
updated version.
And by the way, the game had
Am I?
weird
Yeah.
netcode.
Be
It
happy
did.
to play it. It was
And
fun.
people at first thought it was one of the best games ever online until they found out that it would desync. So I'd be playing one game on my screen, the person on the other side of the internet would be playing and seeing a completely different outcome. Sometimes it would say you won and
No,
they won
I don't
at the
think
same
that's true.
time. Yeah, it was.
That
a complete
sounds
mess.
just
It was
inherently
completely
wrong.
broken. And after playing it for like a month, I dropped
Yeah,
it.
no
I was like,
wonder
dude,
why
this
they gotta
game's not even
fix
worth
the
playing
net
anymore.
code.
And then after that, no one
It's
really
all
cared.
fixed
And
then.
by the way,
Why-
the game
repackage it, send it back
floundered
out.
hugely because it was an Xbox One exclusive.
I
They
remember
basically
LTG
didn't have
flipping out at
any
that game, though. That was good.
real
And the
mainstream
Ultra.
support. The game was dropped in competitive circles within like a year, and there was always a grassroots kind of, following for the game. People who
So
did
he
support
just
it,
said
but
that
it never
nobody
picked up. It
cared,
really
and
did.
now
It
he
never
says
took
that
off
people
as a
did.
mainstream fighting game ever.
Man, dude, we're already up to
Now
11.
there were DLCs over the years and everything, but it's funny you say this, dude. The game was like a decade old. Okay, the only people who care about that are hardcore KI fans. No one else. I'm not going to be picking up KI now. No, that's crazy.
Why not?
Yeah, you're good at
If a
fighting
new
games.
Killer
Fighting
Instinct
Brand
game
new.
was announced,
I need new
brand
stuff.
new gameplay elements, new graphics, new release, I would play it. I'm not going back to a
Do
fighting
you not
game
think
from
they're
10
gonna
years ago.
release
That
this
only people
game
who've
and
played
then
this game over the
add
past decade are
season
really gonna give a
model
shit
to
about
it with like new
You know,
characters?
that's a waste of time. I'm
Like,
not
watch.
doing that.
They could
Yeah.
add one new character a season, and have 4 seasons in a fighter pass or whatever you want to call it. Killer.
Shout out to Lionel,
Pass
who
or
just re-upped his
whatever.
membership for 5 months and says your current
And
playthrough
it'd
of
be
GTA
fine.
5
Can
is
do.
better than your first. I believe you.
Also,
Keep in
DSP
mind,
just talked about how he was
back
going to
in the
play this
day,
old ass
when I
relic
played
of a
these
game,
games,
and now he can't play this old ass
purposefully
game.
rushed through them. I was not considering plot points. I was not discussing things going on in the game with you guys. All right, it
Why
was
would they
basically
care, especially
me
if they're playing
flubbing
online? Exactly,
my way
it's
through
supposed
the
to work
game,
offline.
trying to beat them as fast as humanly possible to get that playthrough out on the internet for those views. Because it really back then was a competition before there was crowdfunding.
So
before there
Mr.
was
Views
any
back
of this
in
Well,
the
it
live
wouldn't be
streaming
Mr.
stuff.
V's, though.
It was
That was
all
rough.
about get the views on the
DSP
video,
was
make
like
the
a
money, and
rapper
ad revenue.
with
That
how
was
they
it.
discuss hoes,
Okay.
but with views.
Um,
I don't want these views, but I have to have them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that all of my playthroughs from today, especially when I go back and play a
Street
retro
Fighter
game,
2,
like,
but KI
they're
is
better.
too old.
They're
Yeah,
much
exactly.
better playthroughs, having that element of
Street Fighter 2,
interactivity and chilling
amazing.
with you guys and
Killer
us,
Instinct, trash.
adding
I-
through our discussion and everything that goes on, and you guys helping
I've-
me.
I've
Hey, you
watched
missed
some
this,
of
go do
his
this, like getting
GTA
tacky
5
and having him for the
streams.
first heist. That was cool.
Especially the
I didn't
$5
even
stream.
know
That
that in the
was-
first GTA run, right? I had no clue.
Tasty.
He's
So,
finding new ways to
tasty.
fail, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that these playthroughs are better second time
That's
around. I
amazing,
think this
right?
Chrono Trigger playthrough will be very special. I really feel that.
Chrono Trigger is
Okay.
going to save
Did I
the
ever
Finally,
play
my
Chrono Cross
redemption
with
arc
PS?
is
No, I
happening.
didn't. Okay. I got a $2 tip.
Love the game, didn't play the sequel. Cool.
Well,
from Big Larry Gaming. I was thinking of picking up one of the classic Street Fighter 2 games. I'm wondering if the Genesis
Get the PlayStation
Super Nintendo
one.
or TurboGrafx version is best. If you don't know, that's fine. I think you have knowledge of fighting games. Do not get the Genesis version. The Genesis version of Street Fighter 2 is
Get the
terrible,
PlayStation.
but there's 2 versions, and they're both garbage.
DSP was a champion.
The Genesis could not hold up graphically, nor with the sound. The sound effects and music are god awful on the Genesis. Sorry about that.
You're gonna need a new arcade stick. Landed right on it.
You'll be very sad. SNES is good. I don't know about the
Sneezed
TurboGrafx.
on Jasper.
I've never played Street Fighter on the TurboGrafx.
Play
Out of all the
Jasper.
consoles that had Street Fighter 2, the best version is 3DO. The 3DO version has outstanding, almost arcade.
I thought it was a
graphics.
PlayStation.
3DO.
And really good.
This is a
connect
really
soundtrack.
odd take.
Super
Okay.
good. But I don't know if you can get a 3DO version of the game at this point. But the retro version, I would say if you had a choice,
The
between
Wow.
SNES
Virtual
and
Boy
Genesis,
one
always go SNES.
totally kicks ass.
Okay. Abdullah, I have no idea if I would try the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Rock
game.
back and forth.
If
Holy
it is
shit,
one
man.
of those
No.
asymmetric
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
No,
survival
he's not
horror
playing
games,
that.
I don't know. There's
I-
so
I've
many of
watched,
them. I'm not really too interested in them.
Wait, but who's that?
Unbiased
I
fan
got
says, did you see there's a
H2
blind man winning
Delirious,
matches at EVO
H2
using the gamepad and
Delirious, he was
sound to
playing
play? I
it.
can no longer make excuses when I play
And,
the game. That's
yeah,
awesome.
no, it's just like
Someone had told me
it's
about that
just
last
like
night when I was playing
the
with
Friday
Honda.
the 13th.
I mean, that's
game.
amazing. Again,
He's not
if
playing
anything,
that
this
one for
proves
13
I remember
games are
him
now
playing
becoming
Dead by
more
Daylight
more
and it being
more
terrible.
accessible. That is excellent to hear. I'm very happy about that, actually.
I tried
Vaughn,
to
I'm
stream
glad
snipe
tomorrow
him
is
in
the
Dead by
anniversary of
Daylight that
Pagoda.
one
I hope
time.
you have
Didn't
a
work
good
out.
day. JDTV, what's going on? Good to see you. Wade Mills
I was
says,
gonna
"Dan,
tell
you need
his
to stick
goofy
soon.
ass. The
I'll
rest of
help,
you can
though.
go.
Would you think about doing online tourneys with your 2 best characters in Street Fighter 6? Again, I don't know anything about online tournaments in Street Fighter 6. From what I'm
This guy's
understand, they
already
don't
saying,
work.
"I'm gonna help
Every
you
time
with
they've
it.
tried to
I'm
do
gonna
them,
help you with
they
the stick,
fail
bro."
and glitch out, and then they end up rewarding everyone with kudos in the game
Oh, you're
because they don't
welcome,
work. So I don't know. I don't know if they would work or not. You know, maybe I would consider it. Maybe I wouldn't. Like I told you guys, if there's an online tournament, I would hope that.
Oh my God, they have to run it by you?
But I don't know how they work. I don't know anything about that whatsoever.
I guess
We're gonna
it's
send an
Because
email.
now I feel like I gotta blow my nose. I sneeze.
We're thinking of setting up a tournament. Better send an email to Phil.
Oh, he's gone. Bye.
A lot of these clones are
Blow
inflated
my
because he kept
nuts.
getting off the camera, so that's also something worth remembering. Is that cat there in the background? Who is that? Cat's back
That's
there
him
saying,
blowing
"You
his
better make
nose."
this money. You better get there in front of your stream again."
Just standing at the door.
That's why he needs all these arcade sticks. She keeps breaking them over his head.
Sorry about that. Oh, let's see. Did I
It
play
was
Half-Life?
terrible.
You can find I played Half-Life. What was it called? Black Mesa. I played that
Oh
up
God.
until the
Crouch
end of it, but it
jumping.
wasn't finished at the time.
fucking
I
The
did
game
play
was
that,
broken
and I
because
did
they
play
didn't
full
understand
playthrough
crouch
of
jumping
its
correctly.
expansions. Why not use a converter for the Xbox Fight Stick? Already answered that on this very podcast.
He's so mad.
Converters, they're
They
not
do not.
perfect. They add tons of input lag. They're not even tournament approved because they have issues. I'm not
Why do you
using
need to
converter
have it be
because would just
tournament
make it
approved? You're not
harder.
going to any
Imagine,
tournaments.
Oh, I can now use my Xbox joystick on PS5, but now all my moves are
Not
even
even
more
online
delayed online.
tournaments.
That sounds like a great idea, doesn't it? No,
Okay.
it doesn't. It's very stupid.
I mean, I mentioned this last stream, but this
Wow.
dude wants you to understand that
Lavinia says the mini
if he
PC
said
will
something or did
100%
something
play
bad
modern
10 years
games.
ago,
It meets
that's
all spec
okay,
requirements of
because
Elden
it was
Ring.
10
My
years ago.
full-size PC has a terabyte
DSP
of
is
small
using,
now.
you
It
know,
doesn't have a graphics
converters
card.
from 10 years ago.
What are you
They don't
talking
work.
about?
Therefore,
It
they
has what's
never
considered
work.
onboard graphics. They're very low end. They're not good at all. In fact, someone did a comparison. My graphics card in my PC, no exaggeration, is like 4 times better than the graphics
Who
in
did
that
these
mini
numbers?
PC.
Name
It
names.
doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. It's the onboard graphics. How would I play Elden Ring on it?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
maybe at ultra low settings, 10 frames per second, maybe.
Do it.
And then it overloads and overheats within an hour,
Yeah.
maybe.
Because it'd
Like,
be
where are people
funny.
getting these weird notions from?
Then you can get a
Very
Stream
odd.
Deck.
It's not tournament legal at EVO. There's only one converter allowed at EVO, and even that adds significant input lag, but people are doing it if they can't afford another joystick. Would you like me to reiterate everything I
Yes,
said
please, start
on
over.
the podcast specifically for you?
We get up to 24 clones.
God,
Takes
for good
them
shit.
both out, boom, because you showed up late, and now you want to ask
Oh,
the
it's
same
my
questions
fault that I
already
can tune in when I
completely
can.
answered sufficiently earlier in the show. In fact, how about this? We'll have a special show just for you. It's the
Holy
Level 1
shit.
podcast just for the late
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
who
War
wants to
Dog Leader
second guess
flashbacks.
and
You're the
answer
king of
questions I
tardiness.
already answered earlier to try to make me like a gotcha
Why am I
moment on the
toxic?
podcast, all right? So there we go.
All right.
We'll just start over completely.
I'm
In
here
fact,
with,
you know what? Here we go.
Agent
Just for this
Proper.
person
Play the
who showed
intro.
up late and wants
Play
to ask the
the
same
intro.
questions I've already
Do
answered, we'll do this. You ready? Here we go.
Do it. Yes. So
If I'm toxic, I'm not even gonna bother. All right, we're not doing that. Get rid of the toxicity, and I'm just gonna die anyway. Let's continue.
all that over asking about why don't you get one of those little
Also,
plug-in
people
converters
ask
with
it over
these?
and over again because you don't answer it the first time.
What else do you guys want to talk about today? Hopefully
Or
not
just tell 'em-
joysticks.
Tell them,
No,
just
I'm
be
not
like, hey man,
reading
Yeah,
just
or
rewind
put it
this
as a
way,
pinned
I'm not going
comment.
back.
There you go.
Yeah. What's up, Dwight? Welcome to the shit show today.
Oh, man.
Lavinia. Oh my God, Lavinia.
You're
doing it too.
Bullshit from Phil. He's having meltdowns over the
Did I not?
arcade.
Did I
stick,
literally not do a segment
you know,
explaining
for
that mini
PS5.
PC has no ventilation whatsoever?
He's
There's
melting
no fan
down
or
about the
cooling.
mini PC.
So even though it might play a 3D
It's
game, it's not.
Yeah, this is
pretty
really funny.
good Copecast, no lie.
AMD
Alright,
processors
so
are
this
meant
will
to
be for you
overheat. They're-
jerks who
they're
keep
not good.
asking.
They're not like Intel processors
just
with a
a-
cooling solution. This thing is going to overheat.
There you go.
Okay, okay, hold on. Let's do it again. Here we go. This one is for Lavinia. Ready? Here we go, everyone. Welcome to the show.
It's even funnier the
Did
second
it
time.
again. No way. It's even better.
Let's just keep doing this.
Play
All
the whole
right, we
thing.
good now? Are we good now? Can we now move on to the things I already explained earlier?
Oh, he's glaring at
Will I
chat.
eventually play Chrono Cross? I have no
You
idea.
drop
because I
Armored
don't
Core
know
for
anything about
Crisis
Chrono
Core,
Cross.
the superior core.
People
Alright,
said
this
it's like
lady
the-
person needs to be
It is
banned.
a sequel to Chrono Trigger, but I never played it. I heard it was
Get him
not
up
good.
out of here.
I heard it was like nowhere near as good as Chrono Trigger, so that's why I always stayed away from it.
You know, this makes it so people don't actually want to talk to you, DSP.
Expand Dong, here's the thing. It's not that you
Oh, for
can't
sure.
come to my podcast and ask questions and you weren't here earlier. It's that you literally come to the podcast and your question is like, well, Phil, you're completely wrong on
Yeah,
this
they
topic
say that because they
here's
just got here.
something that I know,
Yes.
but I've already
So
addressed it earlier
you
in the show,
proved their point.
right? We already had a segment.
But how am I
on
supposed to know
joystick
that?
and how it won't
Do I
work.
need to
It
rewatch
adds
from the
input
beginning?
lag.
That's
You wouldn't want to do that
disrespectful.
for a competitive gameplay, especially when you're playing online where you already have input lag. You don't want any added input lag.
I
We
wasn't
already talked
here.
about how that mini PC, although
And
it
this
may
guy-
actually be able to play 3D games, is not meant to do
This
that.
guy's getting his
It has
answer
no cooling
anyways.
solution, therefore, it overheats. You'll probably play for an hour any 3D game. The whole thing will be fucking white hot and
That's
melt
not
down and
what's
shut
supposed to
down.
say
You don't
that.
want to do that.
Yeah, anger
Yeah,
snort.
We've already
Sorry.
answered though. So why do I have to completely hold
You don't have to.
everything
You could just say it in
to
one
answer a
sentence.
question
Yeah, I don't
we
want to do that. We
already
covered it
addressed
earlier.
right?
That's it. But instead, you have to do this weird little meltdown where you play the intro again. And essentially, he proved his point. He's like,
like beating
no,
a
you
dead
just
cat."
weren't here, and I went over it. And I'm supposed to know that.
Lavinia says it will not overheat like that. Okay, Lavinia, can I ask you a question?
Oh, God.
I'm going to ask you an honest question because Lavinia.
Because you're
is a
incorrect
little-
and we're PC
knows
gamers,
everything,
so we know.
Okay. In a PC, okay, when you have a processor,
Countdown to toxicity.
do you typically just tape it to the wall, or do you have it in a cooling solution, such as a very large heat sink,
This is
cooling
ridiculous.
gel? Okay, right? Usually has those things. Correct? I'm correct. Am I correct in assuming that processors and
It
PCs
looks
usually have cooling
very
solutions?
toxic. It's
on them to start,
insanely
correct?
toxic.
Oh, what the fuck?
We can all say that's a yes, right? I'm waiting for you to say yes. That's
This is
correct.
the intelligent
I wanna be
discourse
sure
that a
that everything
valedictorian
I'm saying
uses.
is correct. Processors have cooling solutions. That's correct. right?
Help! Oh my
Okay.
fuck! I need drugs for this shit.
The answer is many.
Lavinia, you didn't answer my question.
Yeah, you have to answer
You
my
gotta answer my
intentionally
question.
stupid question.
Do processors have cooling
No.
solutions like nice heat sinks and cooling gel and all of that?
You have to answer
Do they
my
have
stupid
it,
question
yes or no?
perfectly as is.
Okay.
Debunked, fool.
Is it a yes
This
or
is
no
really
answer?
funny.
This is killing me. Excuse me.
All right. Well,
This is
she's
fucking
not
insane.
answering. The answer is yes. Okay.
She's
Now,
not answering. Maybe
Not
she
in many
typed out a
PCs because they
paragraph.
aren't
put
necessary.
fans inside of
Hun-
them to also cool off because when
Yeah.
you run that PC,
They're not going to get
at
that
high
hot.
end,
They're not
of a
going to
game,
get that big. They'll probably
it gets
heat
hot.
sink
Exactly.
through the
Does
plastic
it have
itself.
a cooling solution?
It's also
It's
just
case-
not processing
right?
enough to build up a lot of
The
heat.
answer is
It's
yes.
so-
All modern PCs that you're going to run any kind of a
Yeah,
game
they're
on
never gonna
have
hit
these
those
things
kind of temps.
because things get hot when
Yeah,
you
like
do things.
sexually assault him in Derek's
okay?
case.
It's that simple. That PC over there is not meant to be a high-end gaming PC. It's not designed that way. If
Yeah.
it were, it wouldn't be tiny. They wouldn't have made it small.
This is all over the place.
That's the one
You
who uses
understand?
his dick when he
You
beats
want a
off.
gaming PC, you don't get a mini
This
PC.
shit can't get hot.
That's the whole point. Okay?
What is this?
You are very incorrect.
This is
Just ban
insane.
him. Just get him out of here.
Oh my goodness.
Get him out of here.
Please. No, let this
You know
happen.
you don't want to have this conversation, DSP.
It's
They're
Phil
wrong and
asked for it.
stupid, and they need to get shown the door. You dare? You stepping up to the king?
Step
Do
it up.
any amount of
What's
research.
gonna happen?
That's right. It does
Dude,
not have a
research.
dedicated graphics card. It has what's called
Phil is
onboard
completely
graphics,
lost.
and onboard graphics are not good. Onboard graphics essentially are bare minimum.
With
to run
all due
anything.
respect,
So,
sir.
could I play
you're
Elden
fucking
Ring on it?
wrong.
I bet I could get
Matter
it
of
to
fact.
boot Elden Ring.
Bang.
All right.
Oh
Probably
my
no
God.
lighting. Probably
Dude,
like
DSP,
low
it's okay to
graphical
be
setting,
wrong. I
probably
spend most of my
running at
life being
25
wrong. It's
frames per
okay.
second, you know, I could probably
You'll get used to it.
and it would probably be delayed. By the way, probably lag up, have frame
Dude,
drops.
Stream Deck is
be
on
pretty much
board.
unplayable.
What
but I
is he
could play
talking
Elden Ring
about?
on it.
He can do
oh, by the way,
everything
after
with that.
2 hours,
Only the guy
PC
sent
will be
him
steaming
$100 more
fucking
dollars.
hot.
There's
Like, you go
literally
near
proof
it, right
online,
behind
but
you.
I'm the one
Ah.
who thinks I know everything. LMAO. All right, well, I hope you're really happy about spending money on Phil because you're about to get banned.
Anyway,
Yeah, you're crazy for
which is
disagreeing
crazy,
with
you
me.
know.
This is
Whatever.
this
I
has
don't- I don't
been
know what the
validated a
point
lot,
is,
or not
too, like,
validated,
what is-
verified a
what
lot
is
with
the
DSP.
point
Arguing
of
with him
arguing
means that
with
you're
him?
crazy.
Who is asking me to use that mini PC to play high-end PC games? Right? We already talked about this,
Dude,
right?
he did
we
no
were going
research
to,
on this computer. He just got it and was like,
basically
"Yeah, somebody told me how good it
look
was,
into
and this is what it can do.
possibly
So it's not going to do anything else."
upgrading.
DSP
or
can't
buying a
spend
new
2 seconds
PC.
of thought on anything. So
Got all the
onboard
specs
GPUs are
last
just
year.
the
We talked
motherboards
about
built
it.
in.
It just didn't work
Oh,
out.
okay.
Like I
See?
totally wanted to do that, and it didn't happen
Fucking
because there
insane.
was so much other shit going wrong, financially and everything. You know, everything, every little thing keeps happening. Every time I think I have a little bit of
Oh,
money
no,
saved
cool.
up, oh, here we go.
What led to
Why
this?
is he?
This
You're
goes
this
wrong.
Pity
hot.
beg segment?
But that's life, you know. That's
How's
life.
this pity
You deal
beg
with it.
segment
So,
from
I made
getting
do this
called
year.
out that he does
Upgraded
no
my
research
capture
on
device,
mini PC?
upgraded my lighting, split the
LMAO.
Garbage
They're finding it funny
disposal,
too.
the
Nice.
shower,
coding for
Hey,
the on-demand videos, but also the stream.
dishwasher.
So now
Hey, Waitley,
everything's
when you're
fixed this
banned, come
year,
on over
right?
here.
Even though I'm still using
Other
the same
bathroom?
equipment, I'm optimizing the use of the equipment I have, and things are better. So I
Oh,
didn't have
God.
to
See, this is
go
what I
out
was
and
talking
buy
about earlier.
expensive
He
shit,
does this
right?
to filter
You
out
know,
people
it's
who
piece by
step up
piece.
to him. And now they're about to get gone.
Yeah, he just banned somebody else again. Boom, that person got banned. Bye. It wasn't even the person talking shit. He just banned some other person.
Yeah.
And then he's staring
Say
at
something.
this person like, do I ban him for
Again,
saying
what we
I'm
talked about
incorrect?
last year, because I keep saying $3,000. If you remember last year, we had a list of components. In fact, I
Oh
still
my
have
fuck.
it over here.
You got
This
the
dude's a
list
hoarder.
still? What the fuck?
Here it
You
is.
keep it on your desk and like, is it in your like, you know,
We had a
your
list
wall?
of components that
You
we
got, like, a
talked about
board
together
to,
over the
like,
course of podcast.
you know,
was
manifest things?
Either an AMD Ryzen
I
7
just keep all my paper trail
5800X
around.
or an Intel i7 processor.
Yeah, he's seething,
For
exactly.
the GPU,
Literally
the
seething.
NVIDIA 3060
He's
Ti
grinding his
3070.
teeth and looking at that
For
chat.
the RAM, 16 or 32 gigabytes. For capture card, an internal 4K capture card. The hard drive, a 1 terabyte SSD for your operating system, and then a 3 to 5 terabyte standard HD or HDD for storage. And then we talked about all other things like webcam. Don't need that anymore. I have a new webcam. You're gonna have a cooling system. You got to have a very good PSU. We were talking about. For
So
the
I
motherboard,
recently
maybe look at the Sony
built
A
myself a new
series.
PC, and it was a
All right,
process of
at
several
least an
years as I
850
saved
watt
up money
power
for each
supply,
individual part.
and they call them
DSP
gold.
doesn't want to
And
do it
somebody
that way.
said maybe
He
the
doesn't want to save up
MSI
individual parts.
B550 Tomahawk
No, he needs to
motherboard
buy
as
the
well.
entire
There's
thing
different-
all at
different
once.
motherboards you
No.
could do.
So of course it's
Actually, I think that
impossible,
Sony
or at least
A series
impossible in
webcam
his
that we're
situation.
talking about. But I think we're
If
good with
instead
the
of
computer I have now,
buying
it's fine,
a
right?
mini computer or a new arcade stick, if
So,
you bought
there you go.
new RAM,
That's
new
what we talked
motherboard.
about a year ago. Now that's a year.
Can't do it.
Everything changes. If we were to sit down and talk
yeah,
components this year,
I just
would almost
packaged
guarantee
deal
you the price
mine.
would be way
Yeah.
less.
Save the
Why?
money.
You're gonna have to do
months
one or the
and
other.
months.
Save the money
Fucking
for all of it all at
mining for
once,
Bitcoin
or buy the
anymore, right?
individual
That's what
parts.
was
And
driving
DSP
up
doesn't
the
want to do
prices of
either.
PC components. So likely we could get a similar thing, maybe even updated components for cheaper, which is
Yeah,
good.
and
I'm
now I
actually
can
glad
just
I didn't
upgrade
spend
it
money.
It's
whenever
great.
I
It's a
want.
great
Everyone
feeling.
said,
Buy
"Man,
new
you actually would
parts."
have overspent last
Like,
year if you
oh.
bought a PC.
Yeah.
So it actually makes sense that I
Yeah,
held
it made
off
sense
and
that I
didn't
was
do it, which
stupid.
is great. So maybe if we were to do an updated list of components that's similar to this, maybe it would be like $1,500. Great.
That's about my budget.
No, I'm
Thing is,
desperate
I'm
for an
not
arcade
desperate for that
stick.
right now. You know what I mean? Like really,
1500.
right now things are good. My capture
But
quality's
yeah,
good.
he needs the arcade
Camera's
stick.
good. Everything's
and
good.
now
right
he's got the
now.
little.
Chrono
I will
Trigger's gonna
watch
save
do
everything,
an upgrade
idiot.
in the next year to 2 years for sure. I need to get a new PC at this point.
Oh, now
But
he's gonna beg for.
we're not there yet.
A new PC in a
okay?
year.
So
He just.
It's
moved
not.
the
It's no
goalpost,
longer a
that's
10-year plan. It's more of a 12-year
I
plan.
received
See?
a $2
It's just a
tip.
slight delay.
That CPU is what is considered a low-powered chip. It does not create
Debunked.
as much heat
Wrong.
as a normal CPU.
I don't know.
They can be passively cooled. It shouldn't overheat, but I don't know the kind of passive cooling it uses.
I don't know, but I know I'm right.
I don't know. You saw how small that
I don't
thing is.
know.
It's really
I
small.
didn't do any
And I thought,
research.
I remember I
Yes,
said
I
look,
was
they had
there,
speakers
DSP.
on the side. And then I realized those aren't speakers. That's just the ventilation is just holes in the side. That looks like what you would normally have on a
Just
speaker.
admit you're wrong. It's
on a,
okay.
on a, you know,
Fuck.
on a freaking boombox or something.
Yeah, just
right?
say you're wrong.
I was like, oh,
That
that's
you
what
don't
that
know.
is.
It's okay to not know things.
You
Just
start
can't be
lashing
an
out at
asshole
people.
about it. I mean, there are many
Mhm.
PCs that have speakers built into them. They're out there. They exist.
Oh, okay.
Hey, that $300 for blood test was an upcharge and it was a scam, Banana
Can I
Jones.
read the full stats of the mini PC? No, they're not even on it. I'm serious.
That's
that
such
box
a
doesn't
fucking
even have the full
embarrassment.
stats
Like,
on
you
it.
won't
I
take
won't
care of
know
his cat,
until I
but
hook it
he'll
up.
gladly
and I turn
accept
it
the
on.
$300.
And what's
going
going to happen is a couple of years, Jasper's going to die and he's going to say, they
The
never
box
warned me of
doesn't say, It
this.
just said the processor. That was it.
Right. Jasper's gonna have a bad
Can I
health scare.
Google it? No, because I didn't buy it. I didn't
So
buy the
you
thing.
didn't
They got
research
millions
it or
of
Google
hours.
it, but you're just
it didn't
right.
even come with a proper
You
thing
have-
on it to say exactly what it is.
He has
I don't
like
even
the
know what
model
it
number
booklet.
and
I have no
everything
idea.
on the box.
Yeah.
Look at him chewing his finger. No.
Like I said, tomorrow I'm hooking it up, and
Jeez, dude. It's
I'll turn it on.
like just stop.
And,
go
I'll
go
look
play
at
the
the
game or
system
something.
stats.
Get
and then
engaged with this
I'll-
before you
Yeah,
look like
exactly.
a real
You're only
dumb
gonna look
fuck.
stupid.
We'll talk about it the
DSP, I
next day.
promise you.
We'll talk about it Monday morning on the podcast. What I discover.
He's
about
working
this
on
thing.
it. He's getting real close because his chat's calling him out, saying they're real. He's fucking stupid. Look, somebody
This-
said he found the
yes.
fucking specs yesterday.
Go ahead and
No
just start.
shit.
Yeah, but I don't know the name of it.
Ban
I told you guys
everyone.
I'm reading it off the box.
Mods.
I don't even know what the name of the model is. So, like, take a look.
I'm going to have to stop counting these ones where he gets up as new clones because we've gone through a lot.
It doesn't have a name. All right, on the back it says the specifications: AMD Ryzen 7 5800H, memory 32 gigs, storage 1 terabyte, network Wi-Fi 6, LAN 1000.
This is a
and
lot of drama for
the
something he's going to
input
put in the
of
closet and forget
power
about.
adapter. That's it. That's all it says. Okay, so it says Trig Key
Pretty
S
much.
Speed High Performance S Series
PC,
Mini
PC,
PC 5th generation sticker over here. What's the fucking
He
name
got
of it?
mad because all of a sudden he starts snorting. Yes, he does
Is it the
increase
S
his snorting when he gets
Is it
angry.
the Speed S? Is it the S5? Is it
it
the
just
S5
said
Speed?
Speed S
Is it the
on the
Speed
side
High
of the
Performance
box.
S Series Mini PC? Is it the Trig Key 5th generation S Speed? Is it the S?
I'm sure you could
Trig
Google it
Key
and find it pretty
5th
easily.
generation Mini PC? I don't know.
Uh,
You tell me.
He just
It doesn't
read-
even have documentation.
It's some sort of
It
shadow
doesn't says
tech.
anything like that.
Oh,
There's
fuck.
2 pages and all it says is
Look,
put
I
the
just
plug in
found
and
this
turn
out
it
in the
on. That's
desert
it.
in a spaceship. I have no idea what the hell this thing
That's
is.
it. Basically, what you got to do is hook it up and see what the fuck's in it. I won't know till I actually hook it up.
They're telling him just type it in Google.
It's
like
called
his
the
own
S,
fucking
the Trig Key
chat.
S Speed Mini PC. But then someone else says, no, it's the Speed
Everyone
5.
can't agree. It's therefore unknown forever. I'm looking at it right now. It's Trig Key Speed S. That's it.
Yeah.
No, that's not
This
it.
is really
Here, I'm going to
dumb.
open it.
Can we
Ready?
please move on?
All right.
I'm doing my new unboxing, everyone.
User manual.
We can't.
This
We're
one
pretty
says
much live.
S5. Is it the S5? Is
Well,
that what
which
it's
one
called?
is it?
Oh my
Is it Phil
fucking
Burnell,
God.
Darkside Phil,
no
DSP, The Guy, Dave? Yeah, which one is he?
King of
The
Hate?
realest motherfucker on the internet?
Sway?
Going for it. Oh.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true as well, Banana Jones.
here it is again. Trig Key. Right?
S5.
Yeah, we're one clone away, I think, from breaking the record. I think.
Discovery Technology Green Life. Okay, on the
Oh, thank
bottom
God.
it says Model
Now
S5.
we can figure out how to accurately tell this
Wow.
On the
person
bottom
they're
it
wrong.
actually says Model S5 right there.
Let's look it up, DSP.
Okay,
Model S5.
there you go.
Yeah, look it up.
Okay,
Tell this
yeah,
person
it says
fuck
right
you.
here,
I'm
Model
right.
S5.
And you're wrong.
DSP did everything correct. He did nothing wrong. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you
It
go.
says that right
Debunked.
there. That's all I know. Model S5. Okay. No, that's the actual model. I still don't know what this rubber thing is. Look, this rubber thing sticking out of it.
That was
Nobody
meant to
knows.
entertain
Inside,
kids
but
like
I don't
you,
know what the
DSP.
fuck that is. Look, it's like a rubber thing.
Look at it, it's like a
Coming out of the
nipple.
bottom. I don't know what it's supposed
Ja-
to do.
uh,
Maybe so it stands
Derek has
up
entered the
slightly on
chat.
front or something, so it doesn't sit flat. I don't know. It's weird. That rubber thing is very weird,
Yeah.
Papa Vera, how do I
Help
use
us.
this thing?
right? The Tricky
Yeah, I'm looking at it
S5
right here.
PC, that's what it's called. See, and I said it looks like a speaker.
Obviously.
But you know what that is? That's got to be the cooling. That's got to be how it actually cools itself, just by having openings
Also, I'm
on
looking
the
at a
sides like
I'm
that.
looking
No
at a
shit.
cutaway, and there's a cooling fan. There is
So
a cooling
there's
fan. I'm looking
there's
at
no
it right
fan
now.
in there.
There is a
There's
fan.
There
no
is.
way there's a fan in this thing.
There's a fan in there. It has one. I think it has one fan and one on
Maybe there is. You think there's a fan in there?
the processor as well.
Let me. Well, think again, idiot.
I don't think so. Really? People are saying it does have a fan? It does have an internal fan.
I think it has two technically. Like I said, one for the cooling system,
Jeez,
one for
it'll be interesting to mess
push it
around
out.
with. So yeah, this is AMD Radeon graphics, but I don't know what. Like I don't know what the graphics are. It doesn't. I won't know till I boot it up. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like I
I'll
said,
record all my
I'll
embarrassing
stuff for you.
stupidity. Don't worry.
Plug it in.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
kind
gonna
of
be
excited.
high
Now I
quality
kind of want to
stream.
watch that, but I'm not going to.
I might watch
go.
it through somebody else's channel just to die laughing.
All right.
Hopefully, Piece of Peace hosts that one. Because he'll melt down and scream and Phil through it, and it'll be gold.
All right,
Ow.
there we go. We broke
Ow,
the
my
record.
foot.
He kicked with the sand.
Jesus Christ, man.
All right.
I don't know.
So, are we
we need
good?
one band.
I think we're good. I hope we're good.
The person who was arguing with you,
John?
Phil, gave up. They're not even here.
Anyway. All right. We'll see you tomorrow when I hook it up, and then we'll mess around with it. Like I said, a good test would be, a retro game. But like I said, I actually have
That's not even a good test. You're
actually
you're
have
gonna play a
a-
retro game just fine.
series of games on the Steam I can
You
try.
didn't look on the
It's
back
really about
until-
hard drive space. There's only a terabyte
Oh.
hard drive in there. So
Terabyte
depending on
Yeah,
how
for
much
real.
the
bigger
device is
than
taking
he
up,
thinks.
A couple
I can probably
games.
install a couple games and see how
Like,
they
good
run.
luck loading.
What
the
games are you
terabyte.
installing that you can only
right?
get a
I
couple
don't
of them on there?
I don't really have like crazy graphics intensive games. You know what I have on there?
Right? You get like 10 copies of Call of Duty, dude.
That horror game that starts with a V that I played a few years ago.
You
I
loved it?
it.
What is it called?
What was it called? Fuck, I can't remember the name of it now. You remember that one?
I can't
That's on
remember.
there.
Where's Derek?
Derek,
What do you
look it
need?
up for me.
And Steam. Maybe I'll try that.
You'd imagine
No,
trying
not
to
Bug
play
Snatch. No, not
fucking
Vampire. Oh,
Yeah.
TF2 on that thing.
forget it.
You could. You could probably
Visage,
play it.
yes. Visage.
Stuff
I have
like that.
Visage on Steam. We play Visage on there. See how it
You should
looks,
play Gundam
right?
Battle
I'm
Operation.
curious what other
I'll play with you,
games are on there
DSP.
that I got on Steam because I have older games.
There you go.
Doom 2 I have on
Binding
Steam.
of Isaac.
Play that.
Bring that back. I think
Well,
you played it
various
once
different
and
games.
got bodied and ran away.
Well, anyway, we'll mess
Rogue
around with it.
Legacy
Anyway,
would be fun for him.
guys, the podcast
No,
is
you're
long
yelling
gone.
at
We're just
people.
dicking around now at this point, okay?
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
just mad.
Oh,
Thank
it
you
was a
all
blast, Phil.
for
I
watching
enjoyed
the
every
show.
second of it.
All right? I can't wait to finish Final
Visage,
Fantasy, give you my
yeah.
final verdict. We'll have some
What was
chill,
it he
fun
called it the
GTA
other day?
today. Tomorrow, I'll
Vizant?
probably give you my
Vizant.
final thoughts on Final Fantasy on the podcast.
A song?
And again, if there's any
Just
updates
out-
regarding the
LTG
joystick
was facing
situation,
off
I'll
against
let you know as well.
Vizant.
We got a few more days to decide. All right? Thank you
I don't
all.
even know how
And
doesn't
he
even
acted
know
like
that
he
show
never had
today.
anything to do with Viscount, when he did too.
Regardless of the fact that I had to repeat myself 10 times. And thank you for watching.
Big
And I will
boys.
see you all tomorrow.
Goodbye.
That's it. I have nothing else to say.
Later,
Good.
dude.
Go fucking buy.
Okay.
Yeah. You looking fucking motherfucking slut.
Let's get set up,
Alright.
and I'm going to
You
very
do it,
briefly
dude.
use the restroom. It'll be a quick one today. It will not be a formal
Oh,
break
fuck.
or anything. It'll just be me running to use the restroom.
Let's see the intro again,
Begin
DSP.
With the conclusion of Final Fantasy
Look, I just
16.
got here.
Yeah, one more time.
Let's see here.
Hey, why doesn't he get an adapter?
No, that's not it. I clicked the wrong one.
That would be so funny if
Somebody's
they
gonna
did.
ask him that again. They're going to. It's guaranteed.
I'm gassy this morning. Sorry about that. It's disgusting.
We need to get Derek
It
to
puts
ask
me
him
on
to
the
get an
border.
adapter.
Do that.
See how he'd lash out at Derek for it. Derek,
Alright.
I love you to death. You're my best friend. I already
You're
answered
wrong?
this, okay? Fucking moron.
Idiot.
Let me get the controller.
You could go to the bathroom right
Yeah.
now. You could be going to get the
Bring
bathroom.
your controller with you. Who cares?
Getting it done.
You're not hygienic anyway.
Exactly.
All right.
What other games we got in here? Let's play Elden Ring.
All right, guys.
Come on, play Elden Ring, DSP.
Nice.
I'm going to take a few minutes to use the restroom. I'm just going to mute the mic. I'm not going to monetize you. So,
Oh,
yeah, you want
cool.
to grab a drink or a snack, use the restroom yourself. Now
I'll
it's
go
time
get
to
my
play
own bag
the
of
game.
Chips Ahoy or
We'll
something.
start with the conclusion of Final Fantasy 16. Be right back.
Oh, that was fun. That was a fun-ass pre-stream.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Hey, it even lagged out in the right spot.
Yeah,
I
you went
I
on a couple
got
tangents
hot.
there.
It got a little heated. Got a little pissed. It was fun. It was fun.
Oh, sure. Thank you for having me. I'm
today. I
always
appreciate it.
open
Thank you
to
so
it.
much. It was a great time. It was a great time. Thank you for bringing out that thumbnail. Yeah, that was quality. We
Yeah.
had a great talk earlier, and we transitioned it into one of the dumbest fucking
Yeah, we had a
casts
nice
I've ever seen.
return to the
Like-
entry slide twice. That was good.
That was quality. I thought we were gonna get a third one. I was a little disappointed there. But
Why
that's
does
for
Phil
sure.
defend Derek?
What's
Derek
Phil?
follows hundreds
Thank
of
you
little
for being
girl
here.
accounts on social media. Oh, this is terrible. DSP's going to have to get back fast and ban this guy.
Oh no! Hurry! That's a shame. Well, I'm gonna wrap up my end of the stream.
There is one thing I'm a
a
little excited about getting it done, but I finished a mod for Guilty Gear Strive on PC. It's a Dark Side Film mod. You can check it out at Game Banana. It replaces all of the lines of dialogue for Gold Lewis with DSP. And I swear, playing it feels like you're watching a DSP stream, because I put lines for I was blocking when he presses punch and stuff, so it's perfect.
Oh, dude, that sounds
It took me
amazing.
about
How long did it
4
take
weeks,
you to do?
but I had to backtrack on a lot of progress, and I
Okay.
was doing a lot of stupid stuff and messing things up. But it was a very fun experience. I do. It's on my
do you have a
channel.
video
It's
of it on your channel?
Guilty Gear Strive DSP mod trailer or something or other. Trailer. So
I got your link in
thank
the
you.
description. So if people want to see that,
I
you can
appreciate
go over
it.
there, hunt it down. You know.
I usually
Where
just
else
stream
can
here on
people catch
YouTube.
you on?
Honestly, I sometimes go over to Ice Yamamoto and annoy him, but that's really about it.
Perfect. Otherwise, you can.
Yes,
they
I'm
can
on
find you,
Twitter.
hunt you down
Limited
on
Range
the
on
Twitters
Twitter.
or X
I'm on
app or
Discord as well.
Whatever you want to call that.
That's really it. The main avenues. Thank you for having me, though. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. No, thank you so much. You know, have a
Thanks
good
you as
one.
well.
You too, chat. Have a good one.
All right,
Get on out of here.
I'm gonna go
And,
ask DSP why
we'll
you can't
wrap
get
it
a
up
converter.
Oh, okay, have fun with that.
I answered this.
He'll get mad.
Take care, everyone.
My stream is closed out. I'm gone.
All right. Now what? All right.
We're done. This is time to
All right.
bullshit. Or
I
you
guess
can
I'll
say
do
goodbye
that.
and
Goodbye,
move on with
everyone
your
in
day.
chat. Thank you for joining me. It was a lot of fun. I don't know when I'll be back on next. Probably Monday. Probably might be my next stream. Probably. Take care, everyone. Have a great